Yeah, I'm looking forward to the weekend like anybody else. You got anything going on? You got a concert or anything? You're going to take advantage of the
this weekend,
newfound nose?
Well, this is going to sound boring, but Sunday I'm excited. I'm cleared to go to the gym on Sunday. I'm cleared to start working out again post surgery. Okay. I haven't been able to do that, so I'm excited about that. But no big plans. No, yeah, I had the concert earlier in the week. Tomorrow back to the weekend show on Westwood One, and there'll be plenty of national stuff to talk about with the NBA playoffs going on. But no set plans. I'm sure Saturday night I'll end up going somewhere, but. Nothing set, man. I'm hoping the weather's holding up. It looks like it's going to be a nice weekend.
Not going to rain?
Well, there is a chance.
Okay. I was about to say. I still got more yard work to do, but I've been recovering.
How about you don't lose your glasses? How about you don't get poison ivy on your arms?
So yesterday I was mowing the backyard. I was going to mow the front today or tomorrow. And so I mowed the backyard and I did a little bit of like weeding that I hadn't finished the other day after I got poison ivy. You can still see my recovery from it on my arms and legs. I intentionally left my glasses inside, the new ones, because I didn't want to lose them. I did not, however, though, Gold, find my old glasses. So, I don't know. If they show up, there'll be a Cody Gold garage sale item, as promised.
Video stream up and running, YouTube, Twitch, X, Facebook, J Southland Tow Service text line, always open, 913-586-7965. All right, let's get right into it. We talked a ton yesterday about the leaks around the schedule. We had a decent idea by the time we got off the air yesterday what the Chiefs' schedule was going to look like. We knew at that point they weren't going to have a Christmas Day game. We kind of had a good feel for the back half of the schedule. Now that the whole thing is out, I'm curious where you guys are at. Just what stood out the most to you? I think it is clearly backloaded. Duh. I think we all can make that same observation. It's interesting, though, how we all discuss schedules in the NFL, though, because there will be, on the back half of the schedule, there will be at least one, if not two, of those teams that end up just simply not being as good as we all think they're going to be. Because you go and you look from week 11, let's actually go week 12 to week 17. Week 12, Buffalo. Week 13, Rams. Week 14, Cincy. Week 15, New England. Week 16, San Francisco. Week 17, Chargers. I mean, on paper, that is a crazy stretch.
As bad of a stretch as anyone in football, genuinely.
And they go, a month and a half without a home game at Arrowhead at one point in time just because of the way the schedule's set up. And that is in large part because they open up the season with 2 home games and you have a week 5 bye. That was the part we were both texting about, I think, initially, which is, man, a week 5 bye.
Stinks.
It's weird. Well,
then I want his recovery to probably come later in the season. I'm never going to be pro that early of a bye week. It is the earliest in the entire NFL. And we already just mentioned the end of the schedule in which it's an absolute kick in the teeth for 6 straight weeks. So no rest then either. Nope, sorry, got to play. Now, they play back-to-back Thursday night games. So they will have like a 10-day rest after one of those, not after both. Obviously, after Thanksgiving, they'll have to play a week later. Then they'll get a 10-day rest before the rest of that brutal schedule. So they'll get a mini bye, Gold, late in the season, but not a full bye as you would expect or hope, I guess, based on the way that calendar lays out. So it's tough, but at the same time, I'll say, the early part of the schedule certainly sets up some possible success. Depends on how you look at it. Maybe they can front run a little, get to 7-3 or something, right? And that's not out of the question.
Well, I think if you look at the first 5, so Denver, Colts, Dolphins, Raiders, and then the bye week, you feel like going into the bye week, this is a team that needs to be like 3-1 based off of what 12 through 17 is going to be. But it's a soft middle, though. I mean, from week 1 to week 11, it's pretty favorable.
Yeah. I mean, of course it is. I mean, in fairness, the first 4 weeks are they are, based on strength of schedule on Vegas win totals, the thing we talked about yesterday, the easiest in the NFL. Straight up easiest. Doesn't get any easier. So, number 1. Now, that 12 through 17 is the hardest in 30 years, I think, in NFL scheduling, based on Vegas win totals. So, it probably just depends on how you're looking at it. I did want the easier part of the schedule to be early, because I do think they'll be finding themselves on offense and finding themselves on defense.
Rookies.
So, from that perspective, it's not every part of the Chiefs' schedule is bad. The early part, the schedule being a little easier early, that's fine. The opponents they've got during that stretch, even the home road split early is not so bad. But that is the point I think Sam McDowell had pointed out first, which was weeks 3 through 14 or 4 through 14, they played 3 home games in 12 weeks. Now, one of those includes a bye, so 11 games, but 12 weeks.
That's all just because there's the bye and they open up. They're one of 2 teams that, or not 2, I think it's like 4 teams that have 2 straight home games to start the year.
Yeah, but and that throws off the numbers, especially when you only have 8 home games and 9 road games and no international games. So you are they are true to form, like genuine road games. And so it's always going to feel a little bit that way. My initial thought was we didn't even have to do the normal conversation. Like normally we would come in the show and we'd say, hey, who thinks that this is the hardest part of the schedule? What is the part that at least drives us in here and at least puts us to a portion of it? And so that part of it is a more than fair question. This is not the question this year. We know what the hardest part of the schedule is, Gold. It's if you make me limit it to 4 games, it's probably still the first 4. Bills, Rams, Bengals, Patriots. I would just leave the 49ers and Chargers off the back end. But there is no mystery of what is the easiest part of the schedule and what is the hardest part of the schedule. The easiest part of the schedule is the first 4 games. The hardest part of the schedule is weeks 12 through 15. It's not even a mystery, I would say, based on that. I guess the question is, do you think because of his injury, is it a net positive or a net negative, the schedule? The order of games in which they're playing them?
Yeah, I think overall it's still a positive because your hope is that, one, the schedule just sorts itself out. It never goes the way we all think it's going to go. As I said, there will be one of these teams, Buffalo, Rams, Cincy, New England, San Francisco, whoever, that are not going to be as good as we all think. Somebody, I don't know who. And then there's injuries. So I don't want to predict the quarterback to get hurt, but there's one of those quarterbacks suddenly hurt, and that game looks completely different. And so that's one part of it. The other part would be just that Mahomes himself, that Mansour Delane, that some of these other rookies that could be involved, Peter Woods, do they get better as the year goes on? And suddenly it's a better defense by week 11 or week 12, I should say.
But they face all these tough offenses.
Versus if I told you they were opening if they were opening Buffalo, LA, Cincy, New England, you'd be like, oh, that's a big problem. Those quarterbacks are all going to be healthy. They're all going to so I would rather have it on the back end. But also just keep in mind, they better by week 10 and 11, when they would have already played the Jets, the Falcons, the Cardinals, the Raiders, and the Dolphins, they better have some wins in their back pocket, because no matter how good we're feeling, let's say this team gets off to a great start. Let's say they're 6-2. Let's say they're 6-2. Maybe they will be, maybe they won't.
They should try to be.
Just because they're 6-2 doesn't mean they're winning the division and going to be a top seed in the AFC, because they got a ton still to come. I just think they have to certainly stockpile some wins early, it feels like, when you look at the schedule. And I think there's a great opportunity to do that. If they are slight favorites in week 1 against the Broncos. I think it's a really tough game for them for obvious reasons. But let's say they go into the bye week and they're 4-0. Then you can have a little bit of wiggle room the rest of the way.
I guess what it stands out is, and look, as the season goes on, we'll probably get a better feel for this, Gold, than I do right now. And so maybe that changes a little bit. But as it sits right now, I don't think I'm going to be willing to be a believer on the Chiefs until Thanksgiving. I'm dead serious.
I mean,
they could start 7-3, and I'd be like, can we wait just a minute? Because the truth is, if they start something like 6-4 or 5-5, well, then they're never getting through the back half of that schedule. They can certainly talk me out of them being a playoff team very early in the season. Drop one to Miami, lose a couple of the other ones. And we're having a completely different conversation about the team. Start 7-3, and I'm still going to be saying, let's wait and see. I'm still going to ask for them to do it in the late part.
I think we'll know, though, week 6, 7, and 8. That'll answer our question on that. Week 6, Chargers at home, on the road at Seattle, on the road at Denver. Week 6, 7, and 8. That to me will tell us. That we'll get our answers by then, in my opinion, on how good they are.
You think so? Because that's a tough stretch, but then it's followed by an easy one. And they'll have their bye going into week 6, which normally is a good thing for Andy Reid.
No, the bye is the bye before.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Have the bye before week 6. You're saying by week 6, 7, and 8. I'm saying they get the advantage in one of those games. It's not nearly as tough of a stretch as later. I don't know. I just feel like there's a part of me that just won't believe until we get later into the year, when they face the actual difficult, hard stretch of their thing. I understand facing the Chargers and facing Seattle is not nothing, especially then going to Denver. But we both know that the Chargers and Seattle are 2 teams that could certainly be worse than they were last year. And so even if they're a good football team, they might not be a great football team. Versus, I know a couple of stretches during that 12 through 4. One of those teams is going to be great. One of those teams is going to be the best in the NFC. One of those teams is going to be one of the best in the AFC. It's not like a mystery we get there. I'm not saying that stretch is nothing, and it could tell us something. But I'm not, if they go 1-2 in that stretch, but are 7-3 through 10, I won't be burying them or saying it, but I'll be going in pretty cautiously, starting in week 12.
I mean, we don't have the lines for every single game yet, but
3 straight noon games,
they're going to be
Isn't that weird?
It is weird, but like right now, I mean, without looking, because we don't have it for every game, we know they're 2.5-point favorites against the Broncos at home. They're going to be favorites against the Colts at home.
Yep.
They're going to be favorites on the road at Miami. They're going to be favorites on the road at Denver. They're going to maybe be a pick-em unless they're disastrous early. That probably a favorite at home against the Chargers. They're going to be a dog, my guess is, on the road at Seattle. We'll see about Denver. Depends on the first meeting. Again, my point is in the first 11 weeks, Cody, they're only going to be an underdog maybe once, maybe twice, as long as they don't blow up and start 1-3.
At Seattle, they'll be an underdog, and then depending on what the Chargers do early, but the Chargers game's at home, so they probably won't be a dog there.
Jets, Falcons, Cardinals, Raiders, and Dolphins.
Probably right.
Those 5 in your first 11 games.
They have a chance to go. They have a chance to go like 9-2 to start the season, and they have a chance to go 8-3. I honestly think that if you want them to be a division contender, they have to go that during that stretch, because if they get through that week 12 through 17. 500, I'll take it now. If you could promise me 500 for that stretch of 6 games, I'd sign up immediately. And that's the part of the schedule that becomes difficult. It's like some people, and I guess nationally, they're like, took it easy on the Chiefs early with Mahomes. I'm like, did you see weeks 12 through 17? You know what my dream scenario is? The beginning part of the schedule is easy with a couple of extra difficult games sprinkled in there. You know, maybe week 3 is a little harder, or one of the Cardinals and Jets games are spread out into the later part. I'd like a little more balance in the difficulty of the schedule.
I mean, no.
You want it all easy early, all hard
late?
late?
Now that the schedule's set, I don't give a damn how good the Raiders. Like
I
thought you were saying.
No, I'm saying before going into the schedule.
I thought you were saying I want the week 3 game to be a little harder. I'm like, why?
No, I wish in retrospect it had been a little more balanced. It is it's not balanced in any way. Week 5 bye, so they got to play the rest of the season.
Yeah.
They're all over on the primetime games. They play back-to-back Thursday games. Their schedule makes no sense. For a Chiefs schedule, even, it's weird. Back-to-back Thursday night games, Thanksgiving and the week after, 3 straight noon games. That's not common for the Chiefs. Bunch of home games early and then a stretch of time, and essentially where they just play away from Arrowhead forever. Their schedule's weird. It doesn't have any kind of rhythm to it. Now, maybe not any worse than last year, maybe, and it's also top or back heavy, right? So you got a problem at least on that end.
They also don't face a single team that's coming off a bye week, which is nice. So we talk about the net rest stuff.
Is good.
You know, that's going to be good. They're one of 10 plus teams that don't have a team they're facing off a bye.
I will say that's good, and because like everybody gets screwed in the schedule a little bit. That's why I try not to like make it seem like the NFL's out to get the Chiefs. I don't genuinely believe that. I just think the schedule sometimes works in a way that doesn't benefit you. And this year, I would say it's more a net negative the way they lined up the opponents than a net positive. But I don't want to pretend like they got hosed, because that's not the case. The worst thing they got was the early bye and the stretch of 6 games in a row that doesn't look easy. But there are plenty of positives, like we said, on the early part of the schedule. Like I saw Cincinnati's got to play a game after. They don't even get a bye week after an international game, which I guess I thought was penciled in as like a lock. And I guess is not. I learned later that's not the case. It is just one of those things they try to do, but don't promise. They got the same bye week as the Chiefs, I think. They're week 5 or 6 too.
Yeah, it's the week after.
So everybody's kind of stuck in a weird spot sometimes schedule-wise, but at least we know the order. We'll kind of speculate based off of that later on in the show of how many wins we'd lock in, but you know, at least we got a system now.
Yeah, we'll lock in also what road trips or how do you plan out your fall now that we have that a little bit more set. We'll talk with Jake Eisenberg, some Royals baseball here in 15 minutes or so as the Royals are headed to St. Louis after getting swept by the White Sox, and that's where we turn our attention to now. Look, I told you even off air, I'll say it on air. We're very close to the point where the story around this team is the same every week and every day, and it's the point where I will be saying, like, what else? This is not what you should be saying as a sports talk radio host, but honestly, like,
what do you want me to say?
What do you want? I mean, it's the same crap. It's the same stuff every single time. It's why 2 weeks ago when they were playing good, and I said I'm still not fully bought back in because they're not 500, and people said that was crazy. And here they are. They're worse spot now. They're 6th back, and the road ahead gets tougher for them as well. Their pitching is not as good right now. The schedule gets tougher on top of all of that. They're in danger of being 10 or 11 under 500 before we know it. And then they'll win 5 in a row, and everybody will try to buy back. It is extremely frustrating. I don't even want to have the same conversation about the lineup stuff. I think it's pretty obvious. It's absolutely absurd that Carter Jensen and Jack Caglione for back-to-back days cannot get in the lineup for an offense that is very average. Yep. It is ridiculous. It's unacceptable, frankly. But it's the same conversation we've been having for a month.
even if you want to reduce the number of lefties, can Cags play one and Carter play the other? Like, is that out of the question? Because it certainly shouldn't be. And I guess that's the part of it that really does start to bother me more and more as the way it sits. Look, the lineup stuff, the problem with this is if you signal to teams a complete unwillingness to play those two, well, then they're just going to call up any loser lefty they got anywhere on the bench and line up their rotation to start as many against you as openers. They'll try to deke you into starting Starling Marte by putting a lefty on the mound for 3 innings. They'll try to make you change your entire order and mess with you as a result of it. The problem I have right now is they just dug themselves right back in the same hole. And so they have done a bad job this year as a team stopping the bleeding. Just win the game yesterday, and the entire vibe is, okay, fine, you're losing games, things aren't going great, but it's not like you got swept by the White Sox. It's how that 8-game losing streak started earlier, where every game is like right there, and oh, maybe, and oh, no, you got to stop the bleeding. You got to figure it out and get to a point where this thing is lined up where you don't have to constantly fight for your life the rest of the year. And 2 times now this year, and it is May 15th, 2 times this year, they've been unable to do so. They've lost 8 in a row at one time, and now 6 of their last 8 this time. And that's the part. The offense isn't quite good enough. The starting pitching is obviously going through a bit of a lull. And then when they get in close games late, that's when the bullpen, that's when Schreiber has his worst day, or Strahm gives up a home run. They are not getting run out of the building most days, but that doesn't make them feel any better that they can't seemingly put a patch on it. I will say, though, hey, if the offense isn't going to score and you're going to lose anyway, you might as well find out if Carter Jensen and Cags can eventually hit lefties. I'm sorry. You might as well find out. Doesn't do you any good.
Also, isn't it pretty clear? I sometimes, as I said, we don't have to act like managing a baseball team is rocket science. Sometimes I'm not, look, Q and JJ Piccolo and the Royal, they know 1,000 times more about baseball than you and I ever will, okay? That's not the argument. The point is, we don't need to make stuff seem like it's the most difficult thing every single day when you're talking about putting together a lineup or why you chose to do something. Sometimes, when things are not going well for your baseball team and your offense is average, there's no other reinforcements on the way in the minors. So the guys that you have are the guys that you have. Carter Jensen and Jack Caglione are part of the potential, if you have any potential, to get this thing corrected in 2026. Those guys are going to have to hit. So having them not in the lineup for 2 consecutive days and playing this platoon game crap is not solving anything.
No, and I get it. The text line's like, hey, Carter hasn't hit for 3 weeks. Cags looks...
I don't care. The point is he's going to have to be part of the solution.
Yes, otherwise they're just going to lose. I'll just tell you right now, if that's the case, they're not going to win with Starling Marte hitting 5th every day either. That's not the solution. That's not, Nick Lofton and Starling Marte and Lane Thomas hitting 3rd. And this is the 2nd straight day that they had Vinny hitting 6th too. And Vinny's not tearing the cover off the ball. He is hitting 300 since May 1st and has been a guy who hit in the middle of the order against lefties before. They've gone to the extreme now, because they know how badly these lefty starters are getting them. They're taking it so far in the opposite direction. The problem is, when you hit Vinny 6th against a lefty starter, that also means he's probably going to get 1 full less at-bat late in the game. You might have to let Lane Thomas and Nick Lofton and all these other guys hit before he takes an at-bat late in the game in an 8th inning or a 9th inning when you might need something and he's facing a righty. You got to risk it with great hitters. Vinny shouldn't be getting moved down the line. He shouldn't be getting moved down either against lefties. Your lineup is your lineup. It's lefty heavy, and you burned yourself in that way. These guys are going to sink or swim at some point. But you're right, where we're going to get to a point here.
After this weekend, there's a chance, Cody.
Well, if they keep losing, yeah.
If they get swept in St. Louis or something.
Here's the problem. If they have another long losing streak, they've lost 6 of 8. They lose something like 8 of 10, 9 of 11, and they've done it now twice in a year. All those conversations that we've been avoiding of sacrificial lamb, people are going to be looking for a scalp. Like it or not, people are going to be looking for somebody to go after.
Yep.
And I can already feel the fan base is really cued in on Q. They've decided that's the guy. And I'm not saying whether or not I do it, that's not even but I'm saying if I polled 100 fans on the street, what do you think the Royals do need to get better? 80 of them probably right
he's
now
in the crosshairs
have
for
Quatrero
sure.
in their sights.
Totally. Yeah, he's definitely the the guy that everybody is focused in on. And there's plenty of issues that I have with how he's managed things. I also don't think it's all on him either. And so this is to this
I'm just
point.
talking about who's going to talk.
Yeah,
who they're going to
no, you're right. To this point, it's a failure of multiple people involved right now with a season with massive expectations. But no, you're right. If we truly just went around and surveyed 100 Royals fans right outside Kauffman Stadium next week, and who's the most to blame, I would think 90%, fair or not, 90% of fans would say it's Matt Quatraro. And he's in a really bad spot right now because the fan base has clearly turned on him.
I think
that's just reality.
Yes. And look, that happened in Ed Yost and he saved it
by
going to a World Series and later winning one. So the thing about losing a fan base is you still can win them back. It's never it's not never too late. It is sometimes too late. I don't think it's too late for Q to bring them back. But this is also why I think you and I, and somewhat reasonably so, and will continue to be this way, which is I will not fully buy back into the Royals until they're 500. 500 is a number where I'll say, okay, I'm bought all the way back in. One of my brothers texted me last night, in a group chat with the three of us where we talk about the Royals, right? Because we all love baseball. And one of them was last night, I think his exact text was, I can't believe I let this team bring me back in. Why did I let them do this to me? Angry over the fact that you let yourself believe it because they were playing a game against the Guardians a week ago with a chance to be first place in the AL Central. They're now in last place in the AL Central. They just got swept by the White Sox, and it just feels like we've gone back to where we were 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, felt miserable about the team. A week ago, felt okay about the team. A week later, feel miserable about them again. And so I just until they can put some consistent weeks, multiple weeks together in a row, I'm gonna be very, very, very cautious with the team.
3 against the Cardinals starting tonight. Then they're back home for a long homestand. They got 3 against the Red Sox, 3 against the Mariners, and of course Memorial Day weekend, and Memorial Day, I should say, against the New York Yankees. So in terms of opponents, in terms of schedule, it's not like it lightens up for the Kansas City Royals. And clearly the Chicago White Sox are not the same old Chicago White Sox. We're going to talk more about that with Jake Eisenberg next.
Cody and Gold, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. Follow the station on Instagram for ticket giveaways and behind-the-scenes content from the show at The Fan 965.
I'm worried. Since your accident, we've got medical bills and you're missing work.
I know. I just don't know where to start.
We call SWL Injury Law the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do.
If they can help us get through this.
We've helped people just like you recover what they deserve. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjuryLaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. My dad passed away unexpectedly. Of course, it was awful in every way, but we are very grateful that he had life insurance. So even after he was gone, he was still able to provide for us. And that's why I have life insurance for my family. Ethos.com. They make it fast and easy to get covered. It's 100% online. You get a quote in seconds, and you can apply in minutes. Get covered the same day.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. That's ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required. Rates may vary.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account.
When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything.
Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You can listen to Burns on Deck Show starting 1 hour before first pitch for all 162 games this season on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app. Get ready for the game with Touch 'Em All and listen for your chance to win Royals tickets during the pitch clock. We are in your car, we are on your phone, and we are free for every Royals game this season. Tune in to Burns on Deck Show 1 hour before first pitch, right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Hey guys, it's Dusty Likens, and I have a new social media series called Range Bait that is up on all of 96.5 The Fan's social channels. I love golf. I talk about it. You know it. I watch it. I play it. So every week I'm headed out to the range to hit a bucket of balls and talk to you. It could be Royals conversation. It could be about how the chicken crossed the road. Who gives a rip? New videos will be released every Thursday on The Fan's YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter pages. Range Bait with me, Dusty Likens, on your home for Kansas City Sports 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Rob Brennan. We hope you're enjoying Beyond the Pitch KC, a podcast on how Kansas City landed the world's biggest sporting event. It's presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. New episodes released every Wednesday on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, we're just getting started here on a Friday. Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. Video stream up and running on YouTube, Twitch, X, and Facebook. We'll get back into what some NFL executives are already saying about the next offseason. I know we're still in the middle of this one, but it's kind of interesting to see what some of them are already saying about the Chiefs and other teams moving forward. But let's keep talking some baseball. We head over to St. Louis, down I-70 out east. Jake Eisenberg, of course, you'll hear him throughout the weekend on 96.5 The Fan. He joins us each and every Friday. Let me just start with this. St. Louis, you know, we're in Kansas City. There's a little bit of a rivalry there. Your thoughts on the city of St. Louis?
My thoughts on the city of St. Louis. Well, I haven't explored a ton, if I'm going to be totally honest. You know, when we've come here, it's really just going to the ballpark and then back to the hotel. I've checked out a couple coffee spots. Sure, I've gone over to the Arch. That's nice. They've got a lovely river. I think ours is better. That's about all I got for you.
I don't know if you went to the Hill or whatever, got some Italian food or something like that, you know?
No, I think that might be the plan for post-game tomorrow, though.
There you go. Okay. That's solid.
Yeah.
All right. I think you could, it's okay if you just want to like endear yourself. You can be like, trash city, nobody likes it. But, you know,
I gave you an opportunity, Jake. I gave you an opportunity. You chose to do it that way and be the nice guy. That's smart. I understand.
Safe.
I mean, yeah. I mean, look, the Arch is like, it's cool, but like, all right, neat.
Yeah, just
is that what you were looking for?
Yeah, like,
honestly,
my favorite thing is
overrated.
it's just a monument celebrating people leaving their city. So I kind of like it. That's kind of how I usually like to talk about it.
Yeah, it's they say it's the gateway to the West. It's really a gateway to somewhere better.
That's right. That's exactly right. I must say though, unfortunately, from where we talked to you a week or so ago about this baseball team, I don't like the direction the Royals are headed right now. This Chicago White Sox team, I get it. They're not the same White Sox, clearly, from a couple years ago. So this is not like getting beat by a team that's going to lose 100 games. However, I think Royals fans are a little worried just looking at the roster of the White Sox and seeing how they at least played in this series. That is it possible the White Sox are already better than the Kansas City Royals this quickly?
I mean, look, there's the old adage that you are what your record says you are, and the Royals are 2-5 against the White Sox so far this season, and the White Sox are 22-21. The Royals are 19-25. So yeah, based on the games that have been played, the White Sox are better than the Royals so far this season. If that what the case is going to be when the season ends, time will tell. The White Sox are better. That said, the Royals are also better. At least they feel that they are better, even if the results haven't matched that. And at a certain point, if you want to get where you want to go, which is winning the division, going to the postseason, you're going to have to beat good teams. And the White Sox, so far at this point, have proven that they're a good team. Look, there are only 5 teams in the American League that are above 500, and the White Sox are one of them.
When you look at, I guess, what's going on with the Royals right now offensively, at least part of it, obviously, is that Salvador Perez hasn't exactly been himself up to this point. We understand he's an all-time gamer type. He doesn't like to miss any time outside of that. But how much do you think these lingering injuries are having an effect on him early on?
You know, I go back to what he said in the Bronx. I remember, we were standing around his locker asking just about the off day and all that stuff. And he mentioned, some right hip soreness. And I asked him, hey, when was this, when did this start to bother you, to the point where, you needed to, take a day or thought that would be, beneficial. And he laughed and flashed his Salvi smile and said, 7 years. So that's all to say that he's been playing through stuff like this far longer than I think we realize and managing it for a long time. And that includes last year when he had 30 homers and 100 RBIs. And, he also started a little bit slower last year too. And maybe we just haven't seen that switch flip quite yet, even though, there was a brief period of time at the end of April where it looked like, that switch had flipped. I think with Salvi and with the Royals overall, what we're seeing early on is evidence of a team that is streakier than they would like to be. You want to be a team that doesn't necessarily lose 4 in a row and win 4 in a row. You kind of want to win 2 out of 3. You want to stack those series. So far, the Royals have had cold stretches and they've had hot stretches, and the cold stretches have outweighed the hot stretches. And I think that's been sort of the case with Salvi too, where there have been a couple of hot stretches, but they've been outweighed by the cold stretches.
We're talking to Jake Eisenberg here on 96.5 The Fan. What should we know about the Cardinals? I mean, I know this rivalry goes way back in interleague play and back when everybody wasn't playing anybody to begin with. But this Cardinals team seems like maybe they've surprised some people so far this year.
Yeah, and I think, surprise is always relative to expectation, right? They traded away some big-name players, Nolan Arenado, Wilson Contreras, Brendan Donovan, Sonny Gray, all gone from the Cardinals. So it's a little bit of a new era. It's a much more homegrown team. You take a look at their 13 position players and look at more or less their everyday lineup. Just about every guy is homegrown, either drafted or signed as international free agent. That includes J.J. Weatherholt, their first-round pick from a couple of years ago, who's off to a really impressive start in his rookie season. Jordan Walker seems like he's finally taken that big step forward that the Cardinals were hoping that he would take. He's leading the team in average homers, RBIs, and steals. The only other 2 guys that are leading their teams in those categories are Bryce Terang of the Brewers and Bobby Witt Jr., so it's pretty good company. What's interesting about the Cardinals, just looking at their team statistics, not a whole lot that stands out. The offense overall slightly above average. The pitching overall slightly below average. The defense has been good, not great, but good across the board. The record, I think, is right now a little bit buoyed by the fact that they are 9-3 in 1-run games.
Crazy.
So they're playing a lot of close games, and they're winning a lot of those close games. That's actually one of the best 1-run records in all of baseball right now. So I don't know if that means that the record at 25-18 is a little bit of a mirage, but I think that the Cardinals right now are an interesting team in the National League Central that has been really good. It's been the best division in baseball.
What do you make of, I guess, do the Royals have a solution or an easy solution for what I think is a strategy teams have started to employ, which is if we have a lefty and they're anywhere close to a rotation arm, we're going to throw them because it might force the Royals into an uncomfortable position, which is the last 2 nights where we don't get Jack Caglione and Carter Jensen in the lineup because of tough lefties. Do we think the Royals need to, I guess, as the season goes, either give those guys more of a chance or explore more right-handed bats, or because right now it feels like teams are intentionally kind of taking advantage of the lefty-heavy lineup for the Royals.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I disagree with the intentional part about it because these rotations are rotations, and it's a little bit of a roll of the dice and the timing. Like the fact that Noah Schultz and Anthony Kay lined up for the last 2 games of this series is just a faction and function of the schedule. I don't think the White Sox or any team is looking a week ahead and saying, oh, the Royals are coming, like, let's make sure our lefties line up. And I don't think that's what's happening. In fact, I know that's what's happening because that's not what starting rotations are in baseball. But it is true that the Royals have struggled against lefty starters this season for one reason or another. I'm not sure if the solution is, having Kaggs and Carter in there and seeing what happens, because that's what Lane Thomas and Starling Marte are on this roster to do. And, Lane Thomas had a hot stretch, and now he's going through a little bit of a cold stretch. Starling Marte has been terrific, in the playing time that he's gotten, and he's been put in situations for success against lefties. He's hit safely in 11 consecutive starts. Does that mean he'd hit safely in a start against a right-handed pitcher? No, it doesn't. But he's succeeding against the left-handed pitchers that he's being put in the lineup to face, and that's what he's on this team to do. The same can be said for Nick Lofton, who's had terrific at-bats. So I think some of it is random variance. Some of it, is the record against left-handed starters is not good. Does that swing the other way at some point? It's hard to say. I also don't think all lefties are created equal. So I think that's also part of it. I don't have the solution. That's a rambling way of saying I don't know.
When you look at the rest of the season, because it's been a losing streak and then winning, and then now they're obviously in a cold stretch again, has that overshadowed the kind of season Bobby Wood Jr. is already having? We mentioned it to JJ Piccolo too. I'm not, and this is not uncommon in baseball, 26, 27, 28, sometimes can be the best years of Major League Baseball players' careers. Do you think that this is as good as we saw as Bobby 2 years ago in an MVP run? Better? The same? Like, how do you kind of view his season so far?
I am going to resist trying to compare the seasons.
Okay.
Because I don't know that that's fair. 2024 was a generational single season by a shortstop in baseball history. Now, that's the ceiling that he's set, right? But what he's doing this year, I don't know if it deserves to be compared to that yet. Not to say that it's not as good or as good, but I don't know how he started. I don't remember. But I will say right now, there is one player in Major League Baseball that is worth 3 wins above replacement on Fangraphs, and that is Bobby Witt Jr. He is the best all-around player in baseball, full stop. He is the best defensive player in baseball. He is one of the fastest players in baseball. He has been one of the best hitters in baseball. Is that being overshadowed by the fact that the Royals are 6 games under 500? I don't think so. I think that, maybe if the Royals were on a 10-game winning streak and receiving maybe more national attention, that more people would be like, wow, Bobby is really incredible. But I also think that Bobby is incredible to the point where he transcends the team results in a way that, Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani do also, right? So I don't know that he's getting overshadowed. I do think that I can continue to shout from the rooftops that he is the best all-around player in baseball, and what he does on the field proves that.
No argument here. I mean, obviously, at this point, he's made it very clear he's one of the best players in the league. I guess what would you the other thing I want to ask about, the day-to-day management of inside of a baseball team, the bullpen usage, all this other stuff. I think sometimes fans get it in the sense where they want to target for when they're frustrated in the team's overall success. How much do you think the movement inside of the game that Q's been doing is working, is not working? You see every single pitch, every single game. How often do you think those little moves they make inside the games are being successful for the Royals versus is there a point where you just say, you know what, maybe we just kind of let some things take care of themselves and settle in naturally?
I mean, I'll be honest, the bullpen move, the bullpen usage, the pinch hitting situations, there is a process behind all of those, and that process is incredibly sound. And look, from my lens, like, who am I to say, what's right or wrong? I very much trust that Q and his staff and the people that are supporting him have all the information at their disposal and are making the best situations to put this team in a position to win. I will say, from my perspective, objectively, when I think about who's coming in when and it's a sound process, platoon-wise, number-wise. It makes sense. It's a long season. You can't have Lucas Erceg pitch every single inning. You can't have Daniel Lynch IV pitch every single inning. You need an entire bullpen to contribute. You need an entire roster to contribute. Lane Thomas is on this team to pinch hit against a tough lefty late in the game. The same can be said for Nick Lofton and Starling Marte. The same can be said on the reverse side for Jack Caglione or Carter Jensen when they're not in the starting lineup. These are the roles that these guys are in, and they are in those roles for specific reasons because they are positions that they can succeed in more often than not. And I think we have a tendency as media members or as fans of which, we toe the line between both, right? I think when we see a move and it works, we kind of brush it under the rug. When we see a move and it doesn't work, that's where we heighten our senses and go, well, why did we try to do that? It didn't work. I don't think that's the right way to go about looking at it because it's a process-based game and a results-based business, obviously. But just because you push the button because of the process doesn't mean that the result is going to happen. But you have given yourself a better chance at a more positive outcome. And I think that is really the important thing. And the more times you give yourself a chance at a positive outcome, the more often that's going to happen. And so I think that the process is really, really sound and good. Sometimes it's not going to work. More often than not, it probably will. And that's where teams succeed.
Jake, before we let you get out of here, you might see we brought back the Cody and Gold garage sale, which used to take place. It benefits the Negro League Baseball Museum. We pride ourselves on experiences that are not the kind that the people can afford for the Royals broadcast auction, but instead the other version. Can we set up you can get coffee with Jake Eisenberg? Do we set up something like that for the fine people of 96.5 The Fan?
Yeah, we can kick around some ideas. I like where your head's at.
You're always getting coffee. We could just find a local coffee place. You guys could head over somewhere. You probably got a local favorite.
Yeah, I like the idea. Let's flesh that out.
Okay. We can do that. Jay Binkley will bid on it because he thinks you're calling multiple teams at once. So that.
Well, look. If Big bids on it and wins, then he'll know exactly where I am.
That's scary, actually.
That's the benefit. You're right. You're right. Now that I think about it, maybe we should think of something else.
We'll just say Binkley can't bid. We'll just make one rule for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I might be able to help you guys out with some other stuff too. Let's talk.
There we go. Hey, Jake, appreciate it, man. Have a good call throughout the weekend in St. Louis.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much.
There you go. That's Jake Eisenberg. Of course, as the Royals are in St. Louis, he'll be on the broadcast this weekend for 96.5 The Fan, as always, right here on your home for the Royals. And we maybe can get something.
Jake loves getting a coffee.
Yeah, he does. That's his thing. Yeah, he says every city he goes to, he checks out a different coffee place, and no matter whether it's St. Louis or Seattle or wherever. So
yeah, I think he's it doesn't really matter, like he said, even if it's St. Louis, he'll do it. He did say that the gate is overrated. The arch, it is. It's just like it's fine.
The one thing I'll give St. Louis.
I've never been in it.
We were just there last year for
really?
Cags' debut. The downtown scene behind the ballpark. It's a very nice, picture. Yeah. In the backdrop.
But also,
very nice.
We talk about that.
It's kind of trippy when you're in it. It's a little trippy.
Have you been in it, right?
As a kid, I don't remember. I hadn't been there since I've been to the St. Louis Zoo and everything when I was a kid.
Because it moves. It sways. If it's windy enough, it sways. Like if you're looking out the little window that you can stand on, like a little windowsill thing, it's a little trippy.
Now people are just making suggestions for other stuff we can get in the Cody and Gold garage sale. Somebody says, can we get a 999 challenge versus Bink for your garage sale? You're going to lose the beer part of it. I don't know how you're going to do in the other part, but I've seen Bink chug a beer.
He'll win.
Wait, you're not winning that.
The new one?
No, the actual
one.
Well, I assume they were talking about the new one with the
the new one,
the half-size hot dogs and pint-sized beers.
I think the new one everybody can do. It's not even.
I agree.
They're mini hot dogs and mini beers.
Yeah, I agree. That one wouldn't even be a challenge. Somebody also asked if they could get golf lessons from you, Drew, for the garage sale.
I'm not the person you want golf lessons from.
Why not? You're good at golf. So
that doesn't mean
you don't think you can give a tip?
I know what's good for my game, where if I see you swing, I can give you an idea, but that doesn't mean that it's, one, actually going to help, or two, not make things worse, actually. Like, I can look at your setup or see your swing path, from behind.
You can tell me if I'm lined up weird or swinging weird. You can give me a couple of tips.
Yeah.
We went to the driving range. You can be like, Cody, what the hell are you doing with your hands?
Yeah. Look, I'm more than willing to give you a golf lesson. I'm not. I'm just saying it. I'm not making any promises that you're going to be better afterwards. Is all I'm saying.
Somebody did say 816. Cody likes putting people on the spot. Oh, yeah, sometimes. Because if I ask Jake on the air, it's harder for him to say no. If I ask Drew on the air.
You did put Jake on the spot.
It's harder. You
said,
no.
hey.
Everyone will forget in a day if he can't do it. It's fine.
You said, hey, Jake, we should have them do coffee with you. And he's like, yeah, let's talk that out. Yeah.
It wasn't just, do you have anything that would be useful? It's have somebody get coffee. It wasn't
a
specific.
Yes. It wasn't a yes.
I don't blame him for not.
maybe.
I don't blame him for not fully committing.
I thought he
Not
handled it
trusting our
well,
listeners?
to be honest with you. I
He did.
thought he answered it well.
He also thinks the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum is an institution in this city and deserves the recognition it gets.
Right.
So he might be willing to help us out. Maybe not coffee with one of you.
Yeah, it sounds like he's willing to do something.
I just don't know. I don't know what that looks like. Nah. I do that on the air sometimes. I've done that with Vinny and Massey for the Garage Sale too. Honestly, it's for charity. I think in that spot, I'm allowed to put people on the spot. Now, when I've, asked people if we can, like when Carrington asked Clark Hunt if he can go to his suite one time.
You notice that went nowhere.
I try to avoid that.
That went nowhere.
Wait, he asked him that?
Yes, one time he asked for an invite.
What did Clark say?
I can't remember.
He just said, probably not or something. Like he gave him an answer that wasn't a no. It wasn't a firm no, but it was a no. Right? Like we can all.
Not. That's funny.
Yeah.
Thinking of Carrington, coming up in 12 minutes, he had Andy Reid on the show yesterday. We'll hear a couple of things Andy had to say about Patrick Mahomes' recovery from the ACL, LCL injury, and about Rashee Rice, and of course the importance of making sure he's actually available here in 2026. All right, let's talk more about the future a bit, because the NFL executive articles where they anonymously predict what they think is going to happen in the future are always kind of interesting to me. So ESPN and Jeremy Fowler put together already, I know we're still in the 2026 offseason, but predicting the 2027 offseason.
Which I think is fun.
And here were a couple that they threw out. Number one, the Bengals put questions of Joe Burrow's future in Cincinnati to rest. He talks about them overall working out something moving forward, that long-term contract, long-term plans, and that it settles things down. He also said that teams will be jockeying for position in a strong QB draft class. I mean, that to me is the most obvious prediction of next offseason, that there's a good chance we're going to have 4 quarterbacks taken, I think, in the top 15 next year.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think it's wrong. Unless the quarterback draft class implodes during this college football regular season, or the number of quarterbacks who stink. I'm telling you right now, there are 10 teams in the league who do not like their quarterback, or at the very least are leery about it. I can name 5 to 7 that hate their quarterback. Cleveland, Miami, and I know they just paid Malik Willis. Get the hell out. They just paid him because somebody had to play quarterback. The Steelers will be looking for one. All the old quarterbacks too. There's a bunch of teams that would happily run their guy out of the building. Not to even mention, if the Carolina Panthers end up picking 4th and they're staring down a barrel of a Bryce Young extension, they'll just draft one. So there's another half of the teams to do that. So I like that initial prediction. It also is great news for the Chiefs in the draft, because then it doesn't matter where they choose in the first round. I want as many quarterbacks going in every draft for the next 10 years as possible.
He also says TJ Watt becomes a trade candidate. That's his prediction next offseason. He says if the Steelers end up signing Herbig long-term, who's a player, the number 3 edge rusher.
Yeah, he's like a 7.5 sack guy last year.
He says that Watt would turn 32 this October. Salary guarantees $32 million in 2026 and 2027, and he thinks he'd get traded. Is that the type of player that is it a franchise player where the Steelers, it's one of those, like, you just don't trade that kind of player, period?
TJ Watt?
Yeah.
I would have said that about Micah Parsons too. So generally speaking,
I think TJ Watt's those 5 years further into his career. I think TJ Watt's way more established than Micah Parsons in Pittsburgh than what Micah ever was in Dallas.
He's also had some injury issues the last 2 or 3 seasons.
But he is like very much like a Pittsburgh guy and felt like a lifer. I don't disagree with you there, Gold. The question is, are we going to have, like, there's been a couple of big defensive linemen traded the last few years. Are we going to have a resurgence of that the way we've seen a big wide receiver get moved every year?
Yeah.
And if there's first round picks at the ready, if somebody's got a first and a second for you, for TJ Watt, you probably, he's 31 years old. They have to. And the only reason why this won't happen is the Steelers have never accepted a rebuild. They desperately need one right now. Their best defensive player is old and hurt. They don't have a quarterback. They just signed a new coach. If Mike McCarthy doesn't work out over the next couple of years, they should burn the whole thing down to the ground. But they're not going to do it after year 1 of Mike McCarthy. That's the part of it that I don't believe will happen. I don't know if you do, but I have a hard time imagining that's a real thing to go in there.
And then the other one they list, Deshaun Watson becomes an interesting free agent target after this year. So they're saying basically he's going to start this year, look good enough to where he'll be a team will sign to another long-term contract.
It was really interesting. The Browns featured Shedeur Sanders throughout their schedule release. They didn't have one mention of Deshaun Watson at
that
all.
might be smart on the social media path. The mentions would just be full of that. That might actually be a smart play.
I mean, I think the mentions would be bad regardless, but with them, obviously, for a load of
I just mean it would have been all Deshaun
I'll
Watson jokes and stuff like that.
I'm pretty sure he's going to start.
No, I will write. If anybody wanted to bet me that he won't start, I would take. I think he started.
I'd want your side of the action is the problem.
Yeah,
I'm not the. I genuinely think they know their quarterback play has been so damn bad, and they know that Sanders stinks, and they know that Dylan Gabriel stinks. I can't believe they spent a third on him. Everybody knew he stunk. At least with Sanders, there was some mystery unknown. Sometimes with quarterbacks, I swear, these NFL teams who convince themselves, like Drew Aller. Did you see that headline last week that said they're unteaching everything Drew Aller learned at Penn State? You're like, what the hell are you doing?
Penn State's got a
drafted
history of that.
but if you're the Steelers, Drew, don't spend a third round pick on a
It was
quarterback.
a 4th round pick or 5th round, whatever it was.
Was it? I thought it was third.
It was nothing.
Don't spend draft pick compensation on a player you think you got to tear down to the studs.
I mean, you know that the talent's there, though. I think that's the concept of thinking with them is.
I guess in Dylan Gabriel's case, I knew the talent wasn't even there. So fairness on.
I mean, Dylan Gabriel's talent was there. It's just that he
stunk. He always stunk. He wasn't even that good of a player in college. He was fine. He was fine, Drew. He was fine. He was a good college player. He's not a superior talented player.
He was a Heisman finalist.
In college. That doesn't mean you're good. That doesn't mean you're a good athlete.
Cody
doesn't mean you're a good. You went in the 3rd round.
The last 2 years that he had in college, he had 30 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. He was great.
Diego Pavia was a Heisman finalist. He stinks too.
Dylan Gabriel was a better thrower of the football, point blank and period, than Diego Pavia was.
All I'm pointing out is you mentioned.
You said he was bad. That's crazy.
Fine. I just meant he's a bad NFL prospect.
There
It's
you
the
go.
same as Colt Brennan was a good college player. He was a really good, maybe a great college
Case
player.
Keenum was an elite college. It was an elite college quarterback.
Stinky NFL player, I guess is what I meant. I didn't mean stinky college player.
Okay.
Everybody knew he was not a good NFL talent and didn't deserve to be an NFL starter. And they drafted Dylan Gabriel anyway. I guess that was my point on it.
Yeah, I don't know why they drafted 2 quarterbacks. That was full Browns. The Browns have drafted better the last couple of years. Their draft classes have actually been kind of nice outside of those
This year's
two
draft
decisions.
looks decent.
It was a 3rd round pick for Drew Aller, by the way. They used the 76th overall pick on that guy just to say that we got to tear the whole thing down. That's a wild thing to do, in my opinion. To draft a player and be like, everything you do is wrong, and we're gonna.
The Browns' problem too. They had the worst offensive line in football last year, so by a mile, and they got rid of all of them. So
they brought one back. I saw.
I don't know why
They did change their entire starting 5, and they brought one back.
Their offensive line stunk last year, which I think that's part of why Shedeur struggled. But overall, if you're Deshaun Watson, I wouldn't be happy with the situation. The wide receiver room is not good. Jerry Jeudy's your best wide receiver, and your offensive line was the worst in football, and your quarterback, you don't know if he's good or not. And Todd Monken's your head coach?
Super quick, what do you think the biggest 2027 storyline will be for the Chiefs? What will be the single biggest offseason?
Oh, I already know.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, I think I can predict.
Is it Rashee Rice contract?
Yeah, it's gonna be that Rashee Rice has 1,278 yards and 9 touchdowns, and Chiefs fans are gonna talk themselves into wanting to sign him, even though we've all had this conversation.
It's gonna be either that or it's gonna be should Andy Reid retire. Actually, it's gonna be one of
those
those
are two good answers.
It'll be either of those, in my opinion. It'll be one of those two.
I think there's a good chance.
Those are
of
two
course,
good
the Andy Reid one would require them missing the playoffs.
Well, we'll hear from Andy Reid. Coming up here in just a
He
second.
was on with CDOT yesterday. Hear what he had to say about Patrick Mahomes and his timeline. And I think Missouri basketball made a smart decision yesterday. We'll tell you what
I
it
can't
is.
believe you said that.
I know.
What's up, KC? It's Matt Strom from the Kansas City Royals. You're listening to Cody and Gold on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. 96.5 The Fan.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-518-3899. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-518-3899. That's 800-518-3899. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last, so don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home. Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya, guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit Tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
The Cody Gold Garage Sale is back for its 5th year on Wednesday, June 10th, with 100% of the money raised going to the Negro League Baseball Museum.
Last time out, we raised over $15,000 to benefit the NLBM, and this year, we're looking to set a new garage sale record.
Auction items will be available on 965thefan.com, but only live one day, Wednesday, June 10th, with items starting at $9.65.
And I'm thinking, you know what? Your missing glasses will make the auction list. Join us for the 5th annual Cody and Gold Garage Sale, benefiting the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, Wednesday, June 10th. Right here on 96.5 The Fan.
The 5th annual Cody and Gold Garage Sale is back Wednesday, June 10th, with all auction items benefiting the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City. In Odyssey Sports Station.
11 o'clock hour, Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. We'll get to the trash of the day in 20 minutes. Don't forget, it's a Friday, so a Fan Club Friday brought to you by Jay Rieger and Co. Coming up in the 1 o'clock hour today. Sarah from Rieger is going to join us. They got something cool going on around the World Cup, and I'm excited to see what they have for us today. I'm told it's very, very cool, something they've been putting a lot of work into ahead of next month's World Cup. And I think they're bringing it in studio, so I can't wait to see.
I don't own anything World Cup yet. I I don't have one of the shirts.
I bought a shirt a week or two ago.
Oh, so you got it.
I haven't worn it yet, though.
Oh, really?
I don't know why. I just haven't worn it yet. Yeah, there's a bunch. I'll be honest. There's a lot of shirts and designs that I don't like at all from the World Cup so far. But there was one I bought. It's a black one. It has the FIFA World Cup logo. I think it says Kansas City underneath it. Maybe I'll wear it next week.
I want one that says Kansas City on it.
Totally.
But I also, you know me, man.
You're going to wait until
if I wait till August or October, I can score one. You know, like it's
I
not
want
like
one
I
for
have
the
to...
match. Like that's I guess the question is, and we can have this conversation in June. But when you go, so like I'm going to Tunisia, Netherlands.
I think you wear a U.S. I
That's
think
what
you
I'm
wear
saying.
a U.S.
Do I wear
a hockey jersey? That'd be hot as hell.
Do I wear a U.S. soccer jersey? Do I wear a Kansas City World Cup jersey? Do I wear a Netherlands shirt? Like, what do I? Because I'll be rooting for Netherlands in that game, by the way.
I think if you wanted to for the first time, but this goes back to my rooting for Team Italy. Are you anti-America?
You were rooting for Italy when they were playing the U.S. That's a big difference.
I said I'd think about it. I didn't say
That's
I was.
the problem.
I was considering
If it was Netherlands, U.S., it's not even a conversation.
Sure.
But I'm not going to go wear a Tunisia jersey, or buy one. So
I guess if it was cool, maybe. But at the same time, it's like I just don't own. I used to own hats of a lot of different teams. I don't have nearly as many of those. Closer to maybe how Drew wears shirts or jerseys. Like he's in a soccer
Everton
jersey today.
Yeah, he's an Everton jersey today.
Is he an Everton fan?
I was in. I don't know. We can ask him in a second. He's working on something. Rally House. I was there just a week or so ago, and they already now start to have a couple of these themed. I think it's Charlie Hustle maybe actually that made them, but their theme basically says KC, but there's the Argentina with the KC shirt. I love KC, but Argentina theme. They have one for Netherlands, Tunisia, Algeria, etc. They have them just branded that way.
That's cool. And I like, and there's some local companies doing localish designs, which I like. I'm sure I will want some piece of gear from the World Cup in Kansas City for the only time in our entire lives. And I know that they've tried to at least soften the, they're like, no, don't listen to all those stories. It won't be as bad as you think. I'm still very intrigued to see how the World Cup stuff goes here. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. But you'd mentioned Andy Reid had joined the drive yesterday at in the 3 o'clock hour. So if you want to catch the whole thing, it's up on 965thefan.com. There were two things that stood out to both you and I. We can start with the obvious, which is, hey, so Mahomes, right? And I don't think it's an unreasonable question. Is Mahomes, they're saying he's ahead of schedule. Does that mean anything to you?
I don't know who made the schedule. Everybody's so different. And so when I kind of hear that, I go, well, today he's doing great. And he's done better every day that he's been in this thing. And that's one of the primary things that you look at. You want to make sure they're making positive progress moving forward every day and not taking steps back and definitely not re-injuring himself. So so we've done a good job of that. He's done a great job of it. He spends 7 hours in this building busting his tail every day. And our physical therapist, Julie, does a nice job of challenging him, and he wants more. So he's doing good. But I imagine if there was a schedule, he'd be ahead of it, but I don't know what that schedule is.
That's the weirdest non-answer imaginable he could have given, and I'm not exactly sure. Sometimes Andy will make something awkward for just no reason. What? You could just say, glad he's ahead of schedule. I don't know who made the schedule. All the other stuff that kind of goes in there. You're like, Andy, you can just say, yeah, he's doing really well. He doesn't want to put any pressure on him to be ready for week one.
That's exactly right. That's exactly what he's doing. He doesn't want to say, yeah, he's ahead of schedule. Then all of a sudden it's August 20th. They're like, well, he's actually not ready. Well, you said he was ahead of schedule. That's why. He doesn't want to back himself into a corner.
The Eric Berry situation, which he was guilty of.
They don't want to back themselves in a corner. I understand. You're not wrong, but I also understand why he's saying it that way. Because they don't want to, they're not going to officially announce in May. Oh, yeah, he's coming back week one. We all think he is. Mahomes is planning on that. I'm guessing the Chiefs are planning on that, but they don't want to publicly declare that, oh, yeah, he's ahead of schedule. He'll be out there week one. They're not going to say that in May, on May 15th or May 14th yesterday.
It's probably not worth the risk in fairness. I get it. But, I think at this point, you and I also know that it's most likely that, the way the schedule worked out, I'm more confident than I've ever been that Mahomes will be ready, as we've previously talked about, based on 2 primetime games, all this other stuff, and the things that they're laying it out to be, at least on this end.
Yeah, the other part that I took from that is Julie, the team physical therapist. I don't know if there's a more known physical therapist in the NFL than her.
Well, she was responsible for that ankle stuff.
I know,
too,
and she was in the QB documentary or whatever it was, quarterback.
Yeah.
On Netflix, and she's obviously very, very good at what she does. I'm just saying, I don't know if there's a physical therapist that gets mentioned by the coach more than she does.
No,
she has plenty of props.
Honestly, she has got job security.
Yeah, Mahomes clearly trusts her. That's key in this entire thing.
Yeah.
Going back to the ankle, as you mentioned, and then now throughout this whole recovery.
Yeah, I would say at least some portion of it, she has a massive amount of trust. By the way, I saw that new quarterback lineup for Netflix.
Yeah, isn't that
you
weird?
Missed me with that.
This tells you they're struggling to find quarterbacks. Jaden Daniels is interesting because he's kind of quiet. We don't know much about him. But then it's Joe Flacco and Is it Jackson Dart?
Baker and Jackson Dart. There's 4 of them.
Baker could be fun in that. We already know he has got a good personality. Jaden Daniels is probably the one I'm most intrigued of the group because we really just don't know much. He's quiet. He also got hurt last year. So what did that whole rehab look like? Joe Flacco. No, I don't care to have Joe Flacco on quarterback. Come on.
What do I need to know other than he's a confident dude who thinks he's supposed to start? That's fine, but
it's
also
about the storylines though. Like in fairness to the way they did it, Baker,
they got to choose before.
Baker's kind of polarizing. Joe Flacco, probably at some point we're assuming, well, it'd be a backup role to see what that's like. And then he ended up getting traded, becomes a starter on the fly. Like, that storyline's interesting outside of it just being on the Bengals. And then Jaden Daniels, like, the season just is dead. What is that process? I think for the storylines, it's interesting just because none of them are in the playoffs, but I think there's interesting storylines to come from all of it of, well, your season was expected to be really good if you're Jaden Daniels, injury riddled. What's that process like being a quarterback? Baker, you're
I guess
supposed
we've
to win
already
the
seen
division.
that
You blow the
storyline.
division.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's different for every player.
Yeah.
I can respect it. I haven't been a fan of that series for the most part anyways, but I can understand why people would be excited about it. I think
I haven't watched it.
Who's very excited about it.
I haven't watched it since the second. I watched Mahomes, obviously, and then I watched a little bit of the wide receiver year with Jefferson, but that was it.
Okay. I randomly saw that clip come up again of Anthony Edwards and Justin Jefferson. Did you guys see that clip where Anthony Edwards says that if he wins a title in the next 3 or 4 years, he'll go play football?
Okay.
And he's being
Anthony Edwards
and Justin Jefferson's like, he's like, it's way easier, dude. Football's way easier. So Anthony Edwards, he seems kind of genuinely serious about
Anthony Edwards is legitimately one of the only players you could picture playing football, and he might actually be all right.
What position would he play? Wide receiver?
Probably.
I will say, I think the best
Or running back.
athletes. I think the best athletes of the major sports in the U.S. are in the NBA, because genuinely, they all jump. They all have like 60-inch verticals and are 6'10". I don't know if that plays in football. I think there's like a height problem in some sports that maybe doesn't work as well as others, but still.
The best player in the NBA who could play in the NFL is Jalen Suggs, 100%. He got D1 offers to play college football. They chose basketball.
Jalen Suggs.
Jalen Suggs would be. He got offers to play quarterback at D1 schools.
I don't know, man. Anthony
Power
Edwards
four
is
schools.
6'4", 225.
Jalen Suggs is 6'4", and he
probably has
he got recruited to play D1 football as a quarterback. Like he's good.
I don't know.
I'm not saying he's as good as an NFL player, but Jalen Suggs could probably make a roster.
Yeah, probably.
Based on,
I guess I
how
just
good
assume
he
any
was
of the top NBA
considered to
players.
be.
Like, I assume if they taught SGA how to play corner,
No
he'd be
chance.
pretty good at it.
No way.
You don't think so?
No way.
He's such a good athlete. You don't think they'd teach him how to play corner?
No.
Not on an NFL level.
No.
You don't think Wemby could be a safety?
No. Come on now.
Are you kidding
Yes,
me?
I'm serious.
He can knock a ball away from 400 yards.
Line Wemby up at wide receiver
Yeah, get it
inside
over
the
the top.
red zone only.
Okay, get it over the top.
If you
Get him on
in
a slant with 7-foot arms.
Absolutely. If you get in the red zone,
Yeah, first and
that's when
goal
he
from
comes
the
in.
8-yard line, just throw it
Yes.
up. That's about it.
Correct.
That's about it.
It would definitely work.
That's
there.
about it. But not on defense. Hell no.
No way.
You don't think? I think he could play defense.
No,
Absolutely.
him trying to on a consistent basis, trying to run down Jamar Chase and stuff. No,
LeBron in
no.
his prime could have played in the NFL.
Well, the rumor for a while was remember tight end for the Cowboys. That was like the whole. There was a whole story about that 10 years ago.
I would only say
Giannis could play in the. I think they all could play.
I would say only Anthony Edwards and Jalen Suggs would
I
be
just
my
have
two.
look. I don't know his 40 time, but I have a hard time imagining that Noah Gray gets on a football field and I couldn't line up Giannis as a tight end at 6'11", 243, and runs a 4.5 40, and I couldn't get that guy open. Like, are you serious? You don't think I could get him open?
His stride would be the thing that really messes people. Like him and Wemby, in regards to the stride.
Giannis could
aspect of
play
it.
tight end, but you were saying Wemby to play safety, Cody.
Yeah, Wemby's not playing
I
defense.
stand by that too. I stand by that.
And we all know the track record of former basketball players playing tight end in the NFL. We've seen that play out here in Kansas City with Tony Gonzalez. So, and Antonio Gates as well in
Someone in
LA.
Texas said Mike Trout could play wide receiver. No chance.
Why would they think that?
I don't know. Zero chance that
It's
happens.
because he's an Eagles fan? Like,
No idea. No chance.
He can't stay healthy playing baseball.
wait till he
You
gets
think he's
hit?
standing on a football field? That man can't stay healthy, and he swings a bat, let alone get hit by Myles Garrett. He'd be dead before the season ended. That'd be my complaint. And also, let's just admit it. Baseball players are the worst athletes. Like, not saying they don't have great athletes, but as a collective, that's the worst group.
In terms of in what shape they're in compared to the other sports.
Yeah.
In terms of the major four, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not saying there aren't, like, Bobby Wood Jr. is an elite level athlete,
Well,
no
just-
matter the
your
sport.
point is basically that look what Bartol Colon was able to do. Okay,
Yes.
It's basically what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
He was a professional baseball player.
I got
okay?
you. I got you.
And he's not the only fat baseball
Oh, what's the
player walking around.
Alejandro Kirk, the short catcher that's got a few pounds on him, I'd say.
Yeah.
Just line him up at nose tackle, you know?
But like, I think,
you know,
like, there are way less baseball players. I think there are probably 30 NBA players who could make the transition. There's like 2 baseball players. Bobby could play DB if they just trained him every day.
No, he couldn't.
Man, really?
No.
I don't know.
Damn, he's so fast and athletic.
No.
And he's a 5-tool guy. Bobby's the one guy I might make the
five
exception
tool
for.
in baseball.
Bobby's one of the few guys I'd make the exceptions for. He's got NFL speed, NFL height, NFL athleticism. Like, why not? I didn't say he could play point guard.
There's only a few NFL players that could play baseball. I mean, Jameis, Russell Wilson. I don't even think either of them could make a big league roster, but
baseball's I swear, I think
Jameis was obviously
transitioning
very
to any
good
sport,
at baseball in college.
Athleticism is not the only thing in baseball is the problem. Like, there are very few athletes I think could just transition to baseball. Baseball is a nightmare. It is a nightmare to transition to. All of a sudden, you're trying to hit Mizorowski's 102-mile-an-hour fastball. I don't care if you're the best athlete on the planet. Those skills just don't transition.
I think the easiest one to just plug in any athlete in another sport to then play in the NFL is just always to say, he can play tight end.
Yeah.
Because, again, Jack Caglione, I could see Cags being a defensive end or tight end or something like that. And so I think that's always the position. You're like, you know what? If you're just tall and you've got a lot of strength and some size to you, you can play tight end. Like, people are like, I'm convinced I could develop him. Who was the Baylor basketball player that failed that they tried to draft?
I mean, a guy just got picked up by an NFL team who'd never played. UAR, right? Or whatever it is, UAR?
UAR Bernard?
I can't even, guy's never even played the sport. He's just an athlete. Now he's a freak athlete.
Yeah.
I didn't plan on getting down that road.
The Colts have had Mo Alley Cox, who played at Wichita State for the longest time.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about something else Andy Reid said, which was about Rashee Rice. I did think that this was interesting. The setup of it is interesting does Rashee Rice know how important of a season this is for him and how important it is that he's on a football field?
Yeah, well, you don't have to do too much talk on that. I mean, he knows. Nobody knows better than the player in those situations. And so it's important, though, that he just keeps showing up and doing his thing. And so he's been doing that. He's been here the whole off season. And he's a great player. It's just a matter of making sure everything's taken care of and he can keep himself on the field.
Keep himself on the field. That last little bit there from Andy, that's the truth-telling part. Because for Rashee Rice, it's the only thing. Nobody's asking if he can get open sometimes or catch passes. It just, can you physically be on a football field?
And despite all the mistakes he has made off the field to this point, he still has an unbelievable opportunity with his athletic gifts to go out there and have a huge season and a monster payday from someone. I don't think it'll be Kansas City, but I can be proven wrong, obviously. Somebody will pay him a ton of money if he goes out there and plays a full season and has no other legal problems. He still, despite everything that happened, this is the fortunate thing that he has because he's extremely gifted athletically.
Yes.
And that's he's the top 1% of the 1% of football players in the world. And he has an opportunity to go out there and get an $80 million contract if he has the season I think he's going to have. The bigger question is, can he be available and stay out of trouble?
Do you think he'll get the multi-year deal, or will someone Jawan Jennings his contract?
He'll get a multi. If he has 1,000 plus, if he has the season I think he's going to have over 1,000 yards and plays in, let's just say 15 plus.
Yeah.
Yep, I think he will.
I think the Jawan Jennings part, I was trying to think back at why didn't he get any money? One, he's a one-year wonder, as in he has the one really good year. I also think that sometimes people do still value when you were drafted. And so for Jawan Jennings, they're like, is this really going to hold up? Guy had one good year. He was a 7th-round pick. Is it all going to come together versus Rice comes with some pedigree? He's a 2nd-round pick. He was highly thought of. He's had some years or games in which he's put up some relatively good-sized numbers when he plays, but playing. That's the part that did it. Before break, you had said something you do not commonly say on the show. You said Missouri did a good thing. You're a Kansas resident and a Kansas graduate. What do you think the University of Missouri is doing well? Other than their trip back to Muni. University of Missouri, Kansas City, back to Muni.
Different. They're different. They're different. We're talking about that university in Columbia.
The Tigers.
The Missouri Tigers. No, it was announced yesterday that Dennis Gates is working on a deal with St. Louis University to play a game in St. Louis at the, I guess, the Edward Jones Dome or whatever they call it these days. To play, or Scott Trade Center, I guess it is, to play a game there and start a series with them. I think this is smart. How much did we talk about Missouri's non-conference last year?
Oh,
how it was just awful, and
I thought it might cost them the tournament.
At one point, would it cost them a tournament berth and all that? So this isn't going to solve everything, but I think this is very smart for Dennis Gates to start up. Plus, it's a fun rivalry you're trying to brew up there, Columbia and St. Louis. We all know they have been playing Illinois and St. Louis, and that'll still the bragging rights game. That's not going away. But I thought this was smart. I think if you're a fan of Missouri, you should be happy. But they're working towards playing their first game since 2001. It has been It's been a long time since they played each other. So that was a story that came out yesterday, and I thought that was kind of interesting. It's not official yet. Just the reporting was that they're close, according to John Rothstein.
So it'll probably happen.
To finalize a deal. Yeah, I think that's the case. It's going to be at the Enterprise Center. Sorry, I had the names all wrong. Enterprise Center on November 6th.
Hard to keep the name of every arena in every city track, so I wouldn't worry about it. This makes a lot of sense for Missouri. If they are going to take, this is what I had said about Dennis Gates before. Missouri needs a coach to take them to a different stage. They have been in this stage before. The stage of, we go to the tournament half-ish, 5 out of 10 years, 6 out of 10 years, losing the round of 32. They've been here before, but they have not been at the level of recruiting they've been getting. They just got another transfer out of BYU. I think the Kennard Davis kid is coming back. He's a St. Louis kid, so it makes sense. So he's getting ready to come there. And so, that part of it is certainly they have recruiting at a different level. They seem to be getting talent at a different level than they had before. They're in a big time conference, so they should have the advantages outside of there, but they have yet to take a program step. To do that, Gold, you got to actually challenge yourself in the non-con.
Well, look what
Kansas every year plays Duke, North Carolina. They play big boy schools.
Yeah, some of that is.
No, I know,
Missouri
but you
can't
got to
schedule every big boy.
But they've been
Kansas
scheduling
can,
Norfolk. They got to play a real school.
Yeah, I was going to say though, next year they have 3 neutral site games. Do the Missouri Tigers? They play KU at T-Mobile. They play Illinois at the Enterprise Center, and then they play Marquette at the United Center, and then now they're going to play St. Louis. That is definitely an improvement.
They're also playing in the ACC SEC Challenge in all likelihood as well. So yeah, their non-con is already going to be better on that alone.
If this goes through, they'll still need 7 more non-con opponents, but that's a pretty strong start.
That outside of just the ones that we mentioned, if they're in the ACC Challenge, that's 5, and if you include the others, I mean, you might include, I don't know, 1 more legitimate team, and then after that, you include some more of the mid-majors who are a little bit lower on the totem pole than the Billikens are.
Yeah, but it's just it is a real program. Genuinely last year and the last couple of years for non-con, it has been as soft as imaginable. And so Illinois and these other ones, SLU's another one. Why not do the regional ones? For the same reason UMKC or KU and all those should, regional, not rivalries, but regional games that are of power at least 6 somewhere, right? Somewhere in the top 6 or 7 programs, a mid-major conference that people respect or has had somebody make a run in. All of those things make a big difference. I will say this is small. We don't have to get really into it. I saw K-State. I saw their Gene Taylor had announced some of the money that they were expecting.
Mm-hmm. It's half what they were giving Tang.
Half. Literally half what they were giving Tang. I thought, if I were a K-State fan, I'd be like, the hell?
Casey Alexander knew that when he got the job, though.
I know.
He was not going to have the same NIL
but they gave
budget.
Tang it. They gave Tang double that amount.
That's why he got fired.
Is that for portal specifically, or is it?
They said the whole basketball program, $6 million is the
million.
expected budget. It was 12 under Tang. It had gone way up. Now they're spending good money still on football, but
they've been spending.
The excitement's all around the football program in Klein right now.
Yeah,
sure. But still,
I mean, in fairness to Casey Alexander, he's used to not having money, so he's used to it. It's not like he's coming over and it's a requirement. He barely even
the guys, the candidates
dabbles
still
in the portal.
tough.
So I mean, obviously it's tough. I just think that for the coach that they hired, it's not. It makes sense that the commitment's not as high because Jerome Tang was all about the portal and all about that spending, where Casey Alexander has never been.
I agree with that. Also, all the candidates they were interviewed, he knew, this is not some surprise. They knew what the budget was going
to be negotiated
to be.
For sure.
That was always known. And then it's crazy. Here's where we're just out in college sports.
Yeah.
Take K-State out for a second. The fact that we're sitting here and saying, it's only $6 million or it's only $19 million for football. That's how outrageous the money has gotten. We're like, $6 million? That's not enough to compete.
Not for college basketball.
That's where we're at. That's
on the Big 12.
I mean, who was it? I think it was Dan Hurley a week or two ago said, I think you got to have at least, is it $15 million, he said, to compete, to win a title in college basketball these days?
He's probably right.
It's unbelievable. This is where I love NIL, but there's got to be some changes. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
I saw pretty much everybody calling for it's going to be the death of the college football regular season if they go to 24 teams. I think that might be a bit hyperbole.
Oh, it'll definitely lessen it.
But it'll definitely lessen it. No argument here.
All right, let's get to it.
Trash of the day.
All right, trash of the day today takes us to, I believe it's a suburb outside of Atlanta. It's an Atlanta neighborhood, so maybe it actually is in Atlanta proper. But this was pretty funny. This comes from Action News 2, where they're having a little issue in a neighborhood with some self-driving vehicles.
Waymo after Waymo after Waymo enter this dead-end street, usually early in the morning.
I think yesterday morning we had 50 cars that came through between 6 and 7.
Neighbors on Battleview Drive started seeing the autonomous, driverless cars 2 months ago, but the groupings and large number of Waymos just started circling in and out in the last couple weeks. They even shared video with us when neighbors used this little guy to put him right out here in the street to block the Waymos from getting into the cul-de-sac, and you can imagine what happened next.
And we had at one point 8 Waymos that were stuck trying to figure out how to turn around.
The Waymos are empty and not picking anyone up, and parents are worried, not only calling it excessive, but dangerous.
We're families, we have small kids, we have animals and pets, we've got kids getting on the bus in the mornings, and it just doesn't feel safe to have that traffic. Neighbors reached out to Waymo and have not got a response. They've also contacted their council member, representatives, and GDOT, and don't know what to do. We would just like to see them stay on main traffic roads.
So they're just having like a whole chain of Waymo cars coming down the cul-de-sac all the time?
Imagine just constantly just a bunch of self-driving vehicles looping around in your neighborhood.
Oh, it'd drive me crazy.
It'd be awful.
I've
It'd
never
be
even been in
awful.
one. I'm a little afraid of the driverless vehicles.
Yeah, I haven't been in
at the moment. I want the technology to get a little further before I get in one.
Yeah, I haven't done that. I've obviously been in a vehicle that has like self-driving features, but not where it's like
it drives itself.
Yeah, autonomous or whatever they call it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's that clearly
That's
there's
so
some
funny,
glitch
though.
with the GPS with
Yes.
Waymo or something that's having
Yeah.
them all keep going in this neighborhood.
Can you run a patch or something? So my cul-de-sac doesn't just have, and you can see them. They're just like coming around in a circle, just circling each other and then back out the neighborhood over and over and over again. It would be terrible. Couldn't play outside, couldn't do any
Yeah,
of
it
this
is bad
stuff.
for the kids.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it
awful.
is dangerous though because you're like now you're constantly having traffic.
Don't worry, kids. It's just a bunch of driverless cars driving on our street constantly.
Someone said they're ordering 50 Waymos to your cul-de-sac now.
Don't do that. I don't. Plus,
You don't live in a cul-de-sac.
I do.
Or I guess you're at the bottom of it. I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
I live in a cul-de-sac, but it's not like cul-de-sac life, if that makes sense. Yeah. I don't live that life where, people sit up in the circle together and hang out, know each other. I'm at the very bottom. I essentially just have like the one neighbor on the one side,
Right.
and that's it. But I don't want Waymos coming up and down because we live not far from an emergency snow route, and we kind of live on like a wider 2-lane road not far from our house. Anytime there's like any kind of construction in the area, they do use the streets not far from our house to park stuff. So right now there's a steamroller parked, like, 100 yards from my house. And like an asphalt machine was there a couple of weeks ago or something. So like anytime there's like construction somewhat in the area, they're like, this looks like a nice wide road. We'll just park the steamroller here. Think the keys are in it? You think I can operate?
steamroller?
How hard do you think it is to operate a steamroller, just hypothetically?
I don't think it'd be hard to operate. I think you would damage a lot of things with it, though.
Yeah, that's probably true. I feel like it mostly just like turn it on and press go.
Turn it on and press go.
I think it's probably like operating a forklift. If you've ever done that, there's probably like a couple of gears, like something to run the barrel, something to run the back and forth, and maybe a turning mechanism. I don't think it'd be any more different than like a time or two I've run a forklift. I do not have a forklift license. I've just operated one on occasion. You ever operated a forklift, Gold?
Nope.
Nope.
Haven't needed to do that.
Probably never going to need to, honestly.
Don't think I will.
I don't think I'll ever need to either. So we'll see. No basketball today, son. It said there's a fleet of cars on the street. Every day forever is the problem. That's the issue. It's like every day there's a Waymo.
How long
coming
till you
down
think
the
we
street.
have Waymos in Kansas City? Because they're in L.A., they're in Atlanta, they're in major cities.
5 years? If the business model continues, 5 years?
Yeah, because isn't that's one of those? I think don't you have to get like? Remember when it was a big deal when Uber was coming to the area? Yeah, they had to go through legislature and it had to pass.
Yep,
I don't know if that's the same thing with
It
this.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you have to have, like, in New York, they have to get, like, licenses, like, essentially taxi licenses. So you have to allow them into the area in order to
I'm
do
with
it.
you. I don't.
I'm
I mean,
trusting
eventually we'll probably get used to it, but just getting in a vehicle that's controlled by a computer entirely, and then like you've heard, we had the trash day a while back where the doors locked, the person got stuck, they couldn't get out.
I mean, and again, somebody says it sounds like Terminator. To me, it sounds like, anybody ever see the 1980s movie Maximum Overdrive?
I've heard of it.
Okay, that's what it reminds me of. Like all of a sudden the machines are all against us and out to kill us.
That is the trash of the day. Up next, Chiefs Red Half Hour. Let's get back into the schedule release. We know the exact path for the Chiefs and a couple things that stood out, including a very early bye week.
You're listening to Cody and Gold. Tune in for the Chiefs Red Half Hour every day, starting at 11:30 right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic, plus get a $300 instant gift. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
I hope you're sitting down. The ACA Marketplace has announced significant increases on monthly premiums with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Matt B. and KC at BBS Insurance's Freedom of Choice plan now. You don't have to wait. Their plan lets you use any doctor, has zero outpatient deductibles, and it's 30 to 60% lower costs than most Obamacare plans. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you are a small business owner or pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive. Call Matt B. and KC for an instant quote over the phone at 816-205-4664. That's 816-205-4664. Or go to bbsinsurance.net. That's bbsinsurance.net. They will customize a plan chosen and managed by you, not the government.
Save $2 when you buy 2 cans of Superior Products Coverall tire dressing. Plus, get 4 times O-Rewards points now at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast.
Pump up the volume.
When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
The Colonel's cooked up a new $10 bucket of the day just for you. Monday, 24 nuggets for $10. Tuesday, 8-piece fried chicken for $10. Wednesday, 10 wings for $10. Thursday, 8 tenders for $10. Friday, 24 nuggets for, ooh, you guessed it, didn't you? $10. The $10 bucket of the day deal. Every weekday. Only at KFC. It's finger-licking good.
Prices and participation vary while supplies last. Not available on third-party ordering platforms. Tax extra.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Rob Brennan. We hope you're enjoying Beyond the Pitch KC, a podcast on how Kansas City landed the world's biggest sporting event. It's presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. New episodes released every Wednesday on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome in to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Every day at 11:30 with Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
It is Chiefs Red Half Hour here on Cody and Gold. Coming up in about an hour and a half, it is a Fan Club Friday. Thanks to our friends over at J. Rieger. Getting set for the World Cup. They got some cool stuff to show us and talk about. Looking forward to that. We had Sarah in before. Fun personality. We'll get caught up on what she's been up to as well.
Before we talk about the actual part of the Chiefs schedule that matters, we on this show yesterday were trying to anticipate what the Chiefs were going to do schedule video release wise. I give it a solid C. It was fine. It was not as bad as I was somehow expecting in my head. Not a home run for me, but certainly not bad. I do think it's a little bit funny that we had said, what are they going to do? And I said something from 25 years ago, and then they went QV Chiefs. So that part was a little on the nose. But also, like, it's not like the Chargers did Halo and people didn't crush them for something that's obviously a dated-ish reference as it relates to it.
Hi, you've reached Bruce.
And Gail.
There was a phone number on there.
Yeah.
And Drew called the number. Drew called the number on the QV Chiefs, I'm sorry.
QV Chiefs.
Hotline, and this is what happens.
Hi, you've reached Bruce.
And Gail.
Thanks for calling the QV Chiefs hotline, where the deals are hot and for a limited time only.
Just like our relationship.
Gail, please. For a chance to win signed items from some of your favorite players, press 1. For a special word from some of your favorite Chiefs, press 2. To hear me play the unofficial QV Chiefs theme song on the harmonica, press 3.
Oh, he's still doing that. Don't press 3. Don't indulge him.
And for information on purchasing 2026 Chiefs tickets, press 4.
Press 4. That's you. That's what you sound like.
That's a professional
Why are you
voice.
trying so hard to make it
It's a professional voice, Gail.
So I do like that they actually use the phone number. That's
I
a
believe
good.
Rob Riggle was the.
Of course.
That's a good Easter egg.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it was fine. It wasn't one of the best ones I saw of the night, but it was certainly okay.
The
best one might have been the Titans.
The Tennessee Titans on Broadway Street there and going around and finding lookalikes to coaches and players was awesome. My favorite moment on the Titans one probably was the Myles Garrett one, where they found some short white kid.
I know.
The Myles Garrett jersey.
And they put Myles Garrett in his shirtless photo too, which is messed up.
It was great. But yeah, no, the Chiefs were fine. It wasn't a top tier one, but it certainly wasn't bad. I thought it was good. And then if you press 1, you heard the voicemail there. If you press 1, here's what happens.
Donna Kelsey here. We've got some signed items from my friends, Patrick Mahomes, Xavier Worthy, and Nick Bolton up for grabs, courtesy of QV Chiefs. Just leave us a voicemail with your name and email address for a chance to win.
By the way, I would love, it would never happen. I want to be able to go and have access to all the left voicemails and see what crazy crap somebody said on there.
They're never going to give us that.
Nope.
But
because there's somebody that thought they were going to be funny and left. I can't imagine some of the voicemails that were left.
What other? So you guys mentioned the Titans. The Chargers one. We all grew up on Halo, so we liked that one.
Yep.
I liked the Simpsons one from the Colts.
Saw that.
I liked the Napoleon Dynamite one, maybe because it's just like
the Raiders Step Brothers thing. The Raiders Step Brothers thing with Mendoza.
Not bad. It's not quite as funny because Fernando's not funny. So like it works better, but like that's the risk you take in using an athlete versus using a person. So it wasn't bad. I don't want to say that, but I still think the Titans one was the best. Just going down on Broadway Street and then doing that makes a huge difference, man.
I don't know if you guys saw this. The team with the most audacity was the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, what did they do?
So actually, hang on a second. Apparently the image is fabricated. Never mind.
Okay.
Dang it.
There was no. Okay, so Drew.
Did
I not say when Drew showed us this morning the recipe list that the Vikings put out, and it included something, and we're like, dude, there's no way they would have.
It just recently has a note or whatever on Twitter.
Community note or whatever.
Yeah, community note. It got community noted. But
it needed to be.
In fairness, I would say
because I don't think they would have. I don't think they would have done this. There's no way.
Like look, teams will take their chances, and certainly have taken their opportunities in order to do it. So we got to keep an eye on it. But like they should take shots. Why can't they, Drew? What's the difference?
Well, no, I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm just saying the audacity. If they actually did what.
Oh yeah,
the image that was community noted, essentially saying that in these cookies, because there was a plate of cookies, TikTok cookies, Week 14 of Patriots, and on the bottom of the list gives you a bunch of things like butter, eggs, sugar, vanilla, flour. Ricini juice was included in the recipe.
I'm laughing at that. I'm also laughing at Drew. If you can go back and get the cut of Cody saying, "Yeah, they used an athlete, not a person," which is phenomenal.
That's fair.
Is phenomenal.
Athletes are people too.
They
Cody.
are.
Come
They
on
are.
now.
That's right.
Come on.
All right.
I admit, I don't know. He doesn't act like a normal person, you know?
All right, we have to address something else real quick because now we're getting text about it. So we have new cameras. You guys know of YouTube,
Yeah, we're trying to figure them
YouTube,
out.
Twitch video. It's all up there in Facebook. And the cameras are so high tech that you can do hand signals to either have it track you or zoom in and zoom out. And if you make the L sign like loser, it zooms in or zooms out. Well, the problem is the camera just zoomed in on both of us at the same time. So if you're on video,
So we had to fix it.
If you see us both going putting up an L,
Now it's going to do it again.
Well, mine's zoomed out right now, but then it's going to zoom in too far, so we can control it with our hands. This is very weird. I don't know what to make of it. And see, now it's going to zoom in too far.
I like this level. This
How do
level
I-
of distance is fine.
What's the medium level? It keeps
I
going.
don't know if there's a medium level.
It's going way too far out, or it's zoomed in way too close.
You'll have to ask Drew to zoom it in a little. You'd rather be too far
that
out
where we're
than
at
zoomed in on your forehead.
I know. I'm zooming it back out.
It's better now. It zoomed out.
Technology is hard. We don't know. But he's not wrong. Like now, Alex looks really far away. He's got the trees in the background.
Oh,
You
well.
just got to make the adjustments sometimes. We'll learn there eventually. I did see multiple teams. Was it which team was it that put both Chiefsaholic and the free Rashid? I think it was the Chargers. The Chargers had both Chiefsaholic in their graphic for the Chiefs for Halo and them wearing the free Rashid shirts. Which in
Ooh.
retrospect, come on. And at the time, Gold, we said those were in poor taste. But it certainly didn't get better. I think we can admit that. It's not
Right.
like it
It
didn't
wasn't
improve.
smart at the time.
It didn't improve with time, though. It aged like milk instead, and so they just ran into a situation. Let's talk about the Chiefs' actual schedules. It relates to the team. Anyway, we'll let Drew worry about the cameras. For now, you and I will try to avoid putting L's into the camera screen so that we move it. I'm torn a little bit on the Chiefs' schedule because I don't believe there's any conspiracy around schedule making. Right? I don't think that they're trying to screw a team or not screw a team. Chiefs got 6 primetime games. I was hoping it was going to be less. Second most in the league. Doesn't surprise me. The reason why I was hoping it'd be less is maybe they could fly a little bit more under the radar or find a way to make that adjustment. Okay, fine. I didn't get that. They got both helped by the schedule in the early part because Mahomes will be recovering from the surgery. They got a young defense. They've got a new running back. They'll have time to figure themselves out against bad teams and absolutely hammered in the worst stretch of games any team will get in the entire NFL this year from weeks 12 through 17. So it just depends on and an early bye week. They got screwed in 2 ways, and I would say benefited in a couple of ways. So it's probably a net wash, and at least maybe the Chiefs will have a chance to get their confidence or familiarity with some players before they have to go through the difficult stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of, this is good because it allows Mahomes to get back from the injury. I would buy into that more if we thought he was going to miss, we already knew, going to miss the first month or two. So we're going to give him a week 5 bye because we know he's not going to be ready till week 4. That way it gives him an extra week and he's ready by week 6. That's not what's going to happen. We all expect him to play week 1 or 2 of the season. So they didn't need the quote unquote help on that. Now, is the schedule very soft in the first 10, 11 weeks?
Yeah.
It's not too bad. Yeah. I mean,
might be the easiest in the NFL or one of the easiest. Not
Broncos at home will be tough, but then Colts at home, road Dolphins, road Raiders, bye week. Yeah, the Chiefs are favorites in 11 games, by the way. 11 games this year. They're now it's out there.
And how many of those are in the first 11 weeks? All of them?
Well, that's the thing. The Broncos game, the Colts, the Dolphins, the Raiders, the Jets, the Falcons, the Cardinals are all easily favorites or the Chiefs are easily favorites, I should say, over them. And depending on how they're playing, like the Chargers game week 6 at home, depending on how the Chiefs are playing, there's a chance Kansas City will be favorites in that game. In fact, I actually think they are.
They are currently.
They are currently right now. So we'll see. My big thing with the schedule is I hate the week 5 bye just because we've talked about this for years, the grind. Now, this year,
especially in a 17-game schedule.
They're not coming off a year in which they played games in January and February like they had been. So they had a longer offseason than they normally have. So maybe it's not as big of a problem. And they don't play teams coming off a bye week at all this year, which is a nice luxury to have. But it's week 12 to 17 that everybody's focused in on, understandably so. Bills on the road on Thanksgiving night. Thursday night at LA against the Rams. Away against Cincy. 3 straight road games. Buffalo, Rams, Bengals. Home to New England. Home to San Francisco. Away to LA Chargers. Weeks 12 through 17. Now, 1 or 2 of those teams won't be as good as we think. Or there's an injury and it all works itself out.
Yeah, like Brock Purdy won't be available.
Who knows?
Or the Chargers will be worse than we thought.
Something like that. So I'm convinced there's no way week 12 through 17 is going to actually live up the exact way we think it is. Right now, yeah, it looks like it's one of the toughest stretches I've ever seen.
But there's no way for it to go as bad where it's not the worst part of their schedule.
It's going to be
Even
their
if
toughest.
two of these teams are worse,
It
it's
is.
still an awful stretch in divisional games and road games and, like everything you could possibly imagine being thrown at you.
They definitely need to rack up some wins in the first 10 weeks of the season based off of the fact that you get the Dolphins, the Raiders, and the Jets, and the Cardinals and Falcons all in that same 10, 11 weeks. That's massive for them. I think we'll know the quality of this team, honestly, during the week 6, 7, and 8 stretch, which is home to the Chargers, at Seattle, at Denver. I think that'll tell us a lot because when they play the Colts, the Dolphins, and the Raiders, if the Chiefs win those games nationally and locally, we're all going to say, okay, all right, they can beat those, but let's see what happens when they have to go and go on the road and play the defending Super Bowl champs or go on the road to Denver. So I think week 6, 7, and 8, if they get out of that, and they've played 7 games, and they're sitting at 5-2 or 6-1.
Even if 2 of the losses are against those 2 teams?
Well,
because that's the part that would get me. If they're if they're what you said, if they're 5-2, but 2 of the losses are against the Chargers, Seahawks, or Broncos, unless the Broncos' week 1 win was at home is a part of that because it would be.
It is. And at 12:30, I know today we're going to go through and see what number you would lock in because you and I have different feeling just about the team as a whole. Like I think week 1 the Chiefs very likely could lose that game. I know they're favorites. I think there's a chance that they lose to the Broncos week 1 and then they rattle off a bunch of wins.
I'll say there's some parts of the schedule. Yeah, I think that's not crazy. Again, they'll be favored in every game for the first. They'll be underdogs twice in the first 11 weeks at Seattle and at Denver.
Makes sense.
Other than that, they will be a favorite or are currently a favorite in every single game. I don't even see a way in which the season could go badly unless they just stink out loud, in which case this part of the schedule and all this other stuff won't even matter as a part of the conversation. I was looking at what do they have going into that stretch because at least they got the Cardinals before the Bills and at least they got a full week before. Do the Rams? Now that's what I haven't looked at.
What?
Do the Rams play on Thanksgiving too? That back-to-back Thursday night game. Are the Chiefs going to get the Rams on a short week, but they're going to be in a full week? Because that would be a benefit.
The Rams, right before they play the Chiefs, the Rams play the Packers at home on a Wednesday.
Oh, so they
Christmas. They play Christmas. Or sorry, they play.
They play Eve. They actually get an extra day on the Chiefs.
Thanksgiving Eve.
That's even more annoying somehow. So the Chiefs are going to actually have one less day of rest, despite the fact it's small.
Yeah.
I thought maybe the Chiefs would have the chance to have the advantage there. So whatever. But that means they'll get 10 days rest before Cincinnati. That's not a bad thing, right? Before they have to go on the road, 10 days. A normal amount of rest before New England, a normal amount of rest before San Francisco. We don't know what time the final 2 games of the season will be. So it's tough to see. Those could easily be Sunday night flex options or anything else in between. But it's not like it's a difficult group of teams. They're not like running into everybody where they're on short rest and they're off a bye or they're getting the same amount of time these other teams are to prepare, I guess is what I'm saying. I think one of the things Sam McDowell pointed out is something that is going to end up mattering, which is from week 3 until week 13 or 14, they only play at home 3 times. Week 3 to 14, they only play at home 3 times. That's tough. That's a difficult thing to overcome, having to go on the road that much. Now, one of those is a bye week. It's not all games. But Gold, to only get to play at home 3 times during that stretch because you start off with back-to-back home games and you have one less home game than road this year and no international game. They're going to have to be road warriors, I guess, is what I would say this season. And their ability to travel with their team is going to matter more than it has in a number of years, right? Feels right. Text line is asking if we're going to talk some baseball. Not during the Chiefs right half hour.
Yeah, the team we talked about from like 10:10 to 10:20 and then had a guest on to talk about from 10:30 to 10:40 and that we're going to talk about again in 15 minutes. Yes, that baseball team that's 6 games under 500 and lost 3 in a row, got swept by the White Sox, that team we will talk again. Yes.
Disappointed. Disappointed in the way it went for the Chiefs, you know?
For the Royals.
Or for the Royals. For the Chiefs too, honestly. Both. Not for the schedule part, just for the way that it worked.
Did you see Warren Sharp's tweet about the schedule real quick?
Was he making it seem like
I felt like there was definitely a bit of tone to the tweet. He tweeted out Chiefs 2026 schedule. Earliest bye possible from home's return. Only one of only few teams with 2 straight home games. 2 of the weakest opponents away from home, weeks 3 and 4. Toughest games parked late in the season.
I mean, I will say there probably is a tone.
But he's also making it seem like it's a
technically inaccurate.
No, but he's saying he's acting like it's a cheat code that they have a bye week 5. If anything, that's terrible for the Chiefs. Again, the bye week 5 only would matter if there was truly concern that Mahomes needed to miss the first month of the season.
Yeah,
and then he did steal a week.
Yeah, but he's playing
Probably
week
playing
one.
week one, yeah.
They got them back-to-back primetime games. It's also just, I think it is softening to say earliest bye possible. Only team with 2 straight home games to start the year. And only have a few. And then just being like, it's kind of tough later. Kind of tough? Like, it is softening the Bills, Rams, Bengals, Patriots, 49ers, Colts run. Now, I get it. Like, it could not, honestly, probably couldn't be much easier in the 3 games leading up to it or the game at the back end of that with the Raiders. Because Jets, Falcons, Cardinals is not exactly murderer's row.
Nope.
Other than it might be Carson Beck for the Cardinals by the time they get to them instead of Jacoby Brissett.
Let's also remember there's a chance some games get flexed. Remember, Thursday night applies to this now, so that Chiefs-Rams Thursday night game could get flexed 28 days out.
They're not going to flex that one out, all right?
If the Chiefs would have to be terrible for that to happen.
Yeah. I
Chiefs
mean, if
would have
anything,
to be terrible.
Like I was about to say.
It could also means you could also get flexed in, though, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Can you imagine the Cardinals into being good and they flex the Cardinals into another Thursday
Sunday night
game?
football
Thursday,
can be
Thursday,
flexed.
Thursday.
You can have Sunday night football flex 12-day notice, weeks 5 through 10. Sunday night football can be flexed 6 days notice, weeks 12 through 18. Monday night football as well. The Chiefs already have 6 primetime games, but
I don't think teams like to move this around as much as you think. And I think part of the issue with it sounds good on paper, they'll flex these games. You know what happens though is CBS, you can't flex any game. You can't steal any game from anybody. Fox already chose their big game. CBS chose their big game. Monday night like you can only steal from a handful of other games available to you. And at least that part of it changes the math a little bit too. Looking at the schedule, by the way, I know you do this a lot. Are you going to go to the Rams game?
Yeah,
Which road game are you going to if you're a Chiefs fan? You had said just as long as it wasn't on a holiday, you were going to try to get out to LA.
Thursday is not ideal, but that's the one I'm going to. I was looking at flights last night, and somebody I know has Rams season tickets, very good tickets, and so I had talked about for a while. So yeah, I'm going to go as a fan for that one. So I think I'm going to fly out on a Wednesday after the show, and then spend a couple days in LA for that game. I don't like that it's so late in the year because the team, so much
team
can
could be bad, but it's.
But I've never been to LA. Never been to LA. I want to see the stadium. It's also where the Super Bowl is this year out at SoFi. So that's the game for me. If I wasn't already going to LA, I guess that's the other question. If I wasn't going to the Chiefs Rams game, what other one would I want to go to? I mean, Miami Dolphins one would just because it's Miami, not because I want to see the Dolphins.
I haven't been back there since the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it'd be some good memories there. Week 4
trying to think.
In Vegas, we might be there.
I think Thursday night in Buffalo would be a fun one.
Oh, I'll be
inarguable as far as like atmosphere.
But it's Thanksgiving night, so I have no interest.
But Thanksgiving dinner, jumping through a table, that's an experience of a lifetime. You got the turkey set, Drew, before you jump through the table. It's a whole different pregame experience as a Bills
But it's
fan.
so unrealistic because your wife is not letting you leave her and the kids on Thanksgiving by themselves so you can go jump through a table in a parking lot.
Jump through a turkey at a table. I don't know if I put it that way. You don't think my wife would entertain it? You know, we've been together a really long time. I've missed pretty much 0 events for any kid, 0 family holiday. I miss nothing. I actually think that I've earned up so much goodwill that if I wanted to for 1 year, go to a Bills game on Thanksgiving, to jump through a table with a full set turkey dinner, I actually think I could probably make it work. But it's like, I'm not interested in seeing the Falcons play. I'm not interested in going, Denver is there every year. The other one for me, if you weren't going to go to LA or, Thanksgiving doesn't work for you for Buffalo, is the obvious, I think. It's Sunday Night Football against the defending Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. I mean, the atmosphere is good. The team's the Super Bowl winner. You hypothetically could get off to, based off your schedule, a 5-1 or 4-1 start before you face that game, just coming off a divisional one. I'd be way interested in that matchup. That'd be pretty high on my list.
Seattle's
There's several
good
There's several good road games. And it's not like it's at a bad time. The 25th, you're pre-Thanksgiving, you're pre-Christmas. Hell, you're not even into the Halloween week. You're not running into any kind of issues with the Seattle game.
Yeah, I think the 2 road games this year, I know Vegas and LA will be the 2 that I'm going to. I think you and I both probably are going to be going to the Raiders one. But Cincinnati, I still think if we could pull it off just for our show's sake, could be fun. Week 14 in Cincy, show trip.
Tickets are expensive.
December, I got to go on Taylor Swift's birthday,
Okay.
Somebody pointed that out.
Yeah.
It would be cold.
It's going to be cold here.
Yeah, but I don't want to go. But I don't like taking trips to Cincinnati.
I have no interest.
Anyway, I don't want to go in December. Can I get an October game?
I have no interest in going to Cincy. The only reason why I want to is because of the show's dynamic here.
Drew, would you go if we were able to secure tickets? Would you go?
Probably.
Yeah. What? If we got you tickets, you wouldn't go?
That was a very soft answer.
Yeah.
That doesn't make me excited to try. All right, so maybe.
What do you think the odds are that legitimately, if there were Vegas odds for is Joe Burrow starting that game? What odds could I get right now?
It'd be minus money.
Oh, sure. Yeah. It'd be minus money for sure. But it's not like minus 700 or anything.
I have no idea.
Drew doesn't want to go to Cincy. Okay.
I do like the fact that it's Fox. Fox has the game and not CBS, so we get a Brady calling that game.
Is that right?
That's nice.
Yeah,
it'll be a breath of fresh air. Not from Jim Nantz necessarily, but just
who do
I don't know. Jim Chase is on the case. Like I get tired. Eventually, it just gets so old. It's like, can you please literally say anything else, Tony? You can talk about literally anything else.
Is that the broadcaster you hate the most, Drew?
I don't hate Tony Romo. It's just that he
as a broadcaster,
it gets so cliche because you know what he's going to say, and it's just I don't know. Talk about the game, Tony. It just hasn't been as good here recently, but it's the Chase is on the case. He'll say it 50 times during the game when Jamar Chase is having a good play.
Yeah,
I did see a week ago, I believe they reposted. The NFL's reposted this a lot. The Jamar Chase 266-yard game. In which he made Charvarius Ward his son after he grittied on him one time, and then after that, Jamar Chase put on the after that, Jamar Chase said, "Okay, I'm locked in."
They played really good football the rest of the way. Cincinnati did after that game. Chiefs got throttled by Jamar Chase.
That was a Super Bowl run.
Yeah,
a lot of people are comparing their schedule to 2021 too, the Bengals schedule.
That was 5 years ago. That's crazy.
That's honest to God. That is genuinely the biggest issue with believing in Cincinnati is. The last time we even discussed them is being a part of the AFC elite was 4 years ago.
Which
in the NFL, that becomes ancient history.
But also, I think that's also why they have the best rivalry. It's been 4 years, and they still don't like each other. That's why it's a better rivalry than
I don't think it's a better rivalry.
Bills.
The Bills, just because of what we just talked about, I think that's still the issue. But I don't disagree that. It could easily be a better rivalry if Cincinnati just mattered.
It's been, I mean, if the Bengals were contenders like the last 2 years, then it would easily be the best rival that the Chiefs have hands down. But I think the fact that there's still some bad, annoying blood there from 4 or 5 years ago, it's the.
I think among fans, I don't think you look at the roster now in Kansas City. I actually don't think the players on the Chiefs roster really give a damn about Cincinnati anymore. I think fans do.
Really?
I absolutely think fans do. Yes. Fans do.
I mean, Chris Jones and Travis Kelce do like Joe Burrow. They're on record saying that.
Yeah.
They do really like
I think it's, if you're just saying like the fans, absolutely. Once the mayor talks crap on your city and all this kind of stuff, then that's going to happen.
Jamar Chase is still plays for that team. I don't
he
think.
Does.
You know my opinion on Jamar Chase.
I don't think that defense like Jamar Chase. Honestly, period. I think there's still a lot of hate outside of Chris Jones and Joe Burrow and everything like that. And
I know, and he was crazy
that
against
whole DB room. I think hates Joe Burrow. It doesn't even matter whether they've played him or not.
He went off against Charvarius Ward, but let's also not ignore that. Just like the last time they played, Trent McDuffie shut Jamar Chase's ass down.
The other part is genuinely. If Cincinnati goes another year where they miss the playoffs and they don't matter, well, then I'm done discussing them a part of the other AFC teams. They don't deserve to be a part of the conversation.
They don't deserve to be a part of it right now either.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give them an extra year because I just still think Joe Burrow's good.
Being putting him in there, I understand that if Joe Burrow's healthy, then it's a different team. But they don't belong in the conversation because they haven't shown it since then. Do I think they can win the Super Bowl if they're healthy and with the defensive moves they made? Yeah, but you need to see it to believe it thing. It's the same thing with some of the other teams that we talk about. I need to actually see it happen for me to believe it again. I'm not going to predict the Bengals to win the Super Bowl this year because they haven't shown anything other than putting together a roster that can do it. But until they go out and they win the division again or they make the playoffs, then the jury's still out on them, just the same as it is for the Chargers, just the same as it is for. Can the Ravens actually win a playoff game with Lamar Jackson again here recently? They haven't been able to do that either.
All right, coming up next, we'll get to what's trending. Plus, Matt Verderam from Sports Illustrated going to join us. We'll talk Chiefs schedule, but also NFL as a whole. How does he think the NFL laid this thing out? And some talks are already underway between Major League Baseball and the MLBPA.
You're listening to Cody and Gold. Tune in to hear Royals insider Josh Vernier every Wednesday at 12:30. Cody and Gold is brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. Your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan.
The weather is turning beautiful outside. Spring is here. Summer's right around the corner, so that can only mean one thing. It's time for golf. FanDuel is the clubhouse leader for betting major golf because right now, all customers can get a 25% profit boost for every round of the second major. Use them on top finishes, top 5, top 10, top 20, and more. You can boost your winnings on anything from who you think's going to win the tournament to who's going to be leading at the end of the round, plus individual matchups, and you can use all that with a 25% profit boost for every round of the second major. So don't wait. Visit FanDuel.com/local to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app, and take your swing at boosted winnings. That's FanDuel.com/local. Your home for golf, your home for basketball, your home for football. It's America's #1 sportsbook app. It's also the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issued is with non-withdrawable profit boost token. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more, getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom, and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Feature therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
When the moments in your life are too important to miss, you can trust O'Reilly Auto Parts to keep you and your plans on the road. Our professional parts people can test your vehicle's battery and even give it a charge if needed. In most cases, we can install your new battery for free. It's just one of the many services we provide at O'Reilly Auto Parts to ensure life's best moments don't find you stranded.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
My dad passed away unexpectedly. Of course, it was awful in every way, but we are very grateful that he had life insurance. So even after he was gone, he was still able to provide for us. And that's why I have life insurance for my family. Ethos.com. They make it fast and easy to get covered. It's 100% online. You get a quote in seconds, and you can apply in minutes. You get covered the same day.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required. Rates may vary.
The Cody and Gold Garage Sale benefiting the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum is on Wednesday, June 10th on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti.
Number one on What's Trending, the Royals are in St. Louis tonight as they begin a series against the Cardinals. Of course, the Royals just got swept by the Chicago White Sox, now sitting 6 games under 500. Michael Wacha on the bump. First pitch at 7:15. Birds on deck show at 6.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you said it before, but we are sadly barreling towards not discussing them on a nightly basis because the issues feel the same, and I don't want to come in here and just repeat myself over and over and over again. I will say it's pretty annoying to watch Carter Jensen and Jack Caglione not in the lineup for back-to-back days. Even if all lefties aren't created equal, as Jake Eisenberg pointed out, you can't just be beholden to any time there's a couple of left-handed starters, 2 of your better players being unavailable, at least on that end. I understand they're not perfect players so far this season, but they're still players you're relying on to be better. Next up on What's Trending, MU gets BYU transfer Kennard Davis in the portal. He officially signed with the Tigers today. One of the better prospects available in the portal. Obviously, they got a big class coming in, too. Missouri's got real high expectations for their program, some of the highest they can have going into a regular season. But yet another good get for the Tigers.
NBA postseason picks back up tonight. Pistons and Cavs. The Cavs up 3-2, a chance to wrap up the Eastern Conference semis tonight. Also, late one, chance for the Spurs to do the same, wrap up their series. They are in Minnesota taking on the Timberwolves. Over on the Stanley Cup side of things, we've got one game tomorrow. No games tonight. Tomorrow it'll be the Sabres and the Canadiens. Montreal up 3-2.
Next up on What's Trending, the PGA Championship underway as it sits right now. Bit of an odd leaderboard, I feel like, versus a normal one. Several golfers all tied at the top 5, to be exact. They include Min Woo Lee, Hideki Matsuyama, and a few others all at the top of the list. Some other names that maybe you've heard in other lists, like Patrick Reed and others. Scotty Scheffler now officially just 1 shot back. Is 2 under par. He's tied for 6th as it sits right now in the tournament.
Did you
gonna watch much of this weekend?
What?
You guys didn't see this because they did put it up there, but Garrick Higo, the guy that missed the tee time,
yeah,
they had a countdown to his tee time clock.
Damn, that's messed up.
Yep,
that's good. That's good. I like that.
He goes off in 40 minutes today.
You know, he's
Oh,
playing
no,
right
no,
now.
you're right. He is playing now. I see
He
that
just
now.
teed off.
Yeah. So he just got underway. Good for him, I guess. Hey, man. He, in fairness, he owned it enough. He said if you're 1 second late, they say you're late. So I was late. He said his caddy was yelling at him to get there on time. I mean, it's the only thing you have to do is show up to the tee box on time. I'd be there 10 minutes early, Gold. I'm not even kidding.
Like most other players are, they get their prep done in time to.
Yeah,
to be
I'm
there.
not risking that. I'll just be standing there.
Elsewhere on What's Trending, we mentioned the Chiefs' schedule, but we also learned their preseason games. The only reason why I'm bringing up the preseason, I thought it was weird. The Chiefs play in the regular season on the road at Seattle and on the road at LA against the Rams. In the preseason, they play at home against the Rams and at home against Seattle.
We're going to preview of both those teams.
It's weird.
I guess.
Normally, you don't play a regular season opponent in the preseason, let alone 2 of them.
Yeah. Justin Fields' time to shine, I guess.
Definitely a lot of Justin Fields
Sometimes
against the Rams.
the schedule lines up that way. Lastly, on What's Trending, don't forget the Cody Gold garage sale is back. Wednesday, June 10th, 1 day only bidding, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., sun up to sundown, essentially. You'll have a chance to bid on unique item experiences, unique items. We'll start getting some of those up starting even as early as next week, so you can start seeing them on the website and the different things that you can start to bid on. Hell, even Jake Eisenberg was texting me. Remember we were joking earlier? He said he might be able to work out an experience where maybe someone comes and watches the broadcast from the booth for a little bit or something like that. So we'll find some unique show-related opportunities in order to do it. One of these days, I'm going to convince you to go get Potbelly with Vinny or something. Wasn't that his spot for a while?
That is his spot.
I think he's living in a different part of town now, so maybe that's not his spot anymore.
Don't give away his spots.
I'm not giving. I'm just saying. I think he's not in that. I don't think he's living in that same spot anymore.
Gotcha.
I'm not gonna put his address out on the streets.
Cody's doxing.
I'm not gonna
Vinny Pasquantino.
I'm not gonna dox Vinny.
How mad would he be at you if you actually did that?
Probably pretty mad.
He'd be ticked off.
I imagine.
I don't know if he'd ever. I don't know if he'd come on the show again.
If I doxed him, probably
I wouldn't.
I don't know if he'd ever come on again.
I wouldn't.
How mad are you if I just one day on the air just said Alex's address is blank blank blank?
We would have a problem.
And
we would
how much would you want to move?
We would have a problem.
Gold. And that's gold.
Yeah,
Cody.
yeah. You're talking about
not a professional athlete.
Yeah, you're talking about an MLB player. Yeah, but no, we would have a problem. It would be something that would be discussed off air quite a bit.
Yeah. Off air probably made more than on air.
Yes.
When you're that mad, you can't take it on air.
Careful, Cody, when you're talking about athletes versus normal people.
That's the risk you take in using an athlete versus using a person.
Yeah, that's a great line, Cody. Yeah.
You know what I meant. I meant like an actor or That's the risk you take in using an athlete versus using a person. But either way, the Cody Gold Garage Sale's back.
Yeah, we're excited for it. And, of course, all proceeds go to the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum.
100%.
Unbelievable museum here in town, and we love working with Bob Kendrick. We're excited to bring it back. And, yes, as Cody said, once we get a little bit closer, we'll be able to have you already check out the auction site. Well, we're still getting all that organized and trying to finalize some really cool experiences. And we got more than enough items, quite honestly. So we're more
Pretty
trying
loaded.
to lock in some experiences. But
Someone says, do I need to take work off
no.
for the Garage
Nope.
Show or Bet Online?
Nope.
We've long since moved off of the original way we did it, which was insane, and I can't believe we executed it. But it worked, technically. No, there's just an online auction site.
Yep.
But throughout the day, we'll let you know what the items are. Sometimes surprise items come up on the air that might show up on the site later, so we like to warn you at least of those things. But at least we're up and running. Garage Sale's back, a 1-year hiatus for legal reasons.
That's right.
This is a Bub Board Showdown.
Let me be clear, we didn't do anything wrong. I think you keep saying that. You keep
Honestly,
saying that like there was like misappropriation of funds or something. That's not what happened at
all
all.
the
It
money
was.
went to the museum.
It basically was that corporate was worried about liability stuff for some of the. That's what happened.
Someone says if it's not an in-person auctioneer, I'm not buying it. What if I get an auctioneer in for one item that we bid off on the show, and you just have to like send the money to the museum? You know, we won't touch any money, won't handle anything. I'll just promise to. I don't know. Somebody said like the father figure experience that somebody was offering yesterday.
That's weird.
Well, it's nothing. It's not
very
weird. We just play catch.
That's very weird.
Show you how to tile, ride a bike, kind of whatever you need. Shoot hoops.
That's just weird. It's getting a little weird at that point when you start doing that. All right, let's talk some more NFL and Chiefs schedule. Matt Verderam from Sports Illustrated, the Matt Verderam Show, joining us here on 96.5 The Fan. Matt, always good to have you, my man. I know it's always cool you put together your schedule grid and everything. We can get to that in a second. But what did you just make of the Chiefs schedule and the way it laid out, specifically with the Week 5 bye?
So the bye stinks, right? I mean, if you're the Chiefs, that's the earliest bye in the league. Only they and Carolina have it. I think most teams would tell you they'd rather have the bye around Week 9, right in the middle of the season, but it is what it is. I got to tell you, though, outside of the bye and what is a very tough road slate in terms of the 3-game trip to Buffalo, LA, and Cincinnati, it's not that bad of a schedule. I mean, when you look at it, they get 3 of the last 4 at home. They don't play anybody who's coming off the bye to play them. They get Denver off of an entire summer's worth of preparation. They get the Chargers at home off of a bye week. They get the Bengals off of a mini bye, if you will. The early part of their schedule, like the first 10 games where they play the Bills, they're favored in, I believe, 8 of them, and the games they're not favored in, it's like they're a 1.5 underdog in Denver, and I think it's 3 in Seattle. The big key for the Chiefs is going to be those games against Denver and the Chargers the first 6 weeks. If you can win those games, Colts at home, Dolphins, Raiders, Jets, Falcons, Cardinals. I mean, that is not murderer's row if you're Kansas City.
Well, I guess you look at it's not by any means, but it also does make it feel like they're going to have to front run, right? And we're not going to actually believe in the team until we get to the later part of the season. Even if they get up to a hot start, Matt, there'll be some part of the back of our head saying, I'd like to maybe see that week 12 through 17 stretch before I determine the viability of like Super Bowl contender, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, and that's fair. That's fair, right? I mean, I guess with the caveat of if they absolutely like pound Seattle or something, then you're like, okay. But yes, I would tend to agree. Look, I think the 2 most important games they have on their schedule are the 2 home divisional games against Denver and LA. Because if you can win those games, you put those teams in a spot, especially considering, I don't know if we're going to get to them or not, Denver's first 6 weeks are brutal. I mean, Denver could play well and be 2-4. The Chargers weeks 3 through 10, it's one of the toughest 2 months of the schedule I've ever seen. They could literally lose every one of those games. I don't know if they will, but they could. The Chiefs could be up by 3 games, 4 games if they play really well, and then have to hold on. But I would also say the one thing I think that benefits them in this regard, they have a young defense. They got a lot of new pieces, 4 new draft picks on the defensive side, some free agents coming in who are going to learn the scheme. That's a heck of a lot easier to do when you're playing Geno Smith and Fernando Mendoza and Malik Willis and maybe Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones, whoever the quarterback is. And then you get to work up to the harder quarterbacks rather than you come out and it's Stafford, Burrow, Allen in the first month of the season.
What do you pay most attention to, I guess, as it relates to strength of schedule? Do you care most about, or is it a combination for you? Is it Do you like net rest as it relates to it? Vegas win totals, last year's record. Like, which of the things do you think actually hold a little bit of weight? Chiefs are pretty much dead even in the net rest camp, so no real play one way or the other. But what things do you actually factor into for things we can look at ahead, not knowing which teams will be good or bad yet?
Yeah, I think net rest matters if it's extreme one way or the other. Like, I think the Chargers have the worst net rest in the league.
They do, negative 24. It's like, I mean, it's 9 games
that
the next closest.
That matters. Like, that is so extreme. But if it's toward the middle, I don't get too worked up about it. I think that stuff evens out. Because the Chiefs are a cold weather team, I like to see the Chiefs get games late in the season at home. Like, I think playing the Niners in December at home is different than seeing them in October. I think that game's a fundamentally different game. But I guess, overall, yeah, I would point to win totals. I think, everybody gets so hung up a lot of times on last year's strength schedule or you're basing it off last year. I don't care. Teams change so much in the NFL. I can't get worked up about some, hey, this team last year was this. Okay, well, they could be much better or much worse based on what they did in free agency, what they did in the draft. I mean, there's just so many things that play into that. I don't worry that much about all that stuff. But I do think, looking at it this year, that matters because now you're looking at, okay, what games are expected to be tough? We all know that you never really know until you're actually there and you're playing the games. But, listen, it's a schedule I think that a lot of times, teams can get buried early. If you can avoid that, then you can kind of get into a groove and get rolling.
We're talking to Matt Verderam here on 96.5 The Fan. Of the back half of the schedule, how about week 12 through 17 for Kansas City? It's the Buffalo stretch with the Rams, Bengals, Patriots, Niners, and Chargers. Cody and I were discussing this, that one of these teams, number one, is just not going to be as good as we think, most likely, or there's always injuries, and so maybe we get too worked up. Who do you think, I guess, is least likely to actually be as tough as it looks like right now out of that week 12 through 17 stretch for the Chiefs?
Okay, so I look forward to being dead wrong on this, and we can revisit this later on.
Okay.
I don't think the Chargers or the Patriots are good, and maybe I'm just dead wrong. Like, let me rephrase. I think the Patriots are just a good team. I think they're a 9-win team. Like, I don't think. Look, last year, to their credit, they took advantage of a hilarious schedule. Like, a schedule that you just were like, how are they? Like, it felt like they played the Browns 17 weeks in a row. So, they lost some pieces, gained some. I think they're basically a net even in terms of their roster. And then you have all this stuff going on with the coach, which I got to tell you, I think that's going to matter. Like, that is going to be a circus every time they're on the road all year long. So that's one thing. And then the Chargers, I don't love the roster. They let Owe go. They let Keenan Allen go. They didn't replace these guys with anybody. It feels like they lost Jesse Minter, which nobody seems to be talking about, but I think is a really big deal. Like, I don't think those teams are more than league average. And so if I'm the Chiefs, I kind of look at that 6-game stretch in 2 3-game segments. The 3-game road trip, which if you're the Chiefs, if you win one of them, you're like, okay, not the end of the world. You win 2 of them, you're over the moon. And then I look at the other 3 games where I say, okay, you get the Pats at home in prime time. I think they should win that game. Niners, warm weather team on December 27th in your building. And then you go to SoFi, which is going to be 60% Chiefs fans. So I don't look at that last 3 games as that hard, but the first 3 are tough. The first 3, that road trip could bury them if they're not careful.
When you look at the rest of the NFL schedule, I am curious as someone who follows the rest of the league. Is the NFL ever at risk of handcuffing themselves for these Sunday slates by loading up the way they're doing it on Thanksgiving and Christmas again this year? Like the entire Christmas slate, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, all that stuff. Right. It is every single playoff team from last year. And so like the Sunday slates at this point seem like they're going to get like kneecapped, I guess, at some point. So do you think that they're doing any disservice or it doesn't matter? It's football everyone will watch.
No, I think it matters at a point. And I can tell you right now, there are people in the league who think it matters at a point. Like people in front offices think that the NFL, we're starting to run a risk of too much of a good thing. Listen, when you're to a juncture, and I think, make sure I'm right with this, there's one Sunday, I think it's the Christmas week. There's 7 games on Sunday, and they're horrendous. Like, go look at them. Like, there are games that, unless you get some real surprises, and you might get a game or two that ends up being good. They're horrible. Like, there are games that you would be like, okay, let's go out with the family today because no one wants to see this, right? Like, it's like, okay, let's go to the mall. I do think it becomes a problem. I'll also tell you where else I think it becomes a problem, and this is something that they will talk about and do talk about inside of league circles, is you're charging a lot of money for Sunday ticket, and the economy's not great right now, and you are every year it goes up a little bit. Well, you're going to start to have people who go, why am I paying for this? Why am I paying for Sunday ticket when every good game is in prime time? I don't have to sit here and watch the Cardinals and the Falcons battle it out Sunday at 1 o'clock. Like, I'm not going to do that. And so I think right now the Sunday slate, they've almost turned that 4:25 window into another primetime game,
right,
where there's usually like one really good game, and then there's like the Raiders and the Dolphins in Vegas. And you're like, okay, well, no one's going to watch that, but we have to put it on at 4:25, otherwise they're playing at breakfast. So I do think you run into – it's starting to get to where the NBA is right now, and they ran into a problem with that this year where you couldn't even find the game half the time. Like, that is a real problem.
Of the teams in the first 11 weeks or so that appear to be lighter, the Dolphins, the Raiders, the Jets, the Cardinals, who do you think, if there even is one, maybe you just think it's not possible, but of those four, who has a chance to just be a way tougher game than we realize?
Okay, so of the Colts, Dolphins, Raiders,
of the Dolphins, Raiders, Jets, Cardinals.
Oh, okay, yeah. God, I don't think there is. I
can't even find a reason to be like, maybe Fernando Mendoza will be good,
Yeah, and even if he is, though, like, the rest of that team's just not good.
I hear
you. Look, I mean, the Jets, I guess there's a world with the Jets where, like, if Geno bounces back to some extent, and
defensively,
then
they got some talent.
first round.
Yeah.
They have like first round picks, like a mate. But like, I'm going to be look. The first 10 games that the Chiefs play, if the Chiefs are who most people think they are, and if you look at the betting odds, they're the fifth best odds to win the Super Bowl, and they're pretty close to being number 2. Like, if you look at them, and they are who they were expecting them to be. Their first 10 games. I mean, the only games you really think like, okay, this is a game where like they need to play reasonably well. The 2 Denver games, the Chargers at home, although again that's off a bye, and Seattle. And I don't like even those games. It's not like if you look, it's not like you go, oh man, the Chiefs are going to have to play an absolute A+ game. Maybe in Seattle and Denver, maybe. Because Seattle lost a ton. I don't know what to make of Denver. I could see Denver winning 12 games. I could see Denver winning 8 games. I mean, it's just how much do you believe in regression to the mean after what they did a year ago? So. Look, the Chiefs are going to have to get fat early, though. They can't walk out of these first 10 games 6-4. If they do that, they're going to have a problem.
Looking at the rest of the NFL, just briefly, we had talked about the Patriots, whether or not Alex and I don't think the Vrabel stuff will have anything to do with their winning or not. But at the same time, is there news that could come out between then that means Mike Vrabel's not coaching week 1? Is there any amount of news that would convince him out of the game, I guess?
I mean, I think there's absolutely news that could potentially come out that forget week 1. He's just not coaching.
Yeah.
I think there's a real world here. We're about 1 or 2 good leagues away from him being like, I'm taking the year off. I mean, it gets to a point where you have to think about the good of the team. And listen, I'm going to word this delicately, but Robert Kraft doesn't really have a leg to stand on when it comes to to the moral code of humanity. Like, I don't think he can really go to Mike Vrabel and be, hey, man, you stepped over a line here. But here's the problem. Here's where I actually will push back, and I think it could affect winning. When you're an NFL head coach, you're a head coach of any major team, you need to have the respect of everybody in that room, and you need to be able to command that respect. There are going to be guys in that room who are looking at him going, you're making my job harder based on your actions. I got to answer for you all the time. Now I got to go on the road and listen to 80,000 people chant what I'm sure are going to be just lovely things.
Oh, yeah.
All game long. Like, I got to deal with this because of your actions, and now you're telling me what to do. You're getting on me when you can't take care of your business? I don't think so, man. That's going to be a thing.
No, I think you're right. That's more than fair. I guess my only pushback to that, I think that's very plausible. Certainly the fan base is on the road. I guess I would just say once the season starts, I think this gets a hell of a lot easier for Mike Vrabel, though. Like if he can get to the season, I actually think it gets easier because we're at the point now, Matt, where unless there's some other true new information, another photo of Mike Vrabel and Rossini at a bar doesn't do a damn thing. We know they've been hanging out. Like I mean, that doesn't matter anymore.
I agree. But when you're playing 9 games on the road, and I got to tell you, the NFL did them no favors. They put 4 of those games in prime on the road.
Right, yeah.
You know what Arrowhead's going to be like with 80,000 people just saying what's on their mind during that game?
I feel like the Camaro had 90s days, man. It might be a rowdy crowd.
Oh, my God. I got to be – the NFL's got some guts to put them in the opener. What does Tirico do? How do you talk about that? Like, you have to, even if you address it for 30 seconds.
See, Matt,
you have to.
I think you have to, but we've seen with the coverage of this, if you're affiliated with the league, everybody's kind of backed off. That's why we've seen, the New York Post and TMZ and some of these other they don't have the connection to the NFL. But ESPN, Pat McAfee hasn't said a damn thing. Of all people, that's been hilarious to me. The guy that loves to butt into every issue somehow doesn't want to talk about this one.
Well, I think you're right. I mean, you are right. But I would also say, though, to be very blunt, when you have an entire stadium chanting Diana at a coach, and you can hear it clear as day through the screen, at some point, somebody's going to have to do something. It is what it is. Like, you can't tell them to stop doing it. They're not going to stop. I mean, every fan base in the country that plays against them is going to lean into this year. And I really look, I normally think distractions are kind of overrated. Like, these guys are professional athletes. They're going in, they're playing ball. They don't care. But, in this case, that is such a circus. I think, look, I thought they would regress anyway this year, but that is going to be something that is not going away. It's not. I don't think that's going to go away anytime soon.
No, that part I totally agree with. Matt Verderam, always good to have you on, Matt. Hopefully you get a little bit of time off, and then, I don't know, maybe we'll see you in St. Joe at camp.
Yeah, hope to see you guys. Take care.
There you go. Matt Verderam with us here on 96.5 The Fan. Always good insight to get his perspective on the Chiefs and the league as a whole. Yeah, I don't disagree with him that fans are going to say, I mean, can you imagine? It is true. Like, if the whole stadium's chanting, die.
At Arrowhead in December?
Ridiculous. But
if you get enough people chanting it, I'm not to say the rest won't.
But at the same time, I do think get to football season and this gets a hell of a lot easier for Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, because
even with the fan base stuff.
We're winning or we're losing.
Yeah, if they're losing, then it's a big problem. But if they're winning, people aren't going to, it's not going to be an issue in the locker room, right? It's an issue in the locker room if they're dealing with that crap and the team stinks.
But if they're 3-3 and this stuff is still looming, the problem is, Gold, I agree with you that it gets easier if things are status quo.
They open up with Seattle, Pittsburgh, Jacksonville.
I mean, those are losable games.
Then Bills.
Certainly winnable. Of the first 4, they can lose all 4 of those games, but they're going to be favored against the Steelers, probably favored against the Jags, even though it's on the road. But they'll be underdogs in at least 2 of those games before they get to the easier part of their schedule. So I don't think it's...
I think Matt's right to an extent, though, about the players and stuff like that. Like, you have the audacity to try to tell me what to do and you can't handle yourself, and you're supposed to be the leader that we all listen to before a game or before practice or before any of that stuff. Like, sometimes you tell me you need to be on your P's and Q's. I don't know if I'm taking that from you. I think, and again, we talk about that in some ways from, college to pros, and you're making more money and all this other stuff. You don't tell me what to do, but we're like, from that leadership standpoint, I totally understand if that becomes a thing. I totally get it.
All right, up next, let's talk more about the Chiefs and what we're willing to lock in now. We've gone through and we've all acknowledged the bye week and the stretches, but what's a number that you would lock in right now? We'll ask you guys, plus the random question of the day next.
This is Cody and Gold on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Well, right now is a great time to be driving an electric vehicle like I am over at Shawnee Mission Ford, the 2026 Ford Mustang Mach-E. It's no secret. We all know the gas prices are very high right now. It's over $4 a gallon in most places in Kansas City, even higher than that other areas around the country. And driving an electric vehicle is saving me a lot of money right now. In fact, I just got it charged up last night. You can either charge it at your house, your apartment with a home kit. There's other areas around town you can go to. There's some parks that even offer you to charge your car for free. It makes it very easy to make sure you're fully charged. And the range on this Ford Mustang Mach-E, if I get it all the way up to 100%, 290 miles. So unless I'm going on a long road trip, that is more than enough to not have to deal with charging all that often. And right now at Shawnee Mission Ford, you can take advantage of employee pricing. You're going to pay what they pay. That's going to be on 2025 Mustang, Mach-E, Bronco Sport, Mavericks, F-150s, and Expeditions, not to mention a 2026 Escape, Explorer, or Super Duty XL, XTL trucks as well. It's going on at Shawnee Mission Ford, and you're still going to get all those rebates and the incentives that are offered from Ford, along with the top trade-in value over at Shawnee Mission Ford. American value for American values. Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more in 26.
That wreck really took everything off track. Can't work, can't help with the kids. The bills are stacking up.
Then stop waiting. Call the Car Crash Kings, SWL Injury Law. Car crashes, that's what they do.
Yeah?
Yeah, they go to work so you can get your life back and get paid what you're owed.
Don't get pushed around. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjurylaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
Too many tools, too much stress, and way too many bills.
Odoo replaces it all. One connected platform for every part of your business, so you can work faster, smarter, and for less. Odoo, the only software you'll ever need. Try it free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit Tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
Royals coverage is brought to you by Peter's Clothiers. Need a new suit? This week only, Peter's Clothiers is taking half off all Jack Henry suits. Choose from a selection of colors, styles, and sizes at Peter's Clothiers. But hurry, this sale ends soon. Half off Jack Henry suits only at Peter's Clothiers, 124th and State Line Road.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Rob Brennan. We hope you're enjoying Beyond the Pitch KC, a podcast on how Kansas City landed the world's biggest sporting event. It's presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. New episodes released every Wednesday on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Back here on Cody and Gold.
They're going to play that when the Patriots come out of the tunnel?
Man, you have to.
Like maybe 10 people on the text line said, play Dirty Diana by Michael Jackson.
I mean, that entire week the Chiefs are playing the Patriots. We're just bumping back with Dirty Diana the entire week.
At least for any Patriots guest, right?
I think we have to. And in week 1 in Seattle, they should be during warm-ups blasting Dirty Diana from MJ. Absolutely.
Oh.
During warm-ups, do it. The whole warm-up period. Over and over. Make
Honestly,
it very clear. Get in their head.
I will say this. Pretty much every team I know does anything they can to get small edges. Right? Like people were talking about that the road bench will be in the shade in Buffalo. The Miami bench, remember, for the opposing team is in the sun. They do and will do any small thing to get any small advantage from a home field perspective. And you get an entire crowd chanting Diana as Vrabel is on the sideline. Man, that is ice cold.
Someone says, why would Patriots players care about hearing the song? Mike Vrabel's on the field, too, during warm-ups.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them have their headphones in. It's not even for the players. It's for Mike Vrabel to hear. The players already have the headphones in. They're already locked in. The players aren't.
It's Mike Vrabel is on the field.
It's more for Mike Vrabel to hear it.
Yeah,
that's probably accurate.
Although, I could see him just putting in the Beats headphones too. Like, you ain't talking to me.
I'm
going to go talk to Andy.
He might want to.
I'm going to have the...
Yeah, he's on there trying to have a conversation with Andy Reid in the background. It's just Dirty Diana's playing.
The truth is that this story is big enough and enough leaks happen with it. This will follow him forever.
Sure.
It's never going away. It's not like one of those stories that like, oh yeah, kind of. No,
scandals
it is
like
attached
this
to him for the rest of time.
Yeah, scandals like this. I mean, that's why we just had Matt on and you mentioned Robert Kraft. The whole masseuse thing or whatever is with him forever.
Yep.
Right?
Sure is.
You know, that's the, what was it, Orchid Day Spa or something?
I don't remember
or something?
the name of the spa.
I think it was actually.
Just flew down there for the day.
That's right. Just a little private jet down to get a massage.
Alex and I were when we were in Pittsburgh. There was. I swear, I'm not kidding. We were in Pittsburgh, Drew. The walk from like the bars and restaurants and the breakfast places. There were probably, and this, I wish this was like an exaggeration.
No,
5 or 6, like foot massage parlors specifically.
Wow,
they just
said Asian massage parlor.
Fine, but so like there are probably 5 or 6 on this stretch of road on either side of the road, and we'd be getting back at like 2 a.m. and they'd be open, and I was like,
who's walking in there at 2 a.m. wanting, I got some lower back pain at 2 a.m. I can't wait till the next morning.
And we had walked like 10 miles one day, and I was like, even if you walked in there, you are just, the amount of speculation you are inviting about yourself by even thinking at 3 a.m. Because like some of them were like at 24 hours, or they were open at 6 a.m., or they were open at 2 a.m., or anything else in between. But man, it was that. But you're right. That's the craft story's never leaving him. The Diana Rossini stuff's never leaving him. Like, those things are just going to stick around. I am curious. Now, it won't be a stadium thing forever. Fans won't mock you forever for it, but there'll be signs. There'll be crowd shots. There'll be chants. There'll be stuff, you know? And, you know, you don't feel bad for him because he did, you know, it's self-inflicted for the two of them. It's not like I'm like, oh, no, what happened? Oh, it's too bad. No, you embarrassed yourself. So I'm not surprised people didn't embarrass you.
Like, we're going to move on, but this text that says, you guys are cold. It's not a big story. I don't know what to tell you. I mean,
it's a huge story.
You could not be more wrong on that. Now, you maybe don't care.
Someone says, let's talk hockey or whatever. I do enjoy the NHL playoffs. If you guys were more interested in talking NHL
or NBA playoffs, I'd love to talk more about the Cavs-Pistons game tonight. This is going to be a great game. It's a huge series.
If I thought enough of you, we really do the show for what we think is the vast majority of people for the most part, or things that we are heavily engaged in.
Yeah.
My dad sends me stuff like he's huge into hockey. And I think he secretly wishes that we would talk more hockey. I can't. Sorry, Pops. Bad news.
Yeah.
There's just not enough of an audience
trying
for
to
it, at least at the moment.
appeal to the masses in this market. And unfortunately, the NBA is not as popular in this market as
and
it
the Royals
is in
are
others.
bumming me out right now.
We will talk some more Royals baseball in the 1 o'clock hour, getting into their series. By the way, random question of the day, 8 minutes away. I do want to talk more about the schedule, though, because I said before the break, there's got to be a number you would lock in, no matter how optimistic or pessimistic you are about the 2026 Chiefs. Now that we have the schedule, what is that number, though, that you're willing to actually lock in? I can tell you the Vegas win total is over under 10.5, so that gives you an idea. So let's say, what's the number where you would not play out the season? You would say, all right, I will go ahead and lock that in. Because for me, if it's anything above 10, it's an automatic lock-in. So if you said 11, 12, obviously 12, 13, et cetera.
But not 10 itself.
Not 10, because I think I've told you, I think they're more of a wild card team this year. 10 doesn't guarantee it, but I think it puts them in a really good spot for a wild card. 11 guarantees a playoff spot for Kansas City. Probably not the division. But I would lock in 11, absolutely. Because if you tell me they're 11-6, Cody, that's at least a wild card team. It's at least having a playoff game with Patrick Mahomes.
Look,
2 years ago, you would never lock in 11. You'd say, no, absolutely not. I'm going for the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Not this year. Yeah. I think you lock in 11 in a heartbeat.
I'll never, in the entire Patrick Mahomes era, lock in 10. Ever. Because if that, they might as well just be a bad team. If I'm just settling for 10 wins. Hell no. I'll never do it. Not with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Certainly not with Patrick Mahomes, probably. It's just not going to be a number that I would blindly accept because even though I think that would get them in the playoffs, and if I get Patrick Mahomes in a playoff game, anything can happen. They can win any number of them, even if they got to go on the road the whole stretch like they did during one of the Super Bowl runs where they didn't go the whole stretch, but every game after game one, they were on the road and it didn't stop them from getting to the promised land. And so I would never lock in 10, so I wouldn't even entertain it. I struggle with 11 only because that's settling in a lot of ways. It really is. But I think that is the number I would take. Like if you just said, I'll guarantee you 11, you can take it. The reason why is 11 gives me a 50-50 chance, I think, at the division. Because I am with Matt, where I think maybe the Chargers could fall back or the Broncos could fall back. 11 or 12 is probably the number that wins the AFC West this year. And if I lock in 11, I'm at least in play. I give myself a chance. I'm guaranteeing myself a wild card berth, so I'm in the playoffs. And I give myself, I'd say, a 50-50 chance
I think the
of
range,
being the division winner. And I think the range is probably between 10 and 13 games.
See, I was
13 being like it went great.
Yeah, see, the reason why I lock at 11 in a heartbeat is because I think the range is more like 9 to 12.
Okay.
You know, I think that's the range for them this year.
I think it's like 10 to 13, but 13 being the like everything went right. The pass rushers we drafted went great. They stay healthy the entire, like things go perfect is 13 and 4, but that's the high end.
Look,
I think the real range is really between probably like 10, 11, 12.
Look, I love the optimism on this text. I can't get here. It's just you guys are overreacting to 1 year. I wouldn't lock in any number under 14. I mean, 14? Come on now.
Oh, I'd lock in 13.
I mean,
I'd rubber stamp it so fast, 12, 13. It's not even a thought.
You wouldn't lock in any number under 14. Look, even in the years where the Chiefs were going to 3 straight Super Bowls. Here, I just want to remind you their win totals for a couple of these seasons. So we all know it was 6 and 11 last year, but then prior to that, 15 and 2. Okay. 11 and 6, then 14, then 12, then 14, then 12, then 12. Like they were winning 12 a lot of years. The fact you wouldn't even lock in 13 or 12 is wild, especially after a 6-win season. That's pretty crazy to me.
I guess, and that's what it basically comes down to is that I still can't. I have to settle for less for this year's Chiefs team than any other because they're coming off of the worst record they've had in forever, and so.
And they, by the way, they locking at 11, they won a Super Bowl winning 11 games. So it's not like by locking at 11, it doesn't mean that it's an automatic non-contender.
No, they won the division that year.
Yep.
That's, again, why 11 would hypothetically do it. There's a number of years where 11 would have done it. The division's tougher, but also we have talked a lot about the Chiefs' schedule. I would like you to go ahead and do yourself a favor and look at the Broncos and the Chargers. They do not have it easy. Just because the Chiefs had it hard does not mean that the Broncos or the Chargers have it easy. Their schedules based on Vegas win totals are actually more difficult
Here's the Broncos.
than Kansas City's this season. The Chargers being one of the hardest.
The Broncos open up, obviously, at Kansas City. So at Kansas City, home to Jacksonville, home to the Rams, at San Fran, at Chargers, home to Seattle, then the Cardinals, then the Chiefs again. So is backloaded as 12 through 17. I'm sorry, 12 through 17 is for Kansas City. Look how front-loaded 1 through 6 is for the Broncos.
So admittedly, and I'll give you the Chargers now. I mean, Chargers start with Cardinals Raiders. It might be 2-0. Gold. I mean, don't slip up. Don't have a Chargers start because then you go to Buffalo, to Seattle, versus Denver, to Kansas City, to the Rams, versus the Texans, to Baltimore, Jets, Patriots, at Tampa Bay, at Vegas, and then San Francisco. So, like, it lightens up, but then they got 2 division games. The Chargers' schedule sucks. It's worse than the Chiefs. Across the board, it's worse. It has an almost equally bad stretch as the bad one, but not as bad, but close.
I know people don't like this, but I actually think this text is probably where I'm at as well. This from the 816 said, I don't care about the record as long as you get an invite to compete in the playoffs where everybody's 0-0. Because you get in the dance and then see what happens. And that's ultimately, I think, where this season is at for me with the Chiefs. Get in the dance and then let's see how they're playing heading into the playoffs and can they shock the world a little bit. That's kind of, and I know that's not the role we're used to. And we want to be talking about number 1 seeds and everything like that. But that, to me, is where this team is more likely to be, which is they get in the dance and then they're a dangerous team and they're playing good football heading in and you hope you can get on a run versus being the team everybody's shooting for.
Yeah. It's just like, and again, they didn't get to avoid any of the, hey, do you think because of 6 wins, maybe they'll cool it on the Chiefs? No. 6 primetime games, Thanksgiving Day game, all the big-time power player games like Seattle's Sunday Night Football.
They're like 5th favorites from winning the whole thing, and they're not far off of 2, like Matt said. So
it is crazy.
They're not even that much of an underdog.
Odds makers love them. No, they'll be favored in 11 or 12 games. They're favored in all but 2.
They're favored in 11 right
of
now.
their first 11-week schedule before they face the Buffalo Bills on the road. They're favored in all but 2 of those games. So, like, the only 2 they're not favored on is at Denver and at Seattle. And the truth is, if Denver starts a little slow and the Chiefs start a little hot, they'll be favored in that one, too.
Yeah, I mean, the
They'll
Super
be
Bowl
favored by
odds,
a point or 2.
I don't know if I would say they're close to having the second best odds. I mean, the Rams are 7-1, then Seattle's 10-1, along with Baltimore and Buffalo. Then there's a group at 16-1, Chargers, Chiefs, Niners. Then the Patriots are 17-1, Eagles 18-1, Lions 19-1. So they're
more stuck with the group after them than they are with the other one, sure.
But they're there. I mean, you look at the other AFC teams. I mean, Houston's 20-1, Cincy's 25-1, Jacksonville 25-1, and I said the Broncos 20-1. So that's where they're at. This is the worst odds, I guess, the Chiefs have had entering a season for the Super Bowl in a very long time, probably since 2020.
They've been the favorites.
2019, I guess.
AFC still?
They would have the same odds as the Chargers, so the Chiefs would be tied for the third best.
Without looking, I would guess that the Chiefs had the first or second best odds to win the Super Bowl every year for the last 6 years. Maybe second some random year. Remember, we always joke. There was that one random year where the Bills were the favorite, but the Chiefs were second.
I think they were clearly, after the Eagles kicked their ass, they were not the favorites the next year.
No, but they were like second.
Last year.
Yeah. So, no, but
I don't think it was.
I said first or second. That's
yeah,
what
I think they were. I think they were third or something last
the Bills
year.
Were favored ahead of them.
I think the Chiefs had like worse odds than the Bills and Ravens last year entering. Turned out to be off just too high on that one too.
But wrong. Yeah.
I mean, the Ravens should not have been that.
What the hell happened to the Ravens last year? They have the number 1 win
awful
total this year.
Start.
They have does anybody else think it's a little bit crazy that the Ravens, although they have a lot of talent, they have a brand new head coach, and the previous head coach is an NFL Hall of Famer, and they have the highest win total in the entire NFL. I'm not saying they don't have a good roster. They clearly do. Like, not even the argument I'm making. They still got questions at wide receiver, though. And a brand new head coach. And Lamar has been playing slightly worse. Like, it does seem, if there's a number I'm taking the under on, it's them, just because how the hell are you telling me they got the highest win total in football?
I think it's more, do you think, was Lamar Jackson playing poorly because he wasn't healthy, or that we're seeing the slide? I think he wasn't healthy.
And the defense is, you would assume, going to be better than they've been the last 3 years. So I think that also is part. That's why last week I said if I'm picking a team in the AFC to go, it's the Ravens.
Yeah,
right now.
There's part of me that thinks that's going to be a total I bet the under on. Like, there's no reason why they should have the highest win total versus some of the other. Rams.
Don't they? Depending on where is it the same or no?
The division is the only thing that hurts them there.
There you go. Okay.
That'd be the only reason. Other than that, I'd say the Rams deserve to have the highest win total.
Yeah.
They got a tough.
I mean,
group of divisional games.
I mean, the Rams are Super Bowl favorites.
Tracks
7-1.
It's just division is the only reason why, because they're going to place the.
I mean, divisional odds. We can have this conversation throughout the summer. I'm sure we will. But you look at the AFC North. I mean, the Ravens are -125. Cincy's got the second best odds at 2-1. Then Pittsburgh 6-1. And then you look at the Chiefs at FanDuel. They're the favorites to win the West right now. And this has moved back and forth. It's very close. Chiefs are +170 to win the West. The Chargers are +185. The Broncos have the third best odds, but they're +210. I mean, that's pretty close in the AFC West.
Tight, certainly. But the AFC West is expected to be a tough division, so that wouldn't surprise me, at least on this end.
Random question.
I got Dirty Diana stuck in my head now. Thank you, Drew.
For you, Gold. For you, Drew. Text line 913-586-7965. Of course, we're over on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. Live stream the show every single day, now in 4K. Alex and I are figuring out all the fancy camera movements that exist. So we're trying to figure that out as well.
Problems here recently, so I think we're all right.
No, we're. I think we figured out that maybe we'll just keep my hands down. Away from the camera. That way, I can at least be safe on that end. The random question today, and I know people sometimes don't like this, but I need help.
Oh gosh.
Not personal help. It's help for money for the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum.
Okay.
So hear me out at least on that end. I need help. I have 2 random questions today. As you know, the Cody Gold Garage Sale is back. It'll be Wednesday, June 10th. 100% of the proceeds go to the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. I started to explore something I mentioned on the air yesterday, which was making a custom vinyl record, a one-of-one, of the songs I have done on this show, so that, one lucky listener could own a one-of-one album that only they have, and, we'll raise some money for the museum. Now, the album's only has 40 minutes, based on the couple of places I've been, worth of playtime on it. So the random question I have today...
I needed a full hour of Cody singing. I only get 40 minutes.
So the random question I have for you today is 2. 1, I have forgotten a lot of songs I've done on this show. So the first thing I have is, I'm going to list off some of the songs, and I need to tell you what I'm missing. Like, I need to know what I'm missing. But the second, also important random question I have is, what do you think the album artwork should be? I can put a picture on the front album, the back, and the record sticker on the album itself. So I need to know what you guys think the album cover should be and if I'm missing these songs. I have a list that includes Michael, Pasquantino, Mommy and Daddy Day, The Suckiest, the Run It Back rap from when they tried to go back-to-back against the Bucks. Creed is Good, Pasquantino, MJ Melendez, Nelly, Bobby Wood Jr., Happy Birthday, Patrick, 877 Runs Now, Justin Bieber, We're the Fan Now, which I forgot, and then I remember today that there's the 2 Travis and Taylor Swift songs, and JAC, which I also forgot.
Drew, do you have another question? Do you have another random question that we can do? Do you have another question?
What am I missing?
Do we have any other questions we
what
can
should
do?
be
I don't have
included?
another I have a question for Cody just about his random question. How long did you say this was?
How many total minutes do I get on the album?
No, yeah.
40 minutes.
Okay, so you're telling me that this album is as long as Kendrick's most recent album, longer than one of Drake's 3 albums he just released last night, as long as the second one that he released last night.
Allow me up to 40 minutes on the album. I don't know. I wouldn't put 40 minutes on there. I thought I might include special messages for the person who wins it. I thought I might include random jingles I've done in this show. I even went through the trouble today.
So this is like a deluxe then?
Yeah.
A deluxe
I even
release
went
then.
through the trouble today. This is a part of a segment that took place on this show on August 13th of 2021. I went back to find a part of the show, Drew, that you didn't even know existed, in which 50 Cent was coming to town. He was going to sign liquor bottles at a Hy-Vee. He was. And I wanted people to give my sample to him. And as a part of that, somehow I ended up making up parody songs to different parts of them, including Candy Shop. Cole's just dying the whole time.
I'll let you eat the muffin.
Oh, that's the other thing. Here we go.
What?
I'll take you to the pastry shop. I'll let you eat the muffin top. Go ahead, baby, don't you stop. Whipped cream with the cherry on top. Whoa! So that could be on the album. So the question is, what am I missing? And what do you want the album artwork to look like? If you were the person who's going to bid on this, what do you think the album cover should look like? And what do you think should be on the record?
I think it should be a photo of you searching for your glasses inside of poison ivy.
How the hell can I do that?
Yeah.
I don't want to Photoshop.
No,
I think be a real photo.
I think
too much to go get a photo shoot. I'm not doing that.
Is the headshot of you with the swollen lip from the wasp sting? I think that is the one you should use as the album cover.
Somebody said the cover has to be Cody with the Creed wig on. I mean, I've got plenty of photos from the day we did the Creed is Good.
Yeah.
That'll obviously be on there. The text line still claiming the Happy Birthday Patrick isn't even my song, that I stole it from Nick, despite the fact
Nick
that
did
mine
come up
was
with
first.
that.
That's not true.
Yep. No Chance was another one people forgot about.
Oh, yeah. I found that one this morning, too. I started looking through because it was no chance. Okay. There was some that I forgot about.
Did you save these? Like, do we have them?
Yeah, we can maybe do them next week. So in looking up the ones that I realized I'd missed, Gold, I had forgotten that we did an entire playoff run. No Chance was a part of a 4-song run in which I did No Chance. I did one for the Bengals playoff game. I did one for the Bills playoff game. And then I did one for the attempt to repeat as Super Bowl champions. I did 4 of them. And I did a music video for the last one. So and I had forgotten that those songs existed other than No Chance. So someone said you're missing a clue that the song sucked. Look, I'm trying to raise money for charity. Someone's going to buy this album. No Chance has been mentioned multiple times. Make sure that it's on the album.
This is from January 27, 2021. So this has to be the Browns or the Bills?
I don't know. Which one's this?
One more game and
this is a song between them. Oh no, maybe it's the Bills one.
One more game and it's the Super Bowl.
Kenzie's just got to do exactly what they did the Bills the first time. The attack they put on Buffalo in 29 states considered a crime.
Do you know how much better you've gotten since then? You know how much you know what? I
forget about that one.
I think the text line should give you some respect.
I don't remember any of these.
I think the text line should give you some respect because from that time, from 5 years ago to now, I would say your songs have gotten better than that one, at least in particular. I think you should deserve some credit that you've grown the more that you've created the songs.
Yeah, there's some good suggestions. Definitely you just holding a gum bucket.
That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
And I could put random drops on the album if I have enough time in between. People You know, like the old Blink-182 albums where they have them talking in between tracks or whatever.
Like a skit.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, it could.
One more game.
Oh my God, I layered it still. I don't remember this one.
Yeah, this is.
There's so many ones I don't remember, man. I didn't
Have
realize.
you listened to all 3 Drake albums already, Drew? Did you stay up all night listening?
I listened to Iceman.
I listened to 3 of the songs driving in
I
today.
thought it was really good. The other 2.
Why do you do 3 albums at once?
I think I think Carrington is correct in this. Actually, he's getting out of his. I think he's getting out of his.
Oh,
deal
he's done with his label.
and did it in a way that is, instead of like Chris Brown, or he'll drop 50 songs on one album. I'm going to separate it into 3 albums so I meet my album requirement with the label. So I'm out, and he gets independent, which is a trend that a lot of artists are doing right now. They're getting out of those labels.
People are saying Cody's also cheating the system, not allowed to play his songs.
In fairness, I'm not allowed to make a song. We didn't say I wasn't allowed to play any.
Is this something that you're planning on releasing to the streaming services as well, or
No,
is
this is a one-off
For
album.
the garage sale.
They'll have special messaging in it. It'll only be for the one person who purchases it. It is a
your most loyal fan.
If you
to your
collect
songs.
if you collect vinyl, this will be. I'm not even kidding. It's going to cost me personally like $100 to buy the thing. It's not cheap to have a vinyl record made. I'm viewing it as a $100 donation to the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, and that I'm hoping it goes for at least $100 on that end. People are making all kinds of suggestions. Some famous album record covers being mentioned over on the other side on Twitch and YouTube and stuff, because you could just mimic one.
Someone says,
but I think it'd be something show related.
Someone says it should be a plumber's crack because it stinks, Cody.
Oh wow,
they don't like your songs.
Look, some people don't. One win, yeah, one more win. That one
That's
I forgot.
the Boyz II Men
I forgot
ripoff.
about that one last night too. Somebody suggested it, and I'd forgotten about it. That is the Boyz II Men ripoff one. Yeah, I wasn't trying to.
Really did
Someone said they're going to win
the-
it in an auction and then go just black market them.
Black market it to who?
Yeah, they're gonna make copies of the vinyl.
Oh, that's messed up. That's messed up. It's supposed to be a one-off.
And
It's
them out,
supposed to just
and
be
them out in
one
the parking
album.
lot.
You're gonna be on you're gonna be on Times Square. Out, hey man, you want to listen to my song?
Oh God.
I'm not going to spend $100 buying myself one. So
on CDs.
what am I going to?
I think you're
going to
bid on it. I think you're going to bid on
I'm
it.
not going to bid on it unless it's going to drive the price up. Someone says I'll give you $1. Should I do? Here's
Is that where the bid
here's
starts?
the other part of the
$9.65.
Here's the other
man.
question: should this album have one song that I create only for the album?
Yeah.
That is only for that person.
That's what other artists do.
That
They
only gives
create,
me like a couple.
All you've done to this point is release singles. You need to have one song that nobody's heard before that's only on the album. I think you should do that.
Man,
yes.
it's only on the album. What's it about?
Because you've done singles right now that everybody's heard, so you should have at least one
secret song,
maybe even 2 or
What's
3
it
that are
about?
normal.
But what would it be about? I guess that's the problem. I'm having here.
Legitimately, I don't know anything. You just make a. I don't know.
Make a song about Drew. Surprise.
Sure.
A surprise.
Even though I'll
Drew
never
song.
hear it because it's on the album.
No, not unless somebody invites you over to listen to their LP. They don't they invite you over to listen to the record, then you won't get the special album. You won't get it. Somebody said
you said you had 2 random questions. We've only talked about the one so far.
no. It was the 2 parts. I wanted the
okay.
I wanted the album artwork help. I thought the text line might be very helpful for that, or helping me remember the songs that I just don't remember.
Title of the
I'm
album.
not sure.
Life of a show boy.
Get out of here. Can we please? Hold on. What would be the title of it, actually? Because we've talked about the cover. Is it
I don't know. I guess it'd just be like a greatest hits, wouldn't it?
Cody Tapp's greatest hits? Come on. You gotta have a.
Taps. I don't know.
Yeah. Somebody says, please include Daddy Day. It'll be on there. I think every song I've done will fit under 40 minutes. I will admit it might be tight. And in which case, if it's
Oh
tight.
darn! You're gonna have to cut so many hits. I just can't. I can't figure out which one to cut.
Look, I'll say there's a couple. Here's one that I discovered today that somebody reminded me of when I had brought it up on social media that I'd forgotten about. Gold, you were gone for both the final day of our previous 2 producers. Weird timing. No idea why.
Well, because they all left in the summer.
Yeah, no idea why. But for whatever reason, you were gone for 2 of the last 2 producers leaving. The timing just worked out the way that it
I
did.
was here for Serta's last day.
No, you were gone. I swear.
Well, I said something nice about him
You
on
did.
air.
You recorded a message. You came on the air.
Yeah.
You did a phone call.
Yeah,
and
I was
you
out
had
of
said
town or
something to him.
something. Yeah.
But you were out of town. I had forgotten. I did an entire song for Nick that was him leaving, and I didn't even remember doing it. And then I found it later. It was like the goodbye. I can't find it now. I'll play some of these next week maybe, and you guys can be the judge of where we cut these things.
Someone said taps on Squibb instead of taps on Main. Just call it taps on Squibb. Our station's on Squibb Road, by the way. So.
For those who don't know.
And you technically recorded all of them here.
That's right.
So, yeah, it actually
taps
works.
Taps on Squibb.
No, you have to have a song where, I don't know, you're not going to be here. Depending on what time you make the song.
I only have a couple days to make this custom song. I got to order the album so that it's
you need to do a song like Drake where it's like 8 a.m. in Charlotte, but instead it's like 7:30 in Odyssey, or I don't know, something where it's like it gives you a time and place. This is when I did it. This is where I was.
Someone says do a vasectomy collab with the guy from the other station, Matt Gapsky.
A vasectomy collab?
I could have him do a really highly produced one. He's a very good producer of them.
Wait,
maybe he can help me with that.
We played you his song, right?
I heard it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. That's my random question today.
I would. This is never mind. I was going to say it was going to be a diss to Cody, but
that's why you should say it. Yeah, that's why you should say it.
Go ahead and find
I don't know if you should have a feature with Matt because Matt might just take the song over and make it his, like we've seen before.
Tough. Yeah, it is.
At least don't do the song that. At least don't do. What song did he remix? Ignition. Yeah. You need to pick another one.
All right.
For maybe more than one reason, I guess.
Up next, it's a Fan Club Friday, thanks to our friends over at Jay Rieger & Co. We've got Sarah from Rieger going to join us. We're going to talk some sports. We're going to find out an update maybe on her dating life after what she said the last time she was in studio. And they're doing something really cool around the World Cup, and I believe they're bringing it in studio. So we'll talk about that next.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Cole Reagans, and you're listening to Cody and Gold. Weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
It's Rivalry Weekend in baseball, and FanDuel's introducing Rivalry Weekend Bonus Blast. Bet on a home run this Friday and get bonus bets for every home run that players' teams hit this weekend. So whether you're backing a player on the Royals, fading a rival, there's more ways to get in on the action with Rivalry Weekend Bonus Blast. Head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. Maybe you think Jack Caglione can hit a home run. Maybe you think the Royals will be giving up some home runs this weekend. You name it, go to FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel, your home for home runs. FanDuel Sportsbook's the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and President, Missouri. Opt-in required. Must apply bonus blast token. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
Hey, it's Rex here with Rex Buys KC. I get it. Selling your house can sometimes feel overwhelming or scary, right? I've seen it too many times. A homeowner thought they had a deal, only to have the buyer back out at the last minute. That's not how we do business at Rex Buys KC. I'm local, I know Kansas City, and I make sure every deal actually closes like it's supposed to. No hidden fees, no showings, no last-minute surprises, just a fair cash offer and a process you can count on. We buy homes in any condition and judgment-free. So whether your house needs repairs or you just want a fast, hassle-free sale, we can make it happen. If you want certainty, transparency, and someone local who actually delivers, call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time. 816-330-6000 or rexbuyskc.com.
Hey, it's Rob Britton from The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, and we're excited to announce the launch of Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series documenting the run-up to the World Cup with our friends over at 98.1 KMBZ.
And Rob, I'm Scott Parks from Dana and Parks on KMBZ. Beyond the Pitch KC will feature the biggest names who made the World Cup in Kansas City possible, plus the biggest storylines heading into this summer's tournament. This is not a podcast about soccer. Don't get us wrong. This is a podcast about Kansas City. This is a podcast for Kansas City. And this is a podcast that'll tell the story of how our town is hosting the world's biggest sporting event.
New episodes will be released every Wednesday starting on March 4th, as well as video clips that can be seen on 96.5 The Fan and KMBZ's social channels.
Subscribe and download to Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series with myself and Rob Bretton on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Yo, it's Jay Uso from WWE, and I'm Jimmy Uso. Chumba Casino and WWE are hyped for the biggest event of the summer, SummerSlam. I know, I can't wait. There's nothing better to do while we're waiting than playing Chumba Casino. Sign up today, and you could win a VIP experience with Chumba Casino and WWE for SummerSlam. So what are you waiting for? Play Chumba Casino and enter for your chance to win. Let's Chumba. Yeah.
Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
The 5th annual Cody and Gold Garage Sale is back Wednesday, June 10th, with all auction items benefiting the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station. Welcome into the Fan Club.
Step 1. We buy into this club. Step 2, we roll over to the club, either in your Mercedes-Benz or my pre-owned Acura Legend.
It's not as much as a club as it is a couple middle-aged dudes in sweatshirts talking about sports.
Bounce, 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 bounce. Now all the ladies saying bounce, 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 bounce.
But you get the gist. Here's Cody Tapp and Alex Gold.
It is the Fan Club Friday here on Cody and Gold, brought to you by Jay Rieger & Co. We've been telling you throughout the day we're excited to welcome in someone that has been on a fan club before. I think it's been, 6 months?
Yeah, give or take.
Ish.
When was it then she was in with Miss Dugan, who
That's
joined us
right.
during that time?
New Year's.
Okay.
New Year's.
Feels
okay.
a lot longer than that. My goodness.
She's coming back in a couple of weeks.
I liked her. She was
a
a
fun.
delight.
Yeah, she's a lot of fun.
Delightful human.
So we've got Sarah James from Rieger hanging out with us. That's who you just heard. A lot to get into. Let's just start with what you've been up to here recently, because you brought us a lot of good stuff. Number one, I want to talk about the World Cup in a second, but also what did you have Cody pour for us here today? What do we got?
Yeah, I brought you some presents. That is, so we do bottled cocktails. Makes it easy. And I brought you the horse feather.
Which feels right this time of year.
Right. It's, we still want to drink some whiskey, but we want it to be crisp. We want it to be light. So this is our Kansas City whiskey, ginger beer, a little bit of bitters. I mean, what more could you ask for?
No, and I like, sometimes it's like on a Friday, it's like, I want the drink at home, but I don't want to make it. And you're like, well, I don't want to just grab, like,
you're gonna
I want
have
the
to,
cocktail, but I don't want to, get all the stuff out.
And then you have to, there's dishes involved, there's things.
Yeah.
This is just easy. You pour it over. So we have an old fashioned in a bottle, which is great.
We did that a couple of weeks ago. Maybe when Ryan Maybe was in, we did something like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yes, you did. And then we've got gin and tonic in a bottle with our yuzu tonic.
Okay.
Kansas City ice water in a bottle, which is
I love ice water at Rieger. When I go, that's what I get
It's
a
a
lot of
boat
times.
drink.
It's perfect
It's a
for
bit dangerous because of that.
That
because
is
it's
what
a
I
boat
mean
drink.
by
Yeah,
a boat
it's
drink.
perfect.
It's like,
Yes.
if I had 5 of those and then you stand up, you're like, oh,
I did.
I've made a
Now,
mistake.
where can the bottled cocktails? Obviously, they can go and just get Rieger whiskey at any liquor store in town. But what about the bottle? Do they have to go to Rieger for that, or can they go to liquor stores to get the bottle?
Only at Rieger.
Okay.
Only at the distillery.
Okay,
So,
so-
stock up for what is it? Is it boat season yet?
Well, Memorial Day weekend is next weekend.
Oh, well,
so
perfect.
That'd be a great time for people to get ready to go
Yeah.
before they go to the lake.
I've lost all sense of time. So this is
I'm right there
glad
with you.
Someone knows what's going on.
So if you're out there, get yourself a bottled cocktail. But also, originally we were going to have the artist with us, I know. But the World Cup's around the corner. Obviously, you guys are hoping for an influx in business. Most people are and expect a lot of people coming to town. So you guys, I know you guys do the Missouri ones, and you guys have done a really good job with like the bottle labeling stuff. You guys had an artist specifically design a World Cup whiskey for you guys?
So we worked with JD Arnett. So she is the local artist that developed the FIFA poster for Kansas City. So each city has their own poster.
Yeah.
So she designed ours. And we reached out to her and said, hey, JD, do you want to design a label specifically for our Kansas City whiskey? So this is very similar to our holiday label where it's the Kansas City whiskey inside. And then we used her poster as inspiration, but created this really special label. So on the right-hand side, it's got the 4 flags of the countries that are using Kansas City as home base. So you've got England, Netherlands, Argentina, Algeria. She put a little Easter egg on there. The guy kicking the soccer ball, she put J. Arnett. That's her name on
okay, I
there,
see
which is
that.
really
Yep,
cool.
yep.
Yeah. The R is a Letterman jacket patch-esque. Then we've got those little, they're supposed to be pins. We've got a fountain, cocktail, shuttlecock. And then on the left side, we've got that KC whiskey to represent the product. And then the soccer ball with kind of that wood motif on there. But I love it. It's stunning. It's such a nice bottle.
I think it looks awesome. It really does. And sometimes, like we like to drink whiskey and stuff at home, but people do like to have things that look nice too.
Yeah.
In a home bar. And if it's like the combination of the two, I also just think I'm all kind of bought into everything World Cup. And Alex and I talked a lot about this because I'm 41. It wouldn't matter if I was my kids' age, right? My kids are 7 and 9. They'll never be alive in Kansas City with a World Cup match ever again. Like, this is it.
This is it.
This is our chance to do it. If it happens, it'll be hundreds of years from now or 100 years from now. Like, it's going to be a long time before we get another chance to get this kind of event. Maybe never again. Maybe we'll get a Super Bowl or something else cool. But the World Cup is one of the single
different.
largest sporting events on the planet. It's a whole different animal.
Well, and I think, too, when it comes to commemorative things, I was actually talking to Andy Rieger about this, is that commemorative bottles, cans, like Coke does, like Coke has it right now where it's a soccer ball and it says like FIFA 2026. That's cool, but you want something to really, that's a little bit more memorable. And everything has been so expensive. I mean, the jersey alone, the commemorative jersey.
I know, they're like $300 or something. They're crazy.
And just, yeah. So we wanted to make sure that this was very special, commemorative, but then it's only $40.
So Raise a Cup edition, that's the official name.
Yep.
And where can people get that?
So this will be, it's on pre-sale right now. So you can go to our website. You can pre-sale it for pickup or for shipping. We offer both. But it'll only be at the distillery or at Union Station when they're doing the City of Entrepreneurs. We'll be selling it there, as well as we are doing 3 special watch parties, and we will be selling it at those watch parties. And those will be at the Cezanne event space, and it's right off Main Street, right on the streetcar line. So we're going to have it there as well.
I guess, like there was all this story stuff about like maybe the hotels and all this stuff that are starting is booked. How do you guys, like, we're just interested because like we were talking about it from like a business end. How do you decide how much to staff up or change stuff or event hold? And because I think everybody in Kansas City is kind of curious about that because there were numbers thrown out. And I think a lot of people know that largely anytime a number is thrown out, it's in the city's best interest or civic leaders' best interest to give the biggest number imaginable. or plausible. But like as a business, you got to handle it a little different based on that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you do. And, the initial number that was said was 650,000 people. That's a lot of people. I think what people forget, though, is that it's not 650,000 people all at once.
It's a month.
It's a month long, and it's going to be
know.
waves of people at different times. So for us, we are going to be relying on what we do best. It's great cocktails, out fast, great patio, Hey Club, Monogram Lounge, tours. So, when you have numbers like that thrown at you, you think, oh, wait, do I have to bring on everybody? It's just kind of elevating your staff levels just a little bit. It's like, okay, what's the best summer you can possibly have? What's the max this building can do? And then just elevating a little bit more. It's not, planning for 1,000 people to come at the distillery all at once, which would be great. But
I don't think your capacity can handle quite that.
No, I think
you guys are a big building, but maybe not quite that much.
The fire marshal might be mad at me.
We've got Sarah from Rieger hanging out with us on a fan club Friday. All right, we'll get back into some of these drinks in just a second. But you, right when you walked in, you made a comment. Then you showed me a bag, I think it was, or something.
What was it?
It's my fanny pack.
The Royals are playing in St. Louis this weekend. Now, look, the Royals are playing bad baseball, and everybody's very down on them right now. But also, no matter how the Royals are, I still want them to kick the Cardinals' ass, Sarah. And you are over here
It's like
rocking Cardinals
They're
gear.
easy ones to root against. Did you grow up in St. Louis? Remind me.
I did, yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
My whole family's
Well, at
back
least
there.
it makes sense that you like the Cardinals,
Well, I call it good life choices, but
Wow,
that's just me.
wow.
Okay.
It's been bad times for the Cardinals lately.
Do not. I mean, I couldn't tell you half my 40-man roster right now. When I go to opening day every year with my dad, and we stood there when they're announcing the players and they're coming on the field. We looked at each other. We're like, "Who's this guy? Who's this guy?"
You guys are playing well, though.
For a team of mostly rookies, yeah, we are. I was really, I'm really happy with how they've been playing. We're in second place. I don't like to say the team's name that's ahead of us, so we're just not going to mention it. But no, they are playing well. And I think, I love the rivalry between the Royals and the Cardinals. It's a lot of fun. I root for the Royals when, the Birds aren't in town.
How long have you been in Kansas City now, then?
8 years, 9
Okay.
years.
So that's easy. Like, I get, the idea of, Gold when you lived in Boise. It's like, you do adopt the team around you a lot. In baseball, though, I feel like that'd be hard. I don't know.
No, I don't
I'll
know
be
if
honest,
I'd say
I could live in
adopt.
St. Louis, and I don't know that I could, I could go to a Cardinals game if I lived in St. Louis.
Yeah.
I don't think I could ever find myself rocking a Cardinals hat
No
or
way.
sitting in the stands and cheering when they scored a run.
Oh.
It would feel dirty to me.
Yeah, I
It's
really
like them
hope
and
my
the
dad is listening right now because I was talking to him on my way in. And because no, I would never wear another sports team other than Cardinals.
Yeah. But you'll go to a Royals game.
Oh, hands down, I do. And they're so much fun. I mean, Kaufman's great. I'm really interested to see what will happen with all of that and the new stadium and all of that. So it's, I think it'll be really great.
Does any of that change? I guess the city changing. Since you've been here 8 years, you've been with Rieger the whole time?
I've been with Rieger for 5.
5. The city's changed a lot in 5 years. We've talked a lot about that.
Oh,
from
it
Adam.
has, yeah.
It's like, but in the next 5, it's going to get even crazier. They're going to send the Chiefs out to the Legends, and then the Royals are going to go downtown, and all the, the bridge projects and the riverfront area, and where you guys, it just feels like the landscape over the next 5 years is going to look a lot different in the city. That's all.
5, 10. I mean, I think in 5 years, it'll still be a lot of construction and the roads will still be closed.
Well, that's forever. I can't get anywhere where I live to the
know.
south of Kansas City. Everything's closed.
I woke up this morning and I live right off the plaza and my street's blocked off in one direction. I was like, okay, great. Would have loved that notice. Can't go that way. But no, I think Kansas City, it's, I've lived a lot of different places, St. Louis, Boston, San Francisco, Milwaukee, but Kansas City, it's very special. And I think the growth is really exciting. I think it really is. We offer something that other cities don't. It's relatively affordable. It's, green space. People are friendly. We've got great bars, great restaurants, good sports teams, and an amazing art and music scene. And I don't think that gets enough credit. I think we lean in really, really heavy into the sports, which is great. But after the World Cup, I would love to see our civic leaders lean in a little bit more to the art and music scene because it's really special.
We have one of the better, people vastly underrate how nice it is to have a museum like the Nelson here.
Mhm.
Sure.
And to be as cheap as it is to go
Well,
to.
and that's expanding too.
Yeah. And so, like, some of that stuff is just different. And that's what you mentioned, like, with the bottle and the artist and the stuff that goes with it. Interesting. She responded so quickly. That was nice. You guys got, like, hey, you did the poster. Want to do a bottle?
Yeah, she's great. And then we're working with her on a couple other projects. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Well, you're helping the local art scene then, at least on that end. We'll forgive you at least for now.
Yeah, text line.
Cardinals, they said before she gets out of here, ask her how she feels about 1985.
Yeah. Oh, I love how that
Series.
keeps
It
being
immediately
brought up.
turned.
Of course.
You know what's weird is like in the era of challenges, never happens now.
Nope.
Now there's a whole other era. I don't like. Who knows what game happened or play happened or call happened before that changes the butterfly effect. But it is weird in a sports world now.
Yeah.
That play that extends the World Series never actually happens. There's a million of them, but that one's just like famous for Kansas City of if replay existed, it never takes place.
I will say in 2015, we, and my family back in St. Louis, we were really excited when the Royals were doing their thing. We were happy. Oh, yeah. My parents met here. Like, my parents went to school here. They met at Rockhurst.
Okay.
The Royals are special to them, too. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
You guys have an interesting fan base part. You're Cardinals fans, but you don't hate the Royals the way I think some people hate the Royals or Cardinals.
There's no reason.
Cardinals fans hate the Cubs, though, more, right?
Yeah, that's the team we don't speak of. That's like Voldemort. We don't say their name.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Royals, no. It's a friendly, we're in a different league. American League, National League. There's no real reason to hate.
I'm trying to think. Is Cardinals fans the number one for you? We've talked about this with football.
Baseball is just so different. St. Louis, it's about the Cardinals, about the city, and some of the elements of the city itself that there's a rivalry as much as it is the baseball team. Baseball is unique. I mean, that's more of a. I think a lot of that's more on the East Coast with the baseball rivalries. Like, and some of it, let's just be real. For a lot of our life, the Royals were not competitive. So, that probably...
We hated the Cardinals because they'd show up here in droves and
take over the stadium.
Yankees fans or Cardinals fans or whatever. For Philip Kaufman when I was a kid.
For someone my age, it was more... I grew up more of it as a Chiefs fan because the Chiefs were at least competitive for much of my childhood. The Royals, up until the random 03 season, and then, of course, what happened in 14 and 15, they were a terrible baseball team.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. That part of it certainly... But I never found myself like she said. But you've also got cross-city ties and Rockhurst and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, it's a little bit different. But, like, when the Cardinals won the World Series in the early 2000s or
that was
the early
a great time.
I was like, I was rooting for them to lose, not win.
Wow.
Like, it was the opposite.
Wow, you kind of like getting as visceral as I get when the team that will not be named.
Well, it's hard because, like, as a Royals fan, I think it was pretty easy to hate a couple of teams. Divisional teams always make sense, right? I hated the White Sox. I hated AJ Puzinski. They were good. We were bad. I still hate the Yankees. But some of that in baseball is it's easy to hate the big guy in baseball.
So who do you think right now, like...
Is the Royals' main rival?
Yeah. In your division, like in the American
in the
League.
division? Tigers. It's got to be at least, or the Guardians. The problem is the Guardians don't even seem like they like their team. How can I hate them? Their own city doesn't like their team enough.
I think it's the name change.
Yeah, that might be part of it.
I don't know.
So, like, it's hard. The White Sox I hated as a kid. They, to me, might be the version of the Raiders. They've been bad forever, but I still take a lot of enjoyment of beating them. They were good my entire youth. They had annoying players I didn't like Scott Podsednik and all these others. And so, like, it's a team I hate no matter how good they are. And of course, the Royals just got swept by them, so not helping the cause.
Oh, dear.
This previous weekend. But that, for me, that's probably still the team that I will just, like, dislike under any circumstance. But, I mean, the Cardinals are on the list. Like,
that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely on the list. But some of it's what he said. They used to fill up our stadium goal. I didn't like that.
Yeah, it's just a city thing as well. I think it's part of it. We were joking with Jake Eisenberg of the Royals broadcast team earlier, like about the arch and everything. And my favorite thing, and you won't like this, but Sarah, but it's like like the most famous thing there is like a signifying thing to leave St. Louis.
We like to think of it as
they're leaving the city.
Thing to enter.
Enter. Yeah.
I mean, it could be either way, right?
It could be. I mean, yeah, you're leaving, going to the east. You're entering, coming as you're going to the west.
Gateway to the west.
You said you've never been there, though, Cody. So I feel like if you haven't been...
I've been in St. Louis near the arch. I just haven't physically been inside it.
I don't know if you can talk smack about it if you haven't been in it, though.
Interesting.
It moves.
That's
Drew
what
is
I
telling
was
us.
telling him.
Oh, yeah, that's
it's
real
kinda
encouraging.
trippy.
I'd like to
It's
get him in the
horrifying.
bendy piece of swaying metal
It's
in the
if you're
sky.
claustrophobic, I do not recommend.
No, because you take like this elevator up it, and then you get up there.
I actually think
it's
that-
cool to say because it overlook. You can look down and see Busch Stadium and just see the. Yeah, it's great.
I actually think that that's an overrated sentiment. The idea that I have to have done something or tried something in order to know it sucks. Nah, I've never
I
been
didn't say it
stabbed.
sucked, though.
I don't need to know that it sucks to be stabbed.
I don't know if we can make that a, like,
Okay,
an,
Cody.
like
I don't
equate
need
that.
to experience everything to have an opinion on it.
Uh-huh.
I just walk up a ladder and view something cool. I've been in a tall building before, Drew.
Okay.
It doesn't, like I've seen a building from the sky. I don't know that it has to be
you
like.
don't like St. Louis at all.
You
don't
have
like
so
it at
many
all.
feelings.
Why? it's
We
not-
might need to
I
make
actually
a
don't have
trip
any-
together, and I'll show you my
Like,
version.
we can
It's
keep,
great.
Sarah, we can keep going. Like
He does like the hill and
the
get
Italian area.
food
Now,
and
I
all
will
that
say
stuff.
there's a certain style of pizza out of there that is awful, awful.
I didn't even say that.
Yeah.
Do you like that style?
Emos?
Yeah.
I didn't say that. You said that.
Yes,
style of
I
pizza.
love emos. I think it's delicious.
Uh-huh.
See, here I am on my marketing team, like trying to bring Kansas City and St. Louis together so we can sell whiskey, and everyone's like, "No,
People
can't
from
be
St. Louis
together."
we actually want to come here for the World Cup. So if
I'm
you're
gonna
listening
need
from
a
St.
lot
Louis,
of.
please come on down.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna need a lot of Rieger whiskey to enjoy the slice of that pizza. I'll tell you that. That's for
It's
sure.
not for everyone, and I will admit that. I'm not a fan of deep dish, so don't.
That's my favorite.
either.
I love
I
Chicago
think deep
style.
dish is
Chicago style
overrated.
pizza is great.
Now I think that I'm interested. All of a sudden, Detroit pizza's a thing. I'm
Yeah,
like, where did this
it's
come
gotten more
from?
popular
But it's
over the last
tasty.
couple of years. I feel like
What has?
Detroit style pizza.
I like Detroit style.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's
I mean,
high
New
on
York,
the
New
list.
York style is very, very good.
I just think
Well.
deep dish is overrated. It's not like it's not like inedible. It's just
too
overrated
heavy.
pizza.
I don't know. I'd rather
Yeah.
have Napoleon. Like, take me to Italy and
Yeah, like
give me
margarita
that.
style
Yeah.
pizza where it's like wood up fire oven or whatever.
It's like
Same.
barely cooked and the fresh schmutz. And the,
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yep,
what I
that's
want.
way up the top of the list of pizza categories.
Yeah.
You like deep dish though. You don't sound. It doesn't sound like there's a pizza you dislike other than Emo's.
Pizza's great.
Other than
You know
Provel.
what though? What's weird? Maybe I'm craving it. I haven't had pizza in a very long time. I've tried not to eat that. So, but that sounds like right now. It sounds amazing.
have to get some
Yeah,
now.
it sounds amazing.
Cave.
Pizza on a horse feather. Not gonna lie.
There you go.
That's a pretty nice Friday night.
Can we order some? That's so good.
Is it too late?
I guess I should
we
ask
only
you.
have a half hour left in the show. That makes it tough.
When you said the name of the drink, horse feather, it got me thinking. A couple weeks ago at Electric Park, though, you guys had the Kentucky Derby watch party again,
We
which is always
did.
popular. I know the mint juleps. It wasn't horse feather, but it was mint juleps. And everybody dresses up. Do you like? How was the? You guys had a best dressed or look-alike contest or
Yeah.
something? Was it? How was the? Usually people take this very seriously.
They do. And it's, when you walk around and you ask, the lovely ladies who come in the hats, like, oh, did you make it? Did you buy it? And this one woman, no, I made it. And she tells me how she went to Michael's, how she bought things off of Amazon and Etsy and thrift stores. And I mean, I wish I had a picture of it. This hat was, I don't know how she could walk. It
I was
was
say, was
just
she leaning to one side?
it's like tilted, and then you're thinking it's top heavy because there's like horses, and then there was a bottle of whiskey, and then there's plumage. Yeah.
And this was the person who won?
Well, I mean, it was the largest one. I
It was
could
an
not
automatic
give
win.
it to her. Yeah.
Oh, you were the judge.
I was one of
Okay.
walking around.
I thought you were making the decisions. You're able to decide who wins all these contests.
And then I will say, Timu must have had a run on Derby Day jackets. 'Cause there
Everything was seersucker or what?
No, like, I feel really bad talking about this, but there
Just
were
cheap jackets. It's not like
the
just
person's
cheap
listening.
Cheap
jackets
jackets.
of like, it looks like the jacket looks like horses are racing on it, or
okay.
a
little too on the nose
yeah.
versus
Okay.
being dressed nice.
Like
now I'm
in-
going to your Instagram reels to see if I can find this person's hat. Did it make it on the social media
I hope
channels?
so. It's a doozy of a hat. The bow ties, some people have like some wooden bow ties.
Have you been to the Kentucky Derby before?
I have not.
I haven't either.
It's on
our
the
afternoon
list.
host has gone
Done
like 2 years in a
twice.
row.
Yeah, it's on. We were talking about sports bucket list type stuff. It's on the list. It's not like number one or number two, but it's something I do want to
Yeah.
go to at some point.
I used to date a guy that went to culinary school down there, so he would tell me that when he was in culinary school, all the students would be out cooking and like helping at Churchill Downs, and how their lawn ends up just being this giant mud
Oh
pit.
yeah, if it's rainy, it's a mess.
And everyone's just drunk and a hot mess.
There's an age in which I want a seat or like a
Right.
room
Mhm.
or like
Because infield
at
seats,
22, maybe I would have. used a tent in the infield, but I'm long past that.
The infield seats are not that expensive for the Derby, but it's because what you said, especially if the weather's bad, it's just a mess. And you got to stand there all day. You barely can see anything.
Right. I'd want like one of those like posh boxes.
Yeah. I want to. Yeah. Exactly.
So I'm not quite sure where I'm going to get that.
We'll
money,
make that.
But
Carrington had seats, I think.
He did. I think he found like an all-inclusive one, and it's not as bad as you think. His was like, it had a seat and it had a tent, and it was like food and drink included. It was like, I don't know, $500 a person or something. Like at least a number that you can like
digest.
You can tolerate. No different than like two people going to a Chiefs game sitting in the upper deck, right?
Not $32,000 for one seat to a soccer game.
Not quite that bad. Some of the prices.
Let's talk more about the schedule and the World Cup.
Yeah.
The Chiefs schedule, of course, came out yesterday. Everybody's talking about that as well. We've got Sarah from Jay Rieger & Co. hanging out. And then last time you were in studio, you were talking a lot in dating in Kansas City.
Oh,
so
God.
we're going to have to get there as well if you want. Maybe not. That's coming up next.
I don't know.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
If you're locked in for the MLB season, Fanatics Sportsbook is where you need to be. They're giving you profit boosts every single day. Use them on any hit, run, or strikeout, so every at-bat and inning means a little more. And new this season, they've got the long ball jackpot. Every MLB game day, pick any player to hit a home run. If they hit the longest one of the day, you're taking home a share of $50,000 in fan cash. Track your player on the daily leaderboard. See total entries and watch the estimated payout in real time. And with Fanatics Sportsbook, you get up to 10% fan cash back on your bets. You can use that fan cash on profit boosts, more bets, exchange it for merch, collectibles, tickets to events, and more. From the first pitch to the final out, Fanatics Sportsbook gives you more reasons to stay in the game. Download the Fanatics Sportsbook app and see why winning hits different here. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET.
And Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Pool days call for cookouts and lots of laundry. This Memorial Day at Lowe's, save $80 on a Charbroil Performance Series 4-burner gas grill, now just $199. Plus, get up to 45% off select major appliances to keep dishes, clothes, and food fresh. Having fun in the sun is easy with us in your corner. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/27. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. See associate or Lowe's.com for details.
I keep seeing celebrities posts, me in the 90s versus now. Well, the person staring at me in the mirror is definitely not the same person that could pull off bootcut jeans. Time creeps up on us so slowly. You don't see it until suddenly you do. Same thing goes for your bills. $1 here, an uptick there. It's a slow burn until one day you realize the price you're paying now is way higher than when you signed up. But at T-Mobile, customers had the lowest wireless bills versus Verizon and AT&T over the past 5 years. And with T-Mobile on their experience plans, you get a 5-year price guarantee, so you know exactly what your plan price will be for the next 5 years. So at least that's one thing that won't change over time. I can't guarantee you'll still look good with frosted tips, but T-Mobile can give you a clear guarantee on your wireless plan.
Lower bills based on Harris X billing snapshots from Q3 21 to Q4 25 compared to average AT&T and Verizon bills. Comparison excludes discounts, credits, and optional charges. Price guarantee on talk, text, and data. Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com.
Jay Rieger & Co. Oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City. Jay Rieger & Co. Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Winner of Best Craft Bourbon at the 2025 Ascot Awards. At 90 proof, it's rich, well-balanced, and oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Rob Brennan. We hope you're enjoying Beyond the Pitch KC, a podcast on how Kansas City landed the world's biggest sporting event. It's presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. New episodes released every Wednesday on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Back here on a Fan Club Friday, brought to you by Jay Rieger & Co. We've got Sarah hanging out with us from Rieger. Once again, we are drinking the Horse Feather, which these are your pre-mixed cocktails people can get over at the distillery, right?
Yep, bottled cocktails. Just pour over ice.
It says consume 2 days after opening. No problem. You got it. Take care of it over the next couple of days.
This one's very refreshing.
Don't worry about me.
These are ice cold, so they're really, really refreshing. You also shared with us, if you're just tuning in, that you guys have a pre-order available already. You guys are leaning into the World Cup. You've worked with the same artist for the label design that designed the Kansas City World Cup logo and everything, right?
Yep. JD, she did the Kansas City poster for FIFA, and then she made this beautiful label for us.
And she was like it was like 100 people submitted entries, and she was chosen out of like a large group of people, right?
That whole process to me seemed, that would be really intense. But she's so talented. She works for Boulevard Brewing. And
oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, she's just such a talented artist.
Pre-orders available now. Someone was texting and they were asking, when can they go to the distillery and buy a bottle?
So it will be on the floor starting Monday.
Okay. There we go.
So you're seeing it now.
Just a couple
Here,
days
I'll put
away.
it up on the camera one more time if you want to go back and find the video stream or look at it.
Yeah, video.
Now streaming in 4K.
Yeah, we got brand new cameras, so you can get a good look at that on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and X as well. You also have something called the Cocktail Trail you're working on. What is this?
So it's the Raise a Cup Cocktail Trail. And we have partnered with about 40 bars and restaurants around Kansas City. So everywhere from, Northland to down to Olathe, all in between. And you download the app and you go to bars, these different restaurants, order a Rieger cocktail, take a picture of it with the menu, submit it. You earn points for prizes, and then you come to the distillery to redeem those and pick up your prize. So we've, the whole goal is to really celebrate Kansas City, celebrate what makes us special, and it is our bars and restaurants. That's one of those things. And so we have everything from Hema Hema, Westport Cafe, Bacaro Primo, Red Door Grill, Jack Stack. It's going to be great.
You guys are good. Yeah, I was looking at the list now. It's a big list of all the different spots. But it'll be fun. Obviously, it's like all the World Cup stuff. People are trying to do stuff around the city and be around the city. And it's an excuse to see some other parts because there's going to be a mix. I think it's always going to be the people who are like, I want to be where the people are and be a part of this big event that's taking place. And then people who earlier on the text line said the same thing, which is, I want to be on the outskirts. I want to be further away from the action, I
think also for locals. Like I know a lot of people have said, I'm getting out of Dodge and all that kind of stuff. But I think even for locals, just really leaning into the fun. It's going to be a really fun, crazy 5 weeks for Kansas City. I think you can enjoy it as a local as well.
Yeah, I think absolutely. I hope we do. Obviously, I'm looking forward to the World Cup here in 4 weeks.
24 days is what my countdown
24
thing said.
days.
Yeah.
I was like, it's close. The first match in Kansas City is like 30 days away, right?
That is
the World Cup itself starts in 24.
U.S. plays like June 12th, and then I think the match in Kansas City is like the 15th or 16th.
15th or 16th?
I think it's the 15th, and it's Argentina and Algeria.
Yeah, that's the big one. That's the big one.
I'll be out of town for that one.
Yeah, you're out of town for a decent chunk of it, actually.
The first few matches I am. I'll be back maybe for some of the later matches on the back end, but on the first end I have to go.
I'm excited
to Texas for my daughter's dance comp. With kids, you travel for any youth sport.
Are you a dance dad?
Oh, yeah. Fully in.
This is exciting.
I'm all the way in. Although, in fairness, it just depends on, it's mostly just taking them to and from and then traveling to stuff like this and sitting in an auditorium waiting for them to dance 45 minutes from now. Yes.
Raising pom-poms.
I don't know that I have a pom-pom, but we wear matching shirts or stuff like that, right?
Yes.
We get all the way in. I think this year they didn't do it. I've done, for the recitals they have to do. Remember, I had to do a dance? Dance or whatever. I don't even remember.
Never saw video of that. Never got the video of that.
It's too bad.
Huh.
It's raining men for what it's worth.
Oh, terrific.
Wait, why do we not have
video.
this?
I need video.
Oh, video of it exists. I just don't think you ever saw it.
Who do we need to blackmail for this?
I mean, I'm sure my wife
talk to your
has
wife.
it. I was about to say, yeah. I'm sure my wife has video of it. It exists if you want to see it sometime.
For your 50th birthday.
There you go.
I still got 9 years on that one.
That's
Well, gives us 9 years to blackmail her again.
it's going to take a bit.
I got a little bit of time before we have to do that. You immediately, by the way, I haven't asked him in a while either. So he was asking you about dating in Kansas City.
Oh, God.
My general sense of it, based on your attitude towards it, his attitude towards it, and anybody else I know who's single is trash. And it's not a great scene for anybody and not fun for any person out there at all, I would say. That seemed to be the general consensus.
It's not. It's funny. I don't remember where I was yesterday, but I overheard this gaggle of gals, and this one girl says, "You know what? I'm only going to get on the apps when all the Englishmen come here for the World Cup." I about died.
Oh, is it that bad?
I don't know. It's exhausting.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's exhausting.
You and Molly were talking about it the last time you were in.
I was doing it for a reason. I was asking because we were trying to do an activation, and all the things we were thinking of doing were very female driven. So I was like, hey, what would get guys to come to a singles event? There was a purpose behind it.
I mean, is it more complicated? Like how to get a guy to a isn't event? Single women? Isn't that enough?
You'd think.
Is that enough to get you to a singles event, Gold, or is that an imposing place to be?
No, I mean that's a great start. That's a great start. Yeah.
Single women that you're attracted to feels like would get you in the door.
Yeah, everybody's different on that. I think it's also just there's way more detail to it than just that. Though.
Yeah.
It's not just, there's single women. There's a lot of other questions to go with that.
Well, it's like, what's the activity? Like for me, if it's sports driven, and I'm not just saying because I'm on a sports show, but I genuinely like sports.
Yeah.
Or if it's, some people are really artsy, if it's art related.
I will say, if it probably lands out of the standard gender norms, men are probably less likely to go. If Alex has got to go make a painting versus go to a Royals game, he is probably more likely to go to a Royals game.
The painting
or
thing
go to
is,
Jay Rieger to drink a horse feather than he is to like paint and sip.
The painting thing, that's something when you're been on multiple dates or you're in a relationship. I'm not the first time I meet you, we're not going to go painting.
I wouldn't even do it in a
There's no chance. Maybe you could talk me into it down the road. There's no way the initial meetup is, let's go sip on some wine and paint. Are you kidding me? That sounds awful.
That's pretty low stakes.
But what if you're painting a soccer ball?
That's boring. But
I mean, you just throw it away. What's the difference? It's a good date because you have to talk to each other, look at each other, get along for a minute.
Paint on the first date?
I don't know. It doesn't seem all that bad.
I don't know. It sounds better than some of the dates I've been
Okay,
on.
worst thing somebody asked you to do on a date.
I can tell you the worst thing that happened where a guy's dog attacked my dog.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you guys went to like the dog park for a date or something? Or a walk? What the hell happened?
It started out as a walk, and then it was like trying to introduce two dogs, and it didn't go well. My poor dog poor thing was 25 puncture wounds. Poor thing.
What?
Yeah, it was bad.
So no day two, I guess, based on that.
Oh my! I don't mean to laugh, but holy crap!
It was not good.
That's bad.
It was not good.
What was the other guy? Was the guy at least cool with?
Was he like apologetic?
I'm so sorry this happened.
Super
Obviously, we're not gonna meet
apologetic.
again.
I mean, paid for the vet bill.
Okay.
Oh, good for him.
So he's not a total. He's not a total jerk.
Well, and I kind of feel bad because I don't feel bad. I did nothing wrong, and neither did my dog Major. His dog is just really reactive, and it's not even an aggressive breed. It's a sweet, like long-haired, pretty retriever-ish dog. But
wow,
I'm like really nervous if he's listening. But oh well.
No,
why would he really be listening
matter.
to this?
I don't know.
How well did you know this person?
Not well.
No, who cares?
And if they're listening, they'll be like, "Damn, I can't. What are the odds that person would end up on the radio after?"
Yeah. Hey, you know what?
I don't know. Sweet.
I'm sure he
Mage,
tells that story too. It's not.
Oh,
like,
I'm sure.
You have to. That's an all-timer, unfortunately.
Yeah. That's my poor sweet Major.
Alex has already told us his worst one, unless it's gotten worse than that, which is somebody really trying to eventually dig down to like, what's the history behind your last name? That one was pretty bad. And that girl showed up late.
Yeah, that was a whole thing.
Oh,
that whole date,
late.
that whole
bad.
date was a mess.
Well,
bad
the day of the date completely ghosted. So I just was like, okay, fine. So I made other plans already because she hadn't texted all day about we were about to meet. And so we were supposed to meet in 30 minutes. I still hadn't heard. So I was like, basically, all right, screw it, whatever. And so I was getting ready to meet a buddy of mine. And then all of a sudden she calls me, not text, calls me.
Ooh,
so that was just weird. And it made more sense later as the way that the date went. This was 5 years ago at this point. But long story short, she's like, yeah, sorry, I don't use my phone during the day. And I know you should say, oh, that seems like a good thing, but it's also not a good thing. And essentially I was like, oh, I felt terrible. So I said, okay. So then I canceled plans with my friend and still met her on the original date. And that was it was the quickest day of my life. It was 45 minutes, an hour. And she was like swaying in her chair the entire date. The whole vibe was off.
Was she drunk?
No, just very free spirited, I guess is a nice way to put it. And and to Cody's point, yeah, my last name, obviously people listen to Cody and Gold, so my last name is Gold. And she's like, so Gold, like, what's the last name? Finally, I'm like, I'm Jewish. She's like, oh, and then like that was basically the end of the date. So that was cool. That was a fun one. Yeah, that was a fun one. Yeah.
Well,
That's a tough first
Dodged
date.
a bullet there.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Was that the girl you met when we were outside of Kelly's?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. There was a time we all met up there.
No, that's a difference.
And
That's different.
randomly got a number when we were like standing outside in like the patio area. There.
Like random things happen
And
at
we
Kelly's.
thought-
Kelly's, there's just things happen.
Honestly, it's like I love the spot. I'm friends with the family or whatever, but like I very much enjoy it. But if I go there anytime after like 9 o'clock, I feel like I might as well be 80 years old.
Oh,
I feel a billion. I'm
Yes.
like, oh no, I'm full. Like, oh no, I gotta be here at like 3 p.m.
I left Westport Cafe one night. I think it was like at 9 o'clock or something. And I walked out and Tin Roof was just a whole scene. And I texted my sister and I go, I don't know where I am anymore. But this is this is a completely different vibe at night, Westport on a Friday.
Totally.
It just changes, depending on the spot you're going to in the city, it is. Depending on the time of day, all that other stuff. It also just depends on if you're in the mood for that. Like, if you want to be like in a big, crowded group, everybody's having a good time, like loud, like good spot, right? If you want to sit outside, we talk about this, like with Electric Park. If I want to sit outside and have a drink, like it just depends on the vibe I'm going for sometimes.
I just feel like as a 40-year-old, I no longer want to be in large crowds.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm becoming more antisocial. Has that happened to you yet?
No.
You're becoming more social, maybe. In the time we've been
I have
doing the
actually,
show,
yeah.
I actually borderline think you become more social. I've become less. We'll go to listener events and I'm awful. I just like meander off and forget to say things to people. I'm becoming like slow. I'm becoming worse.
Yeah, I guess that's probably accurate. That's probably accurate.
I kind of want to deep dive into that. Why do you do that? Like, what are you? Is it just the people you don't want to hang out with, or
no? Okay, so part of it
is it social anxiety?
Probably
like any of the listeners
probably
in right now.
Probably this is some of this.
Everyone's
is
like, don't have this girl back ever.
based on.
No, the text line's loving it actually.
Based
I
on the
think.
200 comments I've gotten from people probably over the last 5 years, some of this is probably based in some level of undiagnosed neurodivergence. So, like, some of it is definitively that.
Take a sip if you had neurodivergence being brought up today
Some
during
of
the
it,
fan.
some of it is because
What
I
is that?
probably, maybe it was after I developed panic attacks. Who the hell knows? It could be a million different things. Now, I haven't had those in a while, so maybe I'm cured, problem solved.
Do you need a hug?
No. It's some combination of that. Oh, I'm very accepting of my general mental disorders. I'm more than comfortable with my self-being, I would say, in that regard.
Man.
You gotta have a little self-awareness, don't you?
I mean, that is preferred.
Yeah. Otherwise, it'd be worse if people were unaware of those circumstances.
Yes.
Oh, a good portion of society is.
Yeah, we're all a little messed up, right? Yeah, come on. Let's be realistic.
Like
we're all a
Cub
little
fans.
messed up. Drew, did you ask what neurodivergence is?
Yeah, I don't.
Man, you're so blind to the world. That's a regularly used term.
It was not one I expected to hear today on the show.
I've never heard.
Fair. That's more than fair.
I've heard of a lot of neuro some things, but not neurodivergent.
I would say that it's anybody who lands inside of like the spectrum, right? Like if you are atypical in personality type, autism could be a level of that, but it could be a million other.
I follow.
It could be a million other versions of that. It doesn't have to all be based on that scale, but that.
Gotcha.
We got real serious on
We
Fan
did.
Club.
I know.
It's more serious.
We're just
than
trying to
I tried to bring it back
Come
to
on.
baseball by making a Cub joke, but
I'll
No,
bring it
that's
back.
fine.
I'll bring it back to sports, I guess,
do
for a little
hate
bit. The schedule release is the big topic today, of course, in the NFL. We got the whole Chiefs schedule. We were going through, and I don't know if you go to Chiefs games or not,
have,
but
yeah.
we were going through. I think everybody freaks out about when the bye week is, but I think the fun way to look at it a little bit too is everybody plans out their fall. You got kids' activities, but also, maybe you're a fan and you go on a road trip and you find one of these games. So if out of the cities, I guess I'll pull up the schedule. You don't have it in front of you, but the games that you would go and want to actually go see on the road, out of these, would you rather go to Miami week 3? Miami stinks, but it's Miami.
It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be September in Miami.
Vegas in week 4. At Seattle, that's the one Cody, I think, said.
That would be pretty high on my list.
At
Sunday
Denver,
Night Football.
At Denver, week 8. So it's probably not terribly miserable weather yet. At Atlanta, or Thanksgiving night at Buffalo, or a Thursday night at LA with the Rams. My answer, I'm going to the Rams game in December. I've never been to LA, so that's why I'm going to that
That'd
one.
be fun. I would probably say Denver.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for the mountains. Or, and maybe this is just because I lived up in Wisconsin, but I love Buffalo, New York.
Really?
You've been?
Buffalo?
Yes.
Like, that just feels like a weird city to be like, I really like Buffalo.
Western New York.
Yeah, it doesn't
It's
feel
so
like a place
pretty.
that people.
And I also
believe
have
that.
I mean, obviously, St. Louis, the Rams did us dirty. And,
Oh, yeah, you gotta hate the Rams
Oh,
forever,
God.
yeah.
But I have a soft spot for Josh Allen.
I think a lot
We were
of people
just talking
do.
about this yesterday. Drew brought it
Yeah.
up. He thinks everybody. That's why he thinks everybody gives Josh Allen too much of a pass because he's likable. I said he is likable, but Drew thinks that Joe Burrow gets treated poorly and Josh Allen should be treated just as poorly.
But can we look at right? But Josh Allen hasn't done the things that hasn't Joe Burrow?
Burrow's been to a Super Bowl. Yep.
Yeah.
No MVPs
so-
though. I'd say their resumes are.
But Allen
even-ish.
hasn't. But Allen hasn't missed the playoffs for 3 straight years or whatever it is for Joe.
Well, and I think the extracurriculars outside of, I mean, Joe Burrow doesn't he have a reputation for being not the best human?
No,
or-
no, no,
I don't
Or am
know.
I
I
thinking
don't
of
feel
somebody
like-
else?
I feel like his
Joe
reputation's
Burrow's-
neutral, if anything.
Wait, no,
I don't
I'm
think
thinking
people
of
say
the-
negative things about him or positive things.
Joe
Maybe
Burrow
I'm
doesn't get in
thinking
any
of
trouble.
The guy with the Browns.
Different
guy. So sorry.
Now, you want to talk about reputations?
Wow.
By the way,
So
you could
sorry.
have only been putting it in the most mildest terms if you were talking about Deshaun Watson. His reputation is of a human trash can.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Burrow.
Yeah,
Please
no.
Don't get mad at me.
Slightly different, close in states, similar areas, not different reputations.
Yeah.
Burrow has a neutral one, wouldn't you say, Drew? From like an outside of football, people. He's very private. He doesn't want people
Yeah.
knowing what's going on in his everyday life, so people don't like say
go
one
to-
way or the other.
He'll go to
about it.
events like he'll
Yeah.
go to the Met Gala. You know, he
He goes to like
Yeah,
Fashion
those sort of
Week.
things. Yeah.
he likes
for
to
sure.
go to like a high society stuff. Also,
I feel really bad that I even.
No, you're good. It's
That's
hilarious,
funny, anyway.
actually. It's
But-
great. The
Honestly,
listeners
it's not like
enjoy
Joe Burrow's listening to the show today. I don't think. Like, whoa.
I wouldn't think so.
Don't lump me in with that guy. One of the worst.
I
humans
gave
in all
Drew.
of the
I give
NFL.
Drew a hard time for being a Cincinnati fan. Like that was a take I didn't even think of to try to say that Joe Burrow
Are you
is
just-
just as bad as Deshaun Watson. I like it.
Oh Lord. Well, no, but anyway, back to the question. I would totally go to either Denver,
Buffalo.
yeah, Denver or Buffalo.
Or Buffalo. Thanksgiving is tough though. It's like for this year, normally a trip to Buffalo, fine, but I don't want to go there on Thanksgiving.
I mean,
The weather
no.
could suck, and it's Thanksgiving night.
I
Yeah,
said the
but
only funny.
snow, because games at Lambeau in the snow.
It snowed when you were
That
at Lambeau.
is
Snow game at
just
Lambeau was awesome. The
classic.
Chiefs lost, but I was so cool. It was like it wasn't a massive snowstorm, but it was enough to where you got to experience Lambeau. That was incredible. I'd
There
go
is
back
some
to
part of
Lambeau.
me that thinks a once in a lifetime opportunity would be Sunday night or Thursday night football in Buffalo on Thanksgiving, where people are jumping through tables of full Thanksgiving dinners, and that's an experience that I'll only get once. I'll only have that opportunity one time in my life to watch people jump through tables that are full of Thanksgiving food on Thanksgiving night. It might be why I'd be willing to give up a holiday in order to do it. It'd be like that's what would make that's a unique experience. That's not something you'll get to do very often.
Buffalo just feels like it's such a pain in the butt to travel to.
Oh, I mean,
I can't imagine
it's-
there's any direct flights there.
There's not.
No.
There's no way.
It's pretty though.
I've never been.
You go up there, you might as well go up there to Niagara
Just New York
Falls.
City,
If I were to
yes.
go there, you have to stay a couple days, and then you go up to Canada and check
yeah,
out.
I mean, and Niagara Falls is really cool.
Yeah, that's on the list. That part of it.
How
I
far
guess
is it from Buffalo? Like a
It's a drive, and it's like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
or
Just
something.
a jaunt, a little jaunt.
jaunt.
We live in the United States and in the Midwest. Anything under 4 hours is not that bad of a drive, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Like from like a road trip perspective. Anything under that is essentially like, I'll do that in a day.
It'll be interesting to see how many people drive in for the World Cup because
Yeah.
they've been saying that flights aren't as well booked as they thought. So it'll be interesting how far people are going to drive in.
Yeah, I think St. Louis will be a regular one. I think
you guys saw the
like Chicago or like the cities that don't have it that are close.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised to people from Denver. I wouldn't be surprised to people from St. Louis and Omaha and Nebraska.
Yeah, if you're a big soccer fan from the Midwest region, you're going to come down. I saw the Dutch though. They loaded up their big orange bus, so their they're crazy. Of course, they loaded up their bus on a cargo ship, and it'll be here next month for the World Cup. So we'll see this orange bus for
That's
the Netherlands driving
exciting.
around.
They loaded it up
It's on a cargo ship.
just to
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah.
That's really
The big conversation I think lately has been that these big walks to the stadiums that these fans do, in which markets would they actually be able to do it?
Yeah, not here.
Not convenient.
Where the
Well,
hell are
there's
they gonna walk from?
supposedly some.
But that's a huge thing with the Dutch.
I know.
There's like a
Is the
mile.
march to the stadium.
There's a mile walk that people do have to do. If I'm remembering
From
my
like the bus stop or something.
from where the buses are dropping people off at Arrowhead
Okay.
to the actual stadium.
So maybe they'll all just gather there.
I mean, maybe.
How long is does anybody know what the march length is typically for the walk into the stadium from the Dutch? I just know they walk.
Can't say I researched Dutch soccer habits.
But that's like a huge thing. If you look at like a social
Mm-hmm.
thing, their march to the stadium is like a huge like event. They fill up thousands, tens of thousands of people in these World Cup cities, and they all like go into the stadiums
just a sea of
together
orange.
as a big group. So I just didn't know if there's like a length of distance.
Usually it says 2 miles.
Usually 2 miles. So maybe they'd settle for a mile
What
if
is-
it dropped them off.
What are the Do they have the Argentinians? Do they have like a
They
trademark
I
thing?
guarantee they do.
They
don't know if
just
it's
bow down to Messi, I think is what they do.
As
Is what
everyone
they,
should.
Yeah, I think that's what they do.
Oh, here's a question: Messi or Ronaldo?
Messi.
Messi.
My kid really likes Ronaldo right now. I kind of feel bad like I'm going against him if I say that. He like openly says he thinks Ronaldo's better. He hasn't watched either of them actually play a match, so I don't know how he's formed these opinions. But he has determined he likes Ronaldo better than he likes Messi.
It's because he
so.
likes the celebration, probably, Cody.
Probably. He's on social more, you know? Although I will say, we have been overly inundated. If you've been to any store in any market, Messi's PR arm of like gear is everywhere.
They're good.
It is everywhere now. You go to Target, you can get a Messi shirt. You go anywhere, you can
Walmart's
get
got him, yeah.
stuff with
He's
Messi
the most popular
on it.
player in the world.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, he's like the only one you can get stuff from anywhere right now. Like, and Ronaldo's a very popular player. Mbappe's, they're really popular.
Yeah,
Messi's got his own
Mbappe,
cologne
I wish France was coming because Mbappe, last World Cup, he's awesome to watch too. But,
I think France is going to give a lot of people a run for their money.
oh, that's your prediction?
I think France is
Okay,
going to go
I like
far,
it.
Yeah.
Where are they in the odds? Do you know? I haven't even looked at the World Cup odds. I'm guessing the U.S. is pretty far down.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, they're not the women, so no.
Nope.
That's true.
Women's soccer
That's
team
true.
Is great.
Let's see.
They win all the time.
They'd be the favorite by a mile. The ladies would be.
France is the favorite.
Spain
Plus 500.
Oh, depends on where you live.
Oh,
I
okay.
guess.
At the
you're
book
fine.
I'm looking at, their co-favorite was Spain.
Spain plus 430, France plus 470, England's 5.5 to 1, Brazil, then Argentina, then Germany. The U.S. is 55 to 1 to win the World Cup. It ain't happening.
It's okay.
That's
We're
too bad.
hosting. It's okay. We don't need to have all the things.
No, we can just enjoy that. And the
Right.
U.S. isn't coming here. They were always going to be
It's not our sport.
the other side of it. But I like that. I still think that, like, if you look back at all the stuff, the KC Current building the stadium, the level of popularity that Sporting KC had in the city, like, it took 2 decades of soccer support in the city to make the World Cup come here. Like, it was the city did it.
Yeah.
Like, by supporting local soccer, it's grown a lot in the city. That's why we got it. Not just because, but like, we got it because we support soccer.
Well, I will say, I'm actually going to say something negative about my town, okay? St.
Risk.
Louis tries to say that they are,
Soccer capital.
soccer capital. St. Louis, I love you. That is not the case. Like, Kansas City has really owned it and they embrace it, and it's